Hello, hello. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm sorry to say that we're down two people. Alex Stein and Kevin Logan have canceled. Or at least not canceled, but they haven't showed. So we're down those. But I'm sure all of you, amazing people, can make up the star power on your own because we have Cam Higbee, critically thinking veteran, also known as the Hippy Dippy champion in waiting. We've got actual Jake Cornman himself, Hake from the Hake Report. We've got Maddie Cakes, the person who knows how to get under everyone's skin just perfectly. Just perfectly. And we have a fantastic Hippy Dippy recruitment show who actually, recruitment show brought up. Let's start with you as introductions quickly as we go around 30 seconds. Everybody introduce themselves, where they can find you before we get into the first topic.
Me?
Yes, you. You're the only person coming up for the recruitment
I'm,
show.
Sure, okay. I'm Nonfon. I stream on Twitch at Nonfon420 and YouTube at Nonfon, Nonfon. Trying to reach 1,000 subs on YouTube, so it'd be really helpful if you subscribe there. Yeah, Lib Left is a streamer.
Hake, where can people find you?
TheHakeReport.com. I'm on YouTube and Rumble and elsewhere. Thank you, man.
Actual Jake?
Actual Jake on YouTube and Twitch. I'm a leftist. Free Palestine.
CTV?
Yep.
Amen. Cam Higbee?
Yeah, I'm Kim Higbee. You can find me on pretty much every platform. I'm a journalist for Today's America, and I'm releasing a bomb border documentary soon.
Awesome. Maddie?
Hi, Maddie. Maddie Cakes. I am a leftist coastal elite, and in my normal daytime life, I'm a Democratic strategist and consultant. So, hello. Hi.
Fantastic. Now we're going to get started, but a shout out to today's sponsor, FTX, built by traders for traders. Okay, let's get into the first topic, which is really the only topic of today. Harris v. Trump. Why should or shouldn't somebody vote for Donald Trump or Harris? We're going to go around quickly. We're going to do like quick 30-second boom, 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 and then we're going to go into a general discussion. Let's start with Camo Hat. Let's start with actual Jake.
Let's go. You should not vote for Donald Trump because he's a fascist, and you should vote for Kamala Harris because, as a leftist, I am ready to vote for my weakest adversary because I'm ready to push the country further left and get basics that we need like healthcare, housing, education, etc. Things that people like materially need to have better lives so that we can move on.
CTV?
You should not vote for Kamala Harris because she lacks the experience necessary to govern well. You should vote for Donald Trump because he's already been president and did a very good job while he was.
Simple.
All of the
Yeah,
details.
Oh, I thought you were done. Continue. You have long pauses.
I know. All the details as to everything, we'll find out in the next hour long.
Cam Higbee?
Yeah, you should vote for Trump because he has a proven track record. You shouldn't vote for Kamala because she's an idiot. We need a secure border, and I'm a shill for Israel.
Hake?
We should definitely vote for Trump. He's the man for the job. He's very capable. And Kamala has no authority. She does not belong in the president or even in the White House.
Now over to Maddie.
The choice is very simple, especially all politics aside, if you care about preserving our country's democracy and rule of law. You can either vote for the person who has bipartisan support, who vows to maintain strong, safe elections, maintain bodily autonomy for all Americans, and who pretty much every single economist worth anything says is the better choice for the American economy. You can vote for Kamala. Or if you're angry and dickless, you can vote for Trump.
And now over to Nonfon.
You should vote against Trump because Trump does not have the respect for American institutions that I would like their president to have. And you should vote for Kamala because most of her policies are just better and not nearly as insane as Trump's universal tariffs, for example.
Okay, now one last thing before we get started and go into general conversations, and whoever wants to grab it can grab it. This is a rumble, which means that the audience, after the first round, will be able to pick somebody to be kicked. And it is vote to kick, not vote to keep. Please remember that. It is vote to kick. And so I wish you all good luck. Just a few rules. Nothing TOS, no slurs, nothing like that can get me banned. We all want to keep our jobs here today. If I am talking, nobody else is talking. If I mute you, it's not personal. I'm just trying to enforce some law and order today. And if you're having trouble getting in, but it's a rumble, good luck. You can raise your hand. I'll write your name down. But just be aware that it's fast-paced, this show. So good luck, everybody. Any questions?
Nope.
Fantastic. Who wants to get us started? Want to respond to anything that was said?
Yeah, me. Non-fun.
Okay, Cam?
What Kamala policies do you like? I've looked at her website and her policy platform. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of material there.
I like expanding the child tax credit. I like expanding the earned income tax credit.
Trump
I like
did that.
the housing policy she has. Well, I
Okay,
think
how does her housing
Trump
policy
is
work?
very
Child tax
clear.
credit expansion is something that Trump did. He doubled it from $1,000 to
For-profit
$2,000
media
when he
is
was
the
president.
enemy.
Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So he did double it. It was $1,000. Now it's $2,000. That's thanks to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. But how does Kamala's housing
so
policy
you think
work?
it should
What
be
does it
increased
do?
then?
Well, just to be
Because she's saying
I
it
don't
should be
really
more.
have
So
a
you agree that
Kamala-
it's good that it went up.
yeah.
I don't know that it goes up more than it does now, but
Oh,
what
okay,
I'm
'cause that's
saying
where Trump put
simply
it.
is that if you support expanding the child tax credit, that's something that Trump has already done.
Okay, so
I'm not
expand it
saying that I
more.
necessarily agree with it.
Is what we
A,
want.
it can go up
Right,
more.
so-
B,
It can go up
Kamala
more.
is
Wait,
supportive
but I
of
asked a
ending
question
the
though.
Tax
How
Cuts
does
and
the
Jobs Act
housing
for people
policy
making
work?
under
What is her housing
$400,000.
policy?
Her housing
Her housing
policy.
policy involved building 3 million new homes as their goal.
How'd she
and
build
wants to
those?
do a lot of things to try to. I think there's some tax incentive financing she wants to do, and I think she wants to make local
You think?
communities perform their zoning laws.
Does she actually say that, or do you just think that?
I can pull
Her
up
policy. You can
yeah,
locate it on her
down.
website.
Yeah. Do you know what it is though, Maddie?
Do I know it off the top of my head? No, but I'd be happy to give
It's
you a
because it's
rundown
not
of it on
there.
the
It just says she's
website.
going to build 3 million
you like to
houses. Her
know-
housing section is a total of 4 paragraphs long, and the last one hardly constitutes an entire paragraph.
Okay,
What's
just to be
Trump's
clear,
housing
she also has an
policy?
82-page policy book in the economy, right? And there's 6 full pages dedicated to housing policy,
Well,
not
then
including
you should be able to
not
pull at
including
least
the
one of those
draft,
housing
so-
policies. All I've heard is build 3 million houses, which is
So-
not a policy.
so-
3 million
are
new
you
homes
mad?
by making
So do you want to look at? So if you have a link of that, you're just going to sit here and read 82 pages of policy?
No, I'm just
stream?
testing your guys' familiarity. You guys say that you support her policies, so I'm just testing
Yeah.
the familiarity
But
with
more
those
than
policies
that,
you
I mean,
allegedly
as a
support.
leftist, it doesn't
Already-
matter. More than that, I disagree with right-wing fascism. So it's like,
Oh yeah,
it's
right,
even
because
more
you're
than
an
that.
edgy leftist, right? Yeah.
No, just a normal one. Because I think
Wait,
that like freedom is a really good thing to have.
What?
And so
housing policy.
I'm
Yeah,
with
You can't
you.
I
have
don't know if it's
freedom
edgy.
if you have
I don't know if it's
subsidized housing.
edgy. I don't know if it's edgy to not
Yeah.
want fascism.
Yeah, me either.
It's you can not want fascism and not be a leftist. Holy shit!
Yeah, but I mean, like,
You think those?
do you even know what a
that's why
leftist
so
is?
many
Define fascism.
Republicans. That's why so many
course I know what
Republicans have
fascism is.
endorsed Kamala Harris because
Yeah.
they too don't want fascism.
Yeah.
So
fascism.
Can you back up
Yeah,
from
what
the
is
mic
it?
so we
What's
can hear what you're
fascism?
saying? CTV. Thank you. Seriously, I really could.
I've missed
No, I
it.
just it's not
You leaned
working.
it again,
Yeah,
but
I'm being real. I
He
can't.
said is define fascism.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
anybody,
define
any of you
fascism.
folks on the left who are hyper obsessed with fascism, and you guys going to define it, or?
You want us to define fascism for? I mean, we can.
Yep,
go
I
through
want
the
to
steps
know
of
what you mean
fascism
by
if you
that.
want.
Yep, I have no idea what it means. What is it?
My God, is this the thing that you're gonna do? Like, we can't even. We now we have to go through every term.
Yeah,
that we
what is
think-
it? What is it? Most of the viewers
Oh,
probably don't know
holy
what it is
God.
either. What is it?
Question.
Would you like to-
Okay,
First
right
thing
wing.
you want to
Right. Okay, so he's a right wing
You
You
authoritarian.
keep saying Trump's a fascist. You
Wait,
should
wait,
know
wait,
what the hell it is.
Wait, I think
Absolutely.
he's
He is
I think he's trying to
absolutely-
define it right now. Actual Jake, you want to define it?
Yeah. Right wing authoritarianism. Okay, so a concentration of power near the top, which is absolutely what they want to do, and they literally, his Supreme Court wanted to increase the impunity on the president and like make him outside the law. And you agree with that, right? That's an increase of presidential powers by the right. Do you agree that they're doing that, seeking that out? Nothing at all. Fucking cool, man. Great back and forth.
The
This is
government-
so fucking
yeah, hold on.
excellent.
I'm
Write
writing
your
down
fucking
what you're
notes. Don't
saying,
actually
so I
have a
clearly defined
conversation.
definition.
Holy fucking
I'm writing
shit.
down what you're saying so I understand and remember your definition.
Yeah.
But is the right wing
He
or
was
the
just testing
conservatives? First of
us.
all, I'd be interested to know what you mean by right wing as well. But talking
Sure.
about the government expanding its power towards the top, the
Mm-hmm.
government is always trying to expand its power towards the top, regardless of who's in office. Whether
I
it's a Republican or
disagree that that's
Democrat,
exactly
so-
what's happening, especially if
Disagree.
we.
And
The
that is
reality is-
exactly
I
what's
disagree.
happening every time
No, I
somebody gets
absolutely
elected.
disagree. I absolutely disagree.
Based
that-
on what?
Based on reality. Like the right wing always
Joe Biden
pushes.
signed more executive orders his first day in office than Trump did.
What does
Like,
executive orders have to
every
do with
president is
expanding the
their power.
presidential
Every
power?
elected
What does that have to
Congress
do?
is the same.
You're
Not necessarily
obfuscating
executive
presidential
orders, right?
powers
Like,
that have
Trump's
been
schedule
the
at the
Patriot
point,
Act for
executive order is
one.
probably more authoritarian than.
Yeah, Patriot Act.
Sorry.
Anyway,
There's three
back
people
to the
talking at once.
original
Let's go
point
from
of
We'll
fascism.
go actual Jake, then
Yeah.
we'll go back to Cam for response, and then we'll go down to Maddie and Non-Fun.
Powerful,
And then, whoever
powerful
wants
and
to.
continuing nationalism, disdain for human rights, identification of enemies as unifying cause, the supremacy of the military, rampant sexism, controlled mass media, obsession with national security, religion and government intertwined, corporate power protected, labor power suppressed, disdain for intellectuals and the arts, obsession with crime and punishment, rampant cronyism and corruption, fraudulent elections. This is
Let me finish.
early. These are signs of fascism, and that is what it is. What, CT?
Rampant.
That's not. Wait. Are these signs of fascism, or that's what fascism is?
This is
CTV,
just,
you gotta bring your gain on your mic down.
you gotta back the fuck up for your mic. No one can hear you. Like, I don't, it's not working. Just be
Cam,
normal.
you wanted to respond to that?
Boomer.
That's the definition of fascism. These are the mechanisms
Okay,
of
okay,
fascism.
cool.
Because
So you want to tell
because
me what kind of
fascism,
disdain for human rights Trump has? What kind of disdain for human rights?
abortion rights is a great one, or the way that he talks about
Why? What
immigrants.
is a right? Why is abortion a human
Are
right?
babies human?
Define rights. What is rights? What are rights?
Wow, man!
Are you
Why,
an
we just had to
idiot?
define.
what are
fucking,
they?
the
If you're
whole
gonna-
conversation
what
is
if I
going to be
said my
defining
human right
rights.
is that I
Can you
think
have a real
everyone-
conversation? You're
I
so
think
vote for this
everyone-
guy off.
I
Vote
think
this guy off.
everyone should have,
No, he's bogging it
you
down.
know,
He's
an
so
Xbox
bad
in
for
their
this.
house. Is that a human right?
Holy
Like,
fucking
what
shit!
the hell
No,
is a human right?
a human
I
right
disagree
is
with you that abortion should be a
housing.
human right. I think
Housing,
that abortion is wrong.
health.
It's immoral.
Abortion is not wrong
you
or
okay?
immoral. Abortion
None of
is a
those are right.
human
Why?
right.
Why is it right? Why is it not wrong or immoral?
Because it's
Bodily
the
autonomy.
right of bodily autonomy on the person that is having the child.
You don't have absolute bodily autonomy.
You
Am I
absolutely
allowed
do
to-
have
bod-
absolute bodily
you don't,
autonomy.
You don't.
Do you believe in
think
God?
have Absolute bodily
Do you
autonomy.
believe in
to do whatever
God?
you want with your body.
Do you believe in God?
Do you
I don't
you
believe
re-
in God. Do you think that you
No,
have
no, no,
absolute
listen, hold
bodily
on, wait,
autonomy
wait.
to do whatever
Hold
you
on,
want with your
wait,
body?
wait.
Yes or no?
Do you believe in God?
No.
Okay, good.
Do you
So,
believe in
hold on.
absolute bodily
listen,
autonomy?
Listen, absolutely. So if you think that we are
Okay,
apes
perfect.
on
No,
Earth,
let me ask you a counter question.
No,
You've
let me
answered
ask
my
you
question
one
finally. Let me ask you a
question.
counter
Let me ask
question.
you one question.
Do I have the
If
right
you
to take
believe-
my body and pull
Yes.
a gun out of my pocket
Yes.
and go shoot somebody in the face?
No, you have the right to pull the
That's
gun
a
and
right-
shoot yourself in the face.
Bodily autonomy is the
That's
right
what
to
you have the
govern
right
your
to do
body
because
as you see
no,
fit.
listen,
If I want to govern my
bodily
body in a way
auto-
that takes my
no,
arm,
you're so
pulls a gun out of
stupid.
my
Bodily
pocket, shoots
autonomy-
somebody in the face,
No,
blows them away.
you're so stupid. That's
I don't
not.
have a right to do that.
That's a
You don't have
violation of
absolute
someone
bodily
else's.
autonomy. The government regulates your body.
You're
every
literally so
single
stupid.
day.
That's once you interact with another person, that's their bodily autonomy. You fool. Are you actually this uneducated?
No.
Yes. Someone else that
You're
exists
still-
has their
no, you're
own bodily
governing
autonomy.
your own body when
Yes.
you harm another person. Your rights,
Yes.
just as you, I think,
Yes.
perfectly illustrated,
Absolutely.
and other people's begin.
And
My position
fetuses
is
are
that the
not
fetus should have
humans.
rights. You don't have a
Fetuses
right to
aren't
do whatever you
humans.
want with your body.
You
ignorant of
absolutely
other
do.
people's rights.
100% you
No,
have.
they're
Okay, we're gonna throw it over to
Bodily
Maddie.
autonomy.
Maddie was trying to say something earlier.
gonna-
I want to make sure
Are you gonna tell this guy
Wanna
to
make-
shut
we're
the
gonna-
fuck up?
it's gonna go back around. I'm sure. Maddie, you wanted to talk. I'm gonna bring it over to you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's like all the dick went to his personality.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, when we talk about bodily autonomy, what we're talking about is how the government can't force anyone legally to, let's say, donate an organ. You have the right to what happens to your body in that situation. Whereas with women or people with uteruses,
Jesus.
unfortunately, due to the rolling back of Roe v. Wade and a lot of the state-based legislation that we're seeing around the country, the result of that is people dying. So if you really
God,
care
all
about
I'm
being
hearing
pro-life,
right now.
you should maybe CTV. I love
Who's
you. But
died?
give me a second, okay?
What's the definition
died?
of died? Sorry,
No,
can we
who's died?
bog
Are
the
you talking about
conversation
Amber
down
Thurman?
so I can understand what you mean by died?
No.
Do you
no.
not
Because I don't
understand what
understand.
Are you
death
talking about
is?
Amber Thurman? Because Amber Thurman didn't
Did your
die as a
parents-
result of
did your
abortion
parents-
legislation.
Did your parents not have that talk with you about like what death is?
I never
Okay.
said that. That was just Jake being an idiot. But if you'd
Oh,
like to
did
answer
you?
my question, I asked you who's died.
Would you like me to send a full list because I know you're referencing
Just name one.
person,
If there's a full
but in
list, there
fact,
should be at least
there
one
are-
name.
Would you
Amber
like me to
Thurman?
send you the list?
No, I want you to name one person.
All right.
person
You want me to name
died?
one person?
And tell me
That
the
you don't
circumstances
believe-
surrounding
you don't
that
believe-
case.
No, let me see. Let me just
How's
get a
this working?
clarification. So by
Every single
asking me
state
that,
in
do
the
you not
entire
believe-
United States
do
makes an
you not
exception for the
believe
mother's
that
life being in
any
danger.
women, so
Candace
no women
failed.
died because they haven't
No.
had
No.
they
Candace
haven't
fails.
had access. No,
No,
women at all.
every single state
No,
makes an
listen.
exception for medical
What's it
emergencies.
No, they don't.
Every
What's it
Candace
like
fails.
in your fantasy?
Candace Fails died in Texas this week. A pregnant teenager died after trying to get care in
Texas has a-
three
has an
visits.
exception for medical
Three
emergencies.
visits to Texas emergency rooms. It took her
Yeah.
20 hours to get any sort of
that's
care.
The result
no,
of incompetent doctors.
No, it's a direct result. It was a direct result of going to different places, seeking health care. Seeking listen,
no, incapable.
Hey, you need to have the
govern their practice.
You need to have the integrity to listen. The integrity to listen to the questions you ask.
How much medicine can you give to a person? How can you treat a person? Where can you treat a person?
Okay, wait.
Listen.
Okay, let's wait.
Listen.
Let's wait a moment. Okay, wait.
Listen.
The question was for a name.
I'm giving you one.
Wants to talk about the name, so we'll let him do the name.
Yeah. You fucking baby, man. Her name
then we'll have a response.
is Candace Fales. And it took 3 ER visits and 20 hours before a hospital admitted her. As her condition worsened, they insisted on 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise because the laws in Texas are so stringent that the doctors they took way too much time due to the bureaucracy that the Republicans in Texas set up. And she died because of your oversight and your government, your big fucking government oversight on people's bodily autonomy and healthcare that you can't see.
That sounds like a problem for the Texas state legislature.
It's not. It's a problem for everybody, you dumb motherfucker. It's a problem because the Supreme Court, because of the federal Supreme Court.
Is that what I'm hearing right now? Jake doesn't know how fucking state.
Your mic is
that
broken.
Makes sense.
The Supreme
don't know how to control a fucking border.
You can't control your emotions.
They're trying to understand the fucking law and how it applies in one place and doesn't apply to fucking another.
No one can really hear what you're saying. So the Supreme Court is a federal institution that you agree. And the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, which allowed Texas to do this kind of abortion ban. It's all connected, you silly, small-minded man. Like, obviously, the nation sets federal law, and the states work underneath that, you fool. And because they are allowed under federal law,
the abortion is a state issue. The problem that you're laying out
and
is
the
for
state
Texans
of Texas and the state of Texas failed and continues to fail. It's showing. All it's showing is that your worldview is bad and it hurts people.
Yeah.
And your healthcare system is dog shit.
Again, every single state in the entire country.
Okay, wait. Let's not have 4 people talk.
You don't even need fetal futility. All you need is the mother's life to be in danger.
And her life is. Why'd she die then?
A physician's opinion.
Why did she die then?
Is in danger to abort that baby.
This happens.
You're
wrong.
And by that point, it's too late.
I'm not wrong.
By that point,
You are wrong.
They need a mother bleeding out on the ground.
One singular state.
Jesus.
The question.
I can't get them. They're alone.
The question was about a medical emergency exception. If anyone wants to answer that, and then I want to make sure we get the non-fun because he asked to speak a bit. Does anyone want to answer the non-medical emergency question that Cam put forward?
One state that doesn't have one.
Talk to the state legislatures.
Anybody? One state that doesn't have a medical emergency? A single one?
No, I'm gonna answer Dylan's question. I don't want to talk to you. So what
it was
happens
my question
is
that
that
Dylan asked. But...
I don't give a shit. So when we're talking about like, okay, if their mother's life is in danger, then they're able to get care. No, what ends up happening is they have to wait until it is basically too late to save the mother. They say, oh, we'll help you so long as you start bleeding out on the floor.
Not true.
As soon as you start bleeding out on the floor and hemorrhaging, then that counts as life-saving. When they could have taken action to prevent a preventable death.
Not true.
Not that
the
long
language
before.
in every
Absolutely
single
true.
state bill
Absolutely
is very clear.
true.
It takes a physician's
100%
opinion
true.
that a mother's life is in danger and that it
No.
could cause
What's it
serious
like
bodily
living in-
harm or death.
What's it like living in a
You'll
pandemic?
notice
This happens this
one
week.
state doesn't have this.
This week, the first
One
hospital
state doesn't have
diagnosed.
this. Yeah, that's the result of doctors not knowing the law that guide their practice.
No, listen. This is the heartbeat bill. This is the heartbeat bill. Here,
paragraph of the bill has a medical exception.
Can you listen? Listen.
You're so angry and wrong.
Doctors said her 6-month fetus had a heartbeat, so she was not going to get care. While she had sepsis, strep throat. Yes, she screened positive for sepsis. She screened positive for sepsis, but the doctor said her 6-month fetus had a heartbeat, so she left. And then she had to go to a third hospital to try to get someone to confirm that she was okay. And 2 ultrasounds later at that third hospital, they confirmed fetal demise was imminent. And then they were allowed, but it took 20 hours and she died because of your bureaucracy. You're saying, oh, we want this small government. But the red tape that you fuckers put in place made this slow, deliberately
wrong.
so. Not wrong. You're just in denial. You're a small-minded person.
Section 171.205 of the Texas Abortion Bill.
Throw it down
Exception
to
for
other
medical
people,
emergency. Sections 1.71.203 and 17.17204 do not apply if the physician believes a medical emergency exists and prevents compliance with this section.
Yep.
But the law in practice does not act like that. But
No,
anyway.
it does. The doctors just don't read the law, but they're
No,
supposed
it
to.
doesn't.
They read the law.
No,
So you're
every
saying
other
that
aspect
Republican
of
lawmakers made an inefficient law and it's harming healthcare?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
The doctors are lazy and not reading the new legislation.
Oh, okay.
Doctors have to be familiar with the law in
I'm
every
sorry.
other subsect of their
Oh,
job.
okay, yeah.
Whether it's prescribing
Has nothing to
medicine,
do with the
when
bad
you can prescribe,
laws.
when
The
you can prescribe, where you
non-healthcare
can
people-
prescribe,
I'm
how you
sorry
treat
you're
people, how
so
you
indifferent to
put
suffering
people
of
under
women.
surgery.
Hey, non-fun, do
Every
you want to
aspect
talk?
of their job is guided by law and regulation.
Okay.
But
We
for
got-
some
we
reason
got-
with this
we've-
one, doctors in liberal
got
cities
both positions.
don't want to, they risk people's lives to make a point.
We've got both positions. I want to make sure we go to the two people who have not talked much. Non-Fawn, I said it would be you next. We'll do you, but then we got to go to Hake because he's been waiting very patiently, like a good conservative man.
Sure. I want to respond to two things Cam said before we got totally derailed. First, like I don't think just a number of executive orders is necessarily shows who is more authoritarian or fascist. I would say like a big thing that like Trump did was Schedule F appointments, which allowed him to exert a lot of more control over the executive branch. Whether or not you believe in unitary executive theory, clearly this is more authoritarian than just any other random executive order. And Biden voluntarily got rid of that power. The second thing is, like, I'm absolutely right about Kamala Harris's housing policy. I pulled up the thing. Point 3 is build housing supply through the first ever tax incentive to build affordable homes for first-time home buyers. Point 4 is launching a $40 billion local fund for local communities to remove red tape. And also, the Republican platform has literally one paragraph in housing policy, and the solution is to deport illegal immigrants, okay? So
Housing policy isn't one of their primary talking points.
Oh, okay. So they're inadequate there.
It's like the only thing Kamala Harris talks about.
Oh, okay. So Trump is inadequate
Because
there.
the-
Kamala Harris has a developed policy.
Giving away other people's money.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Cool. Yeah,
The
I
Fed
agree.
shouldn't
Thanks,
be involved
non-fun.
in the
Hake.
The Fed shouldn't be involved in the housing situation anyway, because Obama was redistributing the ghetto through HUD. And so we don't want that anyway. Subsidized housing just raises the price of housing, the cost. And you guys
But
are
you
so
acknowledge
phony,
cost
pretending
something for
like
3
you care
million new
about
homes,
women
right?
dying because they can't get abortions. You don't care about the women dying getting abortions. And Trump isn't even involved in that. He's a reasonable man.
Unsafe abortions?
And you can iron those things out. So Trump is still the man
Unsafe
for the job.
abortions
And
don't really happen.
And Trump
Oh,
shrunk
okay.
the
Back
size
alley
of the-
abortions have
Wait,
been.
wait,
the
one second.
term was-
Wait, guys. Come on, Hake waited in the Rumble scenario. Let's let him finish.
Trump shrunk the size of the government. He's given power back to the people, deregulating, and he's actually far more reasonable than any of you psychos are giving him credit for.
I just want to clarify what I meant by that before people think I'm insane. Back alley abortions is a term that's been around for a really long time, and the reason they're called back alley abortions isn't because they're performed in literal back alleys. It's because people enter the clinics through the back alley to receive illegal abortions from certified doctors.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sounds-
So like cohabiting
better.
abortions, like they do happen, but like super duper rare because
So
nobody's able to
that's
do
what
that, right?
happened
Oh,
on
it's-
Dirty Dancing all those years ago when they put baby in the fucking corner.
What?
What the fuck?
That was
Exactly.
real quick, I just also
Jesus.
want to respond to Hake's point. He's saying a demand subsidy is going to increase the price of homes. That is true to an extent, but she also wants to build 3 million new homes. That's probably going to decrease the price of homes as well. The empirical evidence from Singapore suggests that the increase in the price of homes probably won't be that much because Singapore also does demand subsidies. Any housing policy is going to have to be a balance between letting new people buy into the home ownership system and ensuring that houses slowly appreciate over time because many middle-class Americans store their wealth in homes. So I think that's why
The only
Harris
way
is
you
right.
can
the
increase the
The
wealth,
only thing,
the value
wait,
of these homes is by getting rid of the homeless and the illegals. Because we haven't
Getting
by
rid
getting
of
rid
them?
of. I mean,
Where
obviously,
to?
obviously,
Yeah, get rid of
humanely
them.
doing it right. I'm not talking about
What's
anything
humane?
crazy.
What?
Okay.
Tell me what the humane removal of homeless and illegal immigrants is.
Put in the homeless
Allowing
to
illegal-
work. Put in the homeless
allowing
to work.
illegal-
Putting them to work?
And-
Oh, that sounds like a communist work
let-
camp.
Wait. Let's hear it first. Let's hear it.
and sending
No,
the
he ordered-
illegals back. Maybe the more
Humanely, though?
Yeah,
definitely
it's
humane.
way
that?
more humane than letting them
yeah,
stay here. They're
they're
slaves
getting
of the
a
cartel.
free
Okay.
fucking ticket. How's that
Most
not
of the people
humane?
who cross most of the people who
With
cross the
that
border
dog
illegally
and a
become slaves of the cartel because they can't get
and
here
they
on
just
their own. They
fucking
need
paddle
guides.
out in the ocean and tell them to paddle their ass back. How about that?
Yeah.
So,
You think that's
so what,
humane?
you give them a
They
hug and
pretend
They're
like
getting
they
a
care
fucking
about
ticket.
separating
The
families.
majority of people who immigrate here illegally are literally slaves of the cartel because they need a guide to come here, especially when they're crossing through super hot deserts, and to evade law enforcement.
that's
Most of the time, they
part-
can't afford
and
this.
that's
It costs
cartel
thousands of
related?
dollars to be smuggled, so they go into cartel debt and they make no money and they work as slaves. And if they don't pay the cartel,
So do you
the
think that's a
cartel kills them.
failure of America meeting the demand of immigration?
Send them
No.
back.
It's
send them
a
back.
problem with people coming
You know
here
how-
illegally and us letting cartels smuggle people in.
You know how
and
like
releasing
when
people.
someone has a dog for a long time and they say like, oh, you start turning into your dog and you start like looking the same. Hake sounds like Jesse Lee Peterson just by fucking proximity. Like the way he speaks. It's weird, man. It's weird that happened to you.
Oh, I see it.
It happened.
By the
to
way,
everybody.
wait, guys, vote to kick. The poll's already in the chats. Okay.
Oh, the polls.
People can spread it to your own. You can spread it
Polls
around to your
open.
own chats if you want. Polls already open. Okay. Polls open in 4 days, and polls open right now. Right now in chat. Vote to kick. You guys can keep going, but vote to kick. Voting's already started.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing the left knows how to do is
can I
spend other
respond?
people's fucking. No, you can shut the fuck up and listen for a minute. Is what you can do, right? So the only thing that the left knows how to do is spend other people's fucking money, which is exactly why all of Kamala Harris's plans include we're going to redistribute tax money collected over here and give first-time home buyers a little bit of money instead of what Trump's plan is: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, car interest loan is tax deductible, right? Social Security not going to be taxed. That's how you empower the American people to actually solve their own fucking problems instead of them being dependent on the fucking government. So all the plans you're going to hear from here on the left tonight is going to be them, right? We're going to take care of you, right? Oh, which they can't fucking do anyway, right?
Yep.
Whereas on this side, we're going to give you the means to be able to do that and get the government off your fucking back, which is the problem of every fucking problem that we end up having as people.
I agree that the government is
correct me if
bad
I'm
if it's
wrong.
too
We're all
big.
careful
Hold on.
with
I want
that.
to
Jake,
respond to
take a second.
CTV, man.
I think that housing policy for first-time home
okay,
buyers
it's the last
only
time you're
applies
gonna
to
talk
people
on
like
here.
generationally first-time home buyers. Anyway, go ahead, Jake.
All right, thanks, man.
Jake?
So you agree that big government is bad. So why do you support big government in abortion then, man? Like it doesn't make any sense for you to want overreach in government.
Define big government in the scenario.
What do you mean? That's literally politicians deciding
It's the same
healthcare.
reason we support big government for
Hello.
murder and theft.
Jake,
Massive
define
decentralized
big
oversight.
government in this scenario. Are you
Yes,
talking
good
about the
question.
state government or are you talking about the federal government?
Either-
Because if you're talking about the federal government,
Either, man.
that's the government that everybody refers to whenever they're saying big government, right?
Nope,
So now that
state
we've
or
got
federal can
big
be too
government
involved in
out
your
of the whole
life,
fucking
I think.
problem of abortion, what you need
Huh?
to do is have the state legislatures
You like
go
the
to
state
their
government?
to their constituents
Do you-
and then make a
Why
law
do
that
you-
works for them. So if
I'm
you
gonna
have a
turn you
problem in
down a little
Texas, go to the fucking Texas legislature to fix the fucking problem. But since you
So
don't live
the
in
Texas government-
it ain't
I'm not talking
your
about just
fucking
Texas.
problem, so stop fucking bitching.
I'm not. Well, this is a political conversation where we have disagreements about politics. So I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna have disagreements with you, and you're just gonna have to emotionally be okay with that. Okay, man. So
Also, it's possible to care about people that
Yeah.
like, aren't you.
yeah,
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we care
But,
about
like, it's
babies
possible.
not being killed.
Sorry,
by their
go
You
mothers.
don't
on.
care about
Yeah,
babies
sure
not being
do.
killed. You care
Sure
about
do.
fetuses.
Absolutely.
You don't
I
care about
believe you.
babies once
Yeah.
they're born.
Yeah,
Do you
okay,
want those
so
babies to have
therefore-
health care access
don't
from the
believe you.
jump, just inherent to their existence? No,
Wait,
but I
just,
do.
Just because
So you don't
because
like
we
babies.
don't
You
wanna
like
give
their
them-
existence,
just,
not
just
their
because we don't want to
not
give them a
their
bunch of government
success.
subsidies doesn't mean we don't care about them.
Yes.
Just
because we
because
don't
What do you
wanna
mean
give
just
them government
because?
subsidies
What is
doesn't
the
mean we
point
care
of
about them.
society? The
Just
point of
because you're
society.
okay with them starving.
The whole point of society
Doesn't
is
mean
to
we don't care.
collectively raise our standard of living.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
And
I
we've
think the
done
standard
pretty
of
good,
living,
yeah.
healthcare is a
Yeah,
pretty
if you
fucking
actually
basic
look-
one to have
talk about
access
standard
to.
of living, Jake.
Cool, thanks for
Look at
agreeing.
any socialist country on the Human Development Index and look how terrible they are
We're
compared to the
not
United
dropping
States.
this. We are not dropping this. You tell me
Uh-huh.
that the only reason that people get to fucking gather is to just raise their living standard. That's the only reason.
For collective well-being and betterment, yeah.
Like
Collective
holistically.
well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
But
got
not
something
through-
for
not through
the
the
dummy head
government.
leftists
What do you mean
here.
through the
Wait,
government? I'm talking
wait,
about the
so
government.
You think that's hold on. You think that's first? Like that's when you're creating civilization. That's first.
Well-being?
We're thinking about
Yes.
raising their- How?
Correct. What do you mean? What do you mean how?
How?
By ensuring
Like
What's the
survival.
first thing you
collectively
do?
that we
What's
have
the
what we
first fucking
need.
Thing you do? What's the first fucking thing you do?
The first thing I would do is
Spend
housing.
other people's money.
Housing. Are you serious right now?
Yes, correct.
Hey,
the first thing
hey,
you need is
Jake.
shelter.
Locate.
No,
I know
Hey,
that
Jake,
you locate a
Jake,
water
do I have the
source.
Human
Fucking
Development Index
dumbasses.
pulled up?
Jesus.
Locate a
Secure the
water
border.
source.
Secure
Jake,
the
I've got the
border.
Human
my
Development
game.
Index
Secure the
right
fucking
here.
border. Secure
You
the
got
border.
China.
If you don't have a border, you don't have a fucking nation. Secure the border.
I feel
That's
like
the
you need
first
to
fucking thing you
locate-
do.
I feel like you need to locate water before you secure a border. But that's
okay,
just,
guys.
it's fine.
So real quick for Jake,
Fresh water is good.
we've got the Human Development Index here. China 75, Vietnam 107. You'll notice that every socialist or formerly socialist country is at the rock bottom of the Human Development Index, whereas you have Switzerland, Iceland, Denmark, Germany, Singapore, Netherlands, Finland,
You don't
the
think
UK,
Switzerland
You just said
United
all those
States,
socialists. Those all have
South Korea,
healthcare.
Israel, Spain, all the
Literally-
base capitalist
literally-
countries at the top.
literally,
It lines
they
up
all
almost
have
exactly with the
socialized
Economic
healthcare.
Freedom Index, which
You-
measures how
you
capitalist
You
countries
listed
is.
countries
And
that have
all
socialized
socialist and
healthcare.
formerly socialist countries are at
All
rock
of
bottom
those
with
have
the worst
socialist
human development
healthcare.
on the face of the planet.
All of those have
You need to
socialist
look at
healthcare.
Socialized healthcare.
They're less
Okay,
diverse too.
Socialized.
That doesn't make them socialist countries.
Okay, so you agree? Hold on, wait.
They have more
You
freedom
agree?
than the United
The
States.
I'm saying
last
wait.
thing
I'm
you're
saying
gonna
wait,
say-
I'm saying wait.
And
I'm
less
saying
social
wait. I'm saying
welfare.
There's like 4 people talking at the same time, and we're about to wrap up this round in a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Okay, so I just want to throw it to. We're gonna have actual Jake finish your statement on the healthcare point. We're gonna have Cam respond. Non-fun hasn't talked in a bit, so we're gonna give it to non-fun. Then we're wrapping it up.
Okay. So if you agree that those countries have high indexes and are good, and you say they're capitalist, and you say that they have socialist healthcare, you agree we can do all of it at the same time in America. Obviously, since we're the greatest fucking country in the world, we can, of course, make socialized healthcare a reality so that Americans have more money, just like CTV wants, more money to spend on shit you want instead of shit you need. I am fine with you buying PlayStations and cars and guns. I do not need you buying healthcare. It shouldn't be a market. It should be allowed to you, because when it is a market, people prioritize the dollar over your health, and that's cucked as fuck. You like billionaires more than your own fucking healthcare, and that's sad as fuck. See you later, motherfucker. Deuces, Cam.
Cam?
No, I don't.
no,
I
later,
don't like
bro.
billionaires better, actually. I'm just trying to figure out. So, okay, so
All
first of all, yeah, these
No,
countries.
non-fun was talking.
Many
next.
of them have socialized healthcare. Okay, Jake,
No, it
So-
was Jake, Cam, and then non-fun.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So many of these countries do have socialized healthcare, right? And that's something I would disagree with them on. But many of them are also
But they're
still
the
more
highest
capitalist than
index,
the United
man.
States.
So
If
you
look-
must agree that
Hey, Jake,
contributes
pipe
to
down,
it.
buddy.
You
Is it my turn
fool.
to speak or your turn to speak? Pipe down, pal. All right. So anyway, I'm just trying to figure out why a country like Saudi Arabia is higher on the Human Development Index than every single socialist or formerly socialist country in the entire fucking world.
Do you like Saudi Arabia's
They're
government?
dog shit. They're terrible. Cuba, Vietnam,
Okay.
Laos, China.
So do you
They're
think
all of the
okay,
former
so
Soviet
listen.
bloc countries? They're all below Saudi fucking Arabia on
Okay.
the Human Development Index,
Yeah.
which measures education, quality of life.
Education. Can the women get
living
educated in
conditions,
Saudi
life expectancy,
Arabia?
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's the UN standard
gonna
for how good
say-
Can the women?
how good the quality of life in a country is. Okay.
So that seems pretty
So I'm gonna
sexist
say
if
why
Saudi
all these
Arabia is
socialist
indexing
countries
high.
have
Ass
all of
so much
their
that they're worse than Saudi
labor.
Arabia, which stones people.
Okay, so you
I
agree
was gonna
Saudi
say, is
Arabia
that
is
for
bad?
Saudi-
We're throwing it. I'm sorry. We're throwing it to non-fun because we got to wrap this round up. Non-fun, quickly wrap us up.
Yeah, I like to just respond to CTV. CTV says he doesn't like big government. He doesn't. How do you feel about Donald Trump imposing on free markets by proposing a 10% tariff on all goods coming from foreign nations, which is a regressive?
It's a great fucking idea since you
That
asked.
tax-
That's big
That
government.
taxes poor people more than rich people, by the way. And then also for Cam, which country is the highest in the HCI has 10% universal tariffs across the board? What?
Wait, did I say that there was a country on here that had 10% universal tariffs across the board?
No, so it must be
but
a bad idea, right?
No, I think
similar
socialized
to-
healthcare is also a bad idea, but most of these
But
countries
all the
also
ones that
have
are on the top have it.
They're
So
still,
make it make
they're
sense.
still the most capitalist countries in the world, though, like Singapore, for example, which is #1 in the Economic Freedom Index. Switzerland, which is super high. Iceland, Denmark, Germany.
Sounds like you
Singapore,
should move to
Netherlands,
Singapore.
Finland, Israel, and the United States. What's that?
Okay, guys,
Sounds like
we
you
got to
should
wrap
move
it
to
up.
Singapore.
We got to.
So-
Okay, wait. We have guests waiting. There's people in the waiting room. We have to kick. Cam, I'm very sorry. With
I knew
about
it.
66% of the vote, the audience has decided that you are the one to go. Now, that
Knew
might
it.
not be necessarily a condemnation of your debating skills, maybe your ability to get under their skin, which you could take maybe pride in as being the first one kicked out tonight. What do you have to say for yourself, Cam?
Danabo said that if I was kicked in the first round, that he would rig the election. So you guys should all look forward to that. Trump will be your next president because, yeah. All right. So thanks, guys. Jake, you're a loser. Bye.
Because yeah,
Good job, Cam.
good vote.
See you, Cam.
Great job.
Good sport. Okay, we're bringing in some new people. Cam is the first one to go. The next round, we're going to be voting out a lefty. So, lefties, good luck. Okay. Welcome in new guests, Penterble and Crop Duster, also known as Aircraft Sparky. For those of you who remember him from the old Hippy Dippy days, I'm sure a few of you do. 2 Trumpers in here. Look at that. Look at this balance right now. We got 3 libs. And we got 4 Trumpers. Ooh, look at that. Unbalanced.
I'm
That's
not
what
a
happens. We
lib.
have last second cancellations.
I'm K-Hive until Tuesday.
Okay, temporary lib.
Not a lib. vote.
You're in a state of libcosis.
Sure, I'm stun locked by the lib vote.
Okay. So wait, we were about to. I think there was a comment Nonfon made towards CTV about tariffs. That's where we left off. Is that where we want to pick up back?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, did
Yeah,
you want
I
to say
mean,
something about that? Because
Tariffs are part of the original Constitution. That was how we got our revenue, and income tax was unconstitutional until they changed it.
Hank, I want to ask you a question. Direct.
All right.
What is a tariff?
It is a sort of a tax on imports.
How exactly does the everyday person see that get interacted in their life?
On supply.
Probably by if they're buying stuff from overseas, then they're paying a little bit more for that stuff overseas, or a lot more.
So what you're saying is if there's a television that's being made in China and a television that's being made in
SMG
America,
Hottie,
right?
thank you.
The one that's made in China will have additional cost added to it because it was not manufactured by Americans in America. Is that correct?
That's right.
Outstanding. Hey, thank you for explaining that. Lefties, if you'd
Okay,
like to
Hank,
somehow argue how it's better to take fucking tax dollars from hard-working fucking people instead of people making a fucking choice to make a purchase to pay that same fucking money, go fucking head! Because I don't think you got fucking any kind of fucking logic to defeat this. Come on, get the fuck out of here.
Okay,
right,
firstly,
man.
tariffs or taxes.
Maddie, Maddie, I think you wanted to respond to that, was it?
Secondly, to respond to
Yeah.
Non-Fon. You grabbed it, and that's Rumble ethics, so you have to grab it. Sorry.
That's true.
Okay, sure. So, I responded to that. Tariffs are regressive taxes, just like obviously. And to respond to Hake's point, like, Hake, do you know what the Laffer curve is?
No. Spell it.
Okay, so the Laffer curve is this
I
idea.
don't know
in
what it is
economics that there's a. Okay, well, usually right wingers are usually big on the Laffer curve because it supposes that if you decrease taxes, sometimes you can actually increase revenue. Because at some point you tax things so much that you decrease economic activity to such an extent that you don't actually raise revenue. So the point there is that the effect, the revenue maximizing point at which you can tax imports is almost certainly, I don't even want to say almost certainly not going to raise the $2.2 trillion that income taxes raise.
Right. So the point is that it's already been said. Hold on. It's already been said. It's already been said, right? That we're not taxing all imports. We're only going to be adding tariffs, right, to imports that have American manufacturing in the country already ready to go, right? And then as those industries come online, tariffs will be added to that. The long-term plan here, right, is to get Americans buying American because that keeps our fucking money in our fucking country instead of it going to all these foreign fucking markets that don't give two flies of a fuck about people actually having labor rights, actually having any kind of human rights,
Hey,
and
you're
actually
for labor
somebody
rights?
giving a fuck about them.
You're for labor rights? Every major labor union supports Kamala Harris.
Fucking red herring, dude.
Yeah,
No, they don't. Teamsters did not endorse Kamala Harris.
Hey, first of all, Trump
Hey,
has only ever said
Question,
universal
Pentable,
Isn't
turn
that a
on the gain
union?
on your mic.
platform says
Pentable, gain on your mic. Turn it down. All right. Non-Fon, you were responding to
All the way
that?
down.
Yeah, don't engage with the labor point. That's a red herring. First of all, like, where was
That's
I? Trump has always said universal tariffs. Trump has always said universal tariffs, not just on China, not just on things with companies with already manufacturing in America. He only ever says universal tariffs. The GOP platform specifically says baseline
No,
tariffs.
that's not what he
on all
says, but go
imports.
ahead. That's not what he says, but go ahead.
I could like link you videos of him
Hello,
saying that. The
I've already
GOP
seen it
platform
multiple
also-
fucking times and multiple fucking different rallies, different fucking interviews, X, Y, and Z. I know what the fucking man said. He said that he's going to be taxing or adding tariffs to products that are coming into the country that have a fucking American manufacturer making the same fucking product. Which means that if you want to buy Chinese toilet paper to wipe your fucking ass, you're going to pay a fucking tariff to wipe your ass with Chinese fucking toilet paper. Okay? Because you
you're
chose
okay
not
with-
to buy
You're either lying or been lied to.
Prices increasing then. Are you okay with all prices increasing because of that? Because
Wait,
even
wait,
when
wait,
you're
I-
buying
It's
Yes.
not all prices.
follow up
It'll
for
be
one thing? Wait,
prices
can I follow-
being
wait,
raised on
PTV,
products
it's-
that are being made outside the United States. And I don't understand how anybody on the
Right,
left
so the
can even
reason-
begin to start
the
to argue this
reason-
whenever the entire
so the
reason that any of
reason-
these fucking corporations
the
can
reason
make
that
any
goes
fucking
good-
money or
Other
anything
countries
that's
once they have our
good
dollars.
because they're
CTV, you put our dollars going overseas. Other
of
countries
all these
once they have our dollars.
foreign-
CTV.
Okay, we got to make sure some other people can talk. So we got to wait. We We got to make sure some other people can talk. I want to make sure. Maddie's been waiting very patiently. She raised her hand. I saw Jake also raise his hand. We're going to go to the other people, some of the new people, Pencil Bolt and Aircraft in a moment, or Crop Duster. I don't know how you prefer it. Maddie.
Is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so the point I was trying to make is this. The reason that foreign goods currently have a pricing advantage is because they can sell at a much lower price point because the cost of production when they are made overseas is a lot lower. So if we then increase, I'm getting to a CTV, baby.
No, you're going to go to somewhere else. I want a question to that exact question.
Babe, let me finish, baby. So when you import those goods, but then you add an additional tariff to it, what you're doing is for any companies that are now buying those goods, you're increasing the overall cost to their production. The reason they were going to those goods initially is because they were cheaper than American-made goods. If you're making it so that, okay, now foreign goods are way more expensive, that's not making American goods cheaper. It's making it cheaper relative to the foreign goods and thus raising all prices. That's how
there's an element of prices here.
Is that an acceptable outcome for
Yes. Yes,
Why?
Because there's an element of prices here, but there's also the element of money leaving our country, leaving our economy. So what we're trying to do is keep that money here. Even if we're paying more, that money isn't going overseas. Even if it's less money at a time,
what do countries do when they have our dollars back?
What?
Yeah, we're not global over here.
What do countries do once they have our dollars?
What are you saying?
What are you talking about?
What do they do with the money?
What
do they do?
In the U.S. Either the money comes back through buying imports or the money comes back through investing in the U.S. Those are the only two options. You don't understand how the balance.
They don't invest in the U.S. Are you fucking stupid?
China doesn't invest in the U.S.
Wait, please, give me a second. Guys, no. Let me be clear. When I'm talking, nobody else is talking. I couldn't hear what Nonfon even said the first time. So Nonfon, could you repeat what you said before we move on to someone else? I just want to make sure because I couldn't hear your point.
CTV, do we have a trade deficit?
Yeah.
I asked you to wait, Nonfon. I asked you to clarify what you said earlier. Could you clarify what you said earlier? Not to make a new point. That's slippery. I appreciate the ethics of it, but could you please clarify your point?
It is a lefty ethic, for sure.
My point was that the dollars that go to other countries definitionally, because of how the balance of payments works, have to come back to the U.S. either through buying imports or investing in the capital account. So
wait, hold on.
Wait, let him finish, please.
The Republicans are like,
CTV, come on, you've always respected me. Let him finish quick. Nonfon, just finish your point so then people can respond to a fully made point.
Yeah, when he says we have a trade deficit, the only logical conclusion from that, as a matter of accounting, is that countries are investing in us because we have a capital account surplus.
Oh my god.
CTV?
If that was true, then please explain to me how China has so much fucking housing that is just not being lived in at fucking all. If that money came back to the United States, where there literally acres and fucking acres, thousands upon thousands of apartment units that are built in fucking China, whole cities that are fucking built in China that nobody fucking lives in. And you know what? You know how they got that fucking money? You know how they got that? They got it by bringing in all of our fucking trash and then turning around and giving us all these fucking imports that were trash every fucking year. Okay. Christmas lights is a great fucking example of that.
Do you think that American consumerism is default?
Anyone with a basic understanding.
I'm making a fucking point. Corn cob, I ain't got nothing for you. Shut the fuck up. I'll let you know when you can speak. The problem with all of this right here, hold on, the problem with all this right here is that you want to sit here and talk about money and where it's being spent and it's supposedly coming back, but it doesn't, and it hasn't been. It hasn't been. The quality of life of Americans has been dropping for the last 60 fucking years, and you want to fucking tell me that somehow it's going up. That's the same dumbass logic that I hear every single fucking time I even bother listening or trying to get a fucking read in on what's going on with the Kamala Harris and the Tim Walz camp. Because every single fucking time I hear, Kamala. That's what I said.
You know it's Kamala. You said Kamala.
That's what I said. That's classic shit, man.
Dude, the total
actually,
anyone who doesn't know anything what he's talking about. Dollars can't be sent in China. China doesn't use the dollar. Dollars can only be sent in the U.S.
I'm gonna put it like this.
I'm
gonna put it like this. I'm not gonna be taking language fucking tips from somebody from California whenever I have a
yeah.
North
I'm not from
Carolina
California.
authentic dialect. I pronounce
No,
things how I
am.
pronounce them,
I
and if you don't
am.
fucking like it,
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
give two flyings of a fuck. Kamala is what I said. If you don't like that, I don't give a fuck.
Well, you're just
Okay.
wrong about it. It's
Let's
fine
go
if
over
you
to
want to dig
Jake.
in. Yeah, that's fine if you want to dig in on
Okay,
being wrong about
CP.
stuff. That's not new. 16
Yeah,
Nobel
fine.
Prize-winning economists signed a letter in June expressing fear that Trump's proposal would reignite inflation, plummeting since peaking at 9.1%. They're saying that it could register as high as 9.3%, as 6% to 9.3%. Do you think that experts in the field might know more about his bad economic plan than you, or do you think you, who doesn't know what the fuck non-fun is even trying to talk about, literally when he speaks and he's like talking about trade deficits, like what guys? I don't even like. You don't even know what the conversation is. Do you think that economists?
We have all these experts.
Do you think?
Why didn't we listen to these
What,
experts?
what do you mean these
They
experts?
must be wrong.
They
You're
must.
saying, you're like, oh, we have
Experts are
experts.
phony.
How did we end up in this position then?
What do you
The
mean?
experts clearly tell you what the fuck
The
they're doing.
experts-
Are you and me in charge of this fucking policy?
You mean being
What does that even
the
mean? I
prosperous
don't-
country in the
Who
world?
is this guy?
How does that happen?
Experts.
He's-
I
Pentuple,
appeal
what-
to authority.
Do you not
I mean,
think that
how did we end up
economists?
in the most
Thank you.
prosperous
Do you think the
nation
economy is doing
in the
great?
world?
Do you?
Where were these
Right now?
experts when the
Hey,
economy
hold on,
turned to
this-
shit?
Right.
Where were
This
the?
is a totally
Turn to shit
whether or
from-
not universal tariffs are welfare maximizing has nothing to do with whether the economy is doing great now or not. These are two entirely separate claims.
Right now, I
if
care
the
about the experts said that. Apparently, nobody cares what the experts said.
Well, I mean, you don't when it comes to medicine. You don't when it comes to economics.
answer-
Were Joe
whoever is
Biden
probably
and
right.
Kamala listening to these
Couple.
experts over the last 3.5 years? I'm just curious.
Kamala.
Why do you think they added
Couple.
so
When
many
countries
jobs?
get our dollars, what do they do with them?
I'm just saying.
They
these
store
experts
them
clearly
in their
aren't.
fucking
The economy's
banks.
doing good, Maddie.
They literally
Okay,
been storing them
they
in
store
their
paper
banks.
money in their
No,
banks.
he should listen to the experts. He doesn't even understand the balance of payment.
They take paper dollars and like, now we have their dollars, and that'll show America with their stacks. This isn't how real
Seriously,
life works.
if
What do
we
you
have-
think
They
money
do it to
is?
back
If
up
we
their
have
own
another thing.
currencies, dumbass.
Here's another thing.
Hello, dumbass.
If
They
we
do
have-
it to back up their own fucking currency.
That's not
Jesus
how it
Christ.
works. It's paper. It doesn't have inherent value. It only is backed by the American government. And
CTV, here's a
What?
question. Here's a question about currency
Especially
value.
since we ended.
Here's a question about currency value. Do we acknowledge
Okay.
But you said the paper has no fucking value. Because
Okay,
it was
okay,
told
it's
to
very
be
loud. It's very loud right now, but we have two new guests, and one of them have not spoken yet. So I want to make sure that I know Maddie raised her hand earlier, so we'll go to Maddie, and then we'll go to Aircraft Spark. He hasn't risen his hand. He hasn't said anything, but I want to make sure he gets to say something this round. Maddie?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were going to Aircraft Sparky first.
No, I said we're gonna go to Sparky after.
Sorry about that. Yeah. No, I guess what I'm saying is like, oh, do you care about what the experts say? Yeah, because these are people where their entire lives and careers are dedicated towards studying certain things. They've won literal Nobel Prizes for the work and research that they've contributed to. And a lot of the reason why our country continues to be the most powerful, prosperous nation in the history of the world, I would have a feeling that some of that has to do with expert input and people who know what they're doing. Now, again, when the experts are saying whether or not we should vote for Kamala or whether we should vote for Trump, it has little to do with like what the economy is doing right now. They're basically saying, hey, do you want to get in a car and drive off the cliff? Or do you want to get back on the highway? Then you can make a decision based on each candidate's respective economic policies. So if
Maddie,
you want to get in the car that goes off the cliff, by all means, my God,
for the
have
same
a good time.
same president
But-
that doesn't have a
Wait,
health care
hold on,
plan
hold on,
still,
hold
just the
on, hold on,
concepts
hold on.
of a plan.
Hold the fuck on. That was Maddie. That was well said. That
Thank you so
was
much.
well fucking said, right?
I love you so
because I
much.
think
Eugene, thank you.
I think every American can see that the car that we're riding in right now, it's going to be the same car we're going to be riding in for the next 4 fucking years.
No, we're changing
so
drivers,
I'm
baby.
with you whenever you say we need to get the fuck out and get Trump back in office, right?
Yes, please.
Because
Yeah,
the driver we got right now ain't fucking it.
You're doing
Even
well
the
on
side
this
seat
one.
driver
Well,
ain't
that's-
shit. The side seat driver
that's-
ain't doing fucking nothing. If the side seat driver
I don't
had
know
been
if,
doing something and is now running for the
I don't
main
know if
driver
anyone told
position,
you.
maybe I'd be like,
Well, I
yeah, we
don't-
need to get this side seat driver in. But hell
I
no,
don't
this
know.
motherfucker's driving over that cliff. I'm with you, girl. I'm with you.
I don't know
point.
if anyone told you, but Joe Biden's not actually running for president.
Yeah.
He's not actually running the country.
Yeah.
I just want to like
Yeah,
make the
let's-
point.
Okay, we're gonna wait. We gotta throw it over to Sparky because we're already putting in a new guest.
Dude.
We're gonna bring in new guests soon, so I want to make sure Sparky gets to say something. Sparky.
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, I'm not going to use the Nobel the Nobel Peace Prize is anything of any type of authority, because in 2009 they gave Barack Obama a peace prize for, and I quote,
The Nobel
extraordinary
Peace
efforts
Prize isn't the Nobel Prize, but that's whatever.
So phony.
In economics, it's different.
International
So true.
diplomacy and cooperation
Yeah.
between people. Why he performed over 563 drone strikes. I mean,
How many
for
did
fuck's
Trump?
sake,
How many did Trump? You're against drone
I
strikes?
don't
How many
know.
did Trump? It was more. Just so you know.
Did Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize for extraordinary efforts in strengthening diplomacy?
No,
No, he did not.
because
So,
he wouldn't have earned it, right?
Because they're a bunch of liberals.
Because Trump was more violent than Obama, which you agree is bad.
No,
Obama
he's
did
not.
bad, so you
Trump
agree
is
that
not.
Trump did bad if he did
Trump
worse.
was not more violent than
He
Obama.
literally
Obama was
did
worse
drone
than
more people than
W.
he had more drone strikes and bombings than
Okay.
the Obama
He did
administration.
get the Nobel Peace Prize
in
for
his
it either.
lame duck 4 years, because he was only
Obama
president the
killed-
once.
Obama
So,
killed
he did
more.
Americans.
Hey, Jake, hold on. Sparky, real
Let's
quick. I
let
just want to ask
Sparky.
you,
I just want to make I'm sorry, CTV, but Sparky didn't get to finish. I want to make sure Sparky gets
Okay.
to finish.
Can
since
I
we're gonna
ask
be kicking
Sparky-
people.
let me ask
Ask
Sparky
your
the question so he
man.
can
Let's
ask
go.
it.
Let's go.
He broke the
Look,
record
I
in the
just
first
wanna
2
know-
years.
Look,
Mazel tov.
Sparky, ask him what he thinks Soleimani thinks about that.
Look,
2,243 drone strikes in the first 2 years of the Trump presidency. Over 8 years of Obama's, 1,878.
Based.
Okay.
So you must agree that if drone strikes are bad, Trump is that much worse, right, little
I
guys?
actually think
Use your
Obama
big
are
brains,
bad.
Trumpies.
Strikes are bad.
You don't think drone strikes are bad? Now you're
They're bad.
reversing it. Very smart.
No,
Okay, I
strikes are
see
not
they're
bad.
bring their
Drone strikes
best.
are not
My
bad.
guy. My guy.
I'm sad that we had a cancellation.
Let's let
Obama
Sparky
killed an
respond.
American
Come
with
on,
a drone
guys.
strike,
Come on.
remember?
Look. Let's not get too frustrated. Sparky, respond.
Look, the point was, if you're going to use Nobel laureates as a benchmark to measure things, I'm just saying Barack Obama won the Peace Prize for doing absolutely nothing and actually killing people
Okay,
and
but
Americans.
not the Nobel Prize
For
for
God's sakes,
economics.
Hold on, Corn.
Okay,
Hold on,
just
Corn.
be-
Listen, dude,
just-
if I want economic sense, I'm not going to take it from a fucking corn cob and a Harris Waltz hat. Okay? Here's the deal. You said that the
aircraft to
American
make
dollar
America great again.
is backed up by something in America. It's made the fuck up. Okay, all of our money is made the fuck up.
Right.
It is not backed by a fucking thing. It is
Right.
backed by the good credit score of America, and that's it.
It's more like
and that's just
speculation, even.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's quite fucking sad.
So
and that's why we're
capitalism
getting
is a
ready to go
fucking
into World War
weird game
III.
to play, isn't it? It's a
No,
weird,
absolutely.
shitty thing.
Capitalism's way better than the bullshit.
I just
you
want to be
my guy.
like clear,
You know,
okay?
or-
All
or
these
welfare
people are laughing
recipient
about what
down
the
here.
experts are
What do
saying,
you
but
want?
none of them
Hold
can
on.
explain to me what the balance of payments is. These
Thank
people
you,
have no
non-fun.
clue what they're talking about. They're talking about the value of the dollar now.
Hold on.
The next thing
I'm
I'm going to
sorry,
press them
ma'am.
on is currency
I'm sorry,
appreciation
ma'am.
caused by tariffs, and I guarantee you
don't
none of
even
them
know
have
what you're
any
saying.
fucking clue what that even means.
Here's
Okay,
the
That's
fucking
we don't.
unsurprising. That's
Hold on,
unsurprising.
Sparky.
CTV,
I
wait,
can't
CTV,
understand
CTV,
what- I can't
CTV,
understand what Zoe's
CTV.
saying.
You've made a splash this round. Other people have not been able to make a splash at all this round. Perpetual, you haven't been able to talk. Perpetual, right? Is it perpetual? How do you pronounce it?
Pentuple.
Pentuple. Sorry, pentuple. I thought it was perpetual. I wanted to throw it over to you because it seemed like you wanted to get in. And then we're going to go to our new guest who just barged in.
Bad things to just derail into something else.
Just to be
No,
clear, I've
go
only
for
been
it.
able to
Do it.
react, not
I
actually.
was just gonna
give a take.
say, it makes sense that you guys don't understand tariffs. You guys also don't understand diplomacy. You guys use Trump's ability to be diplomatic with global opposition as a negative, which is mind blowing. You guys think that him having a good relationship with our global opposition is a bad thing, and you want to vote for the candidate who calls them war criminals and has no formal line of communications with them.
Thanks for the
You
raid,
guys-
the
you guys are- I think you
serfs.
guys believe it
Welcome.
backwards at this point.
I'm winning.
So, I mean, I'll let you deal with that, I guess.
So pro dictators.
Beautiful.
Cool.
No, not
man.
pro dictators, pro diplomacy, pro understanding that these global opposition leaders exist and that we need to have a relationship with them so that we can be at the table. This idea that we can't have any sort of relationship like this with them, you're literally arguing.
So it's
that
not
we
about
have
having a
candidate
relationship
that
with
can't
Putin,
be
it's about
diplomatic.
supporting him.
I have no idea how you guys don't see
understand what
that.
tariffs
It's
are.
So
crazy.
wait, hold on, but listen, it's not about having a relationship, a speaking relationship with Putin. It's about him supporting Putin directly.
No.
Yes, yes, you guys all do. You're all like, let him fuck
No,
Ukraine. You guys are literally all on that
Hey,
side.
did that happen under Trump's presidency?
Because he
Or did
supported
that happen
Putin.
under
No, it did
Biden's
not.
presidency?
Hold on.
Why didn't it happen under Trump's presidency?
Obama and
Well,
Biden.
apparently, you're able to account for all of the infinite variables. In
So
foreign
so
policy. Why
do you
didn't it
think
happen
hold on,
under
wait.
Trump's presidency?
Do you think
What's the timeline? in your
Listen,
mind,
listen.
brother?
Do you think Vladimir Putin stands to gain more under destabilizing American politics under a left-wing
I think
president
he's
or a right-wing
probably-
president?
Yes.
So do you think that Vladimir? Listen, I can't even.
Sorry. Wait.
CTV, man.
No. Wait. Stop.
Being diplomatic.
Do you listen?
There's multiple people with like really high gains on their mics. So when CTV and quintuple like talk at the same time, it's like getting shot in the side of the head with a shotgun. So I just
I would argue. I'll try talking a little distance from. I would argue he has more to gain going through the process of a war to get what he wants than having to come sit at the table with an American president. You have a president right now that calls him a war criminal. How are you supposed to open up diplomatic formal line of communication with him?
No, we're voting to kick. Vote to kick. Who you want to kick?
War to get what he wants. If he goes through a war to pursue it, he gets more than he does if we have a diplomatic conversation with him at the table.
Vote for who you want to kick out.
Trump, who's good at negotiating because he understands these things that you guys don't.
Before somebody responds, the vote to kick has already started. Kevin Logan. Good luck, Kevin.
Vote to kick. Vote to kick.
It's okay, Kevin. I understand you're British. That comes with problems.
Or he actually thinks that the time change already happened.
Yeah,
that's all.
It's vote to kick.
I just want to say,
Kamala wouldn't sit with Joe Rogan. You think she's going to sit with Vladimir Putin?
Kevin?
She literally already has, but okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to hear Kevin. I can't hear Kevin.
Sorry. Hello, can you?
Wait, has Kamala Harris?
No, I can literally hear you. It's just everybody's talking over you. Guys, Kevin hasn't been able to say anything, and he might get kicked this round. So let's give him a little bit of charity here.
The Trump people and their reaction there to Trump's love of dictators perfectly sums up what my thesis is that Joe Biden was absolutely right to call them garbage because it's fucking true. It's just a correct fact. Donald Trump has cozied up to dictators around the world. Name me a democratic leader he likes and got on with, and name me a dictator he didn't warm up to. The man is an authoritarian who wants to be an authoritarian, and if you support that shit, you're fucking garbage.
Hake is garbage. Look at him.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Why do you like authoritarianism, though? Because we're for small government, and then you have one authoritarian that's like loud about it. Like,
you know what the difference is?
You should be
between,
against
like,
that, CTV.
Every other authoritarian and someone that becomes the president of the United States is that someone that becomes the president of the United States has a fucking constitution and an entire body of legislatures that limit the power of the fucking president.
So when they expanded the presidential powers under Donald Trump's Supreme, when they expanded, I have the Constitution right here.
Dylan decides to
So.
Dylan, you interrupt?
So
I will continue until Dylan fucking quiets all you motherfuckers down.
Okay.
You hear me? Don't even fucking start. I'll finish my fucking point.
What's your
if
point?
you think that these fucking dictators are going to slow down for 1 fucking second and that the person that gets elected to the presidency of the United States has the same power as them, you're a fucking moron. And deserve nothing but a fucking cup.
So the claim,
put on your fucking knees before free fucking men.
So the claim is obviously that he's trying to gain that power, and the Supreme Court, his installed right-wing Supreme Court, has tried to grant him that power, giving him.
What is this rhetoric?
What do you mean installed? He literally did install these right-wing.
Every other president has ever followed to appoint a Supreme Court nominee. They had to go through the Senate and go through the confirmation process.
They didn't though.
People who don't know what the process is.
They didn't.
No,
they did the same thing.
Let's have.
I know, but okay.
He was too
busy.
Let's
throw it back to Jake to respond because that was a direct response to Jake.
Congress, so Congress was able to block it, and Trump had Congress, and they didn't block it. That's how it works. Congress can block it.
Right, so that's a right-wing installation. Wouldn't you agree?
Blocked Merrick Garland.
Wait, that was it was wait, guys,
literally
quiet down for a second. Quiet down. Wait, I'm gonna start muting.
What is the point?
Okay, that's the first mute of the day. Jake, quick response, and we're gonna go to Kevin. Then we're gonna wrap up this round because we're starting the vote.
Well, if you don't think he wants autocratic power, then I don't understand why all the goals of, like, Project 2025, for instance, or the Supreme Court that he installed, keep trying to give him more and more power and centralizing it in the executive office, which seems like big government to me, buddy, and I would support any candidate who wanted to reduce those powers. Joe Biden did. He just got rid of some of the powers that he was given when he got into office. And I don't even agree with the fucking guy a lot. He's a flaming liberal. Like, they have problems. But he did a good thing there. That was ethical.
And I mean, I don't understand how you guys are so cucked. You guys are so cucked by the Trump thing, and when he loses, what you're gonna have to get new personalities. And what are you even gonna do, man? Listen, look at your bedroom in your mom's house. What's gonna happen? She's gonna make you get something new. You can try this. You got 4 years to get on the bandwagon, baby.
Jake, if you can your mom, I'm gonna make her squirt all over my sheets. You hear me?
Okay, that's okay. Now that we're away from the bed squirting, Kevin, I'm gonna throw it over to you to wrap us up for the round. Okay.
Yeah, Trump absolutely wants to be a dictator. He literally said he wants to be a dictator from day one, and he argued in court.
Can't take a joke.
The president of the United States should be above the law. That the law should not apply to him.
Yeah.
That is the action.
Do you realize
I'm
how
of the
goofy
opinion-
you look when you say he said he wants to be a dictator on day one when it was literally
The president should be our servant.
He knew people like you would parrot it as a joke. Like
The president
also, why is it
should
that
be
I
our
only
public
ever
servant.
hear about Project 2025 from you guys? I've been streaming pro-Trump politics
Because they
on
want to
YouTube
not
for
talk about it,
2025
dummy.
because we don't give a
Are you
fuck.
serious?
Quiet down.
You need to
Quiet
relax.
down. Quiet down. It's over. The round's over.
You need
Your
to
punches
relax.
are having no impact. Your punches are
Yeah.
over. Your punches. Stop. The punches have no impact. The bell has
Impotent.
rung. If you punch after the bell, you actually get point deductions. Okay. We had somebody voted off, and Kevin, I'm very sorry. But it seems that your poor timing did not
Punctuality.
go well with the audience at home. Danabo has told me to say sorry on his behalf. I wish we could have you, but you know, it is what it is. The Rumble is a brutal arena.
Fair. That's fair. My punctuality was not acceptable. I shall commit seppuku when we get off stream.
Understandable. Please do write a letter of deep guilt before you slice the sword. I respect.
Hey, Kevin,
your
it was
decision.
nice seeing you again. From
Don't do
CTV.
it, man.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah, much love, man. Peace out.
Okay. Bye, Kevin. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
Okay, another one bites the dust, and look at the ones we still have so far. Did we think that these would be the ones that make it this far? We still have many more to bring on.
I should already be gone. I should already be gone.
Okay, quick, before we continue, let me just go around. Non-fun, how do you feel making it this far?
Pretty good. I've had fun.
Awesome. Dope. Okay, let's continue because we only have so much time. I just want to check with Non-fun because he's a recruitment hire.
I like non-fun. We can make you a leftist.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay, who wants to bring it back? Where were we before we got derailed? I have some points here. We could start on one of the
Project 2025 real quick.
Project 2025 is not anything that
Oh,
Trump
I
is
forgot.
endorsing, so it would be
Oh
a
my God, I'm very
derail,
sorry.
and there's no point to
Okay,
bring it
wait,
back.
so do you guys disagree with Project 2025 though?
Stop. Wait,
We've
guys.
never read it. We
Guys,
don't give a fuck about it. We have
guys,
Agenda
stop.
40.
Stop. I'm muting everybody.
He's
Wait,
so
stop,
mad,
stop,
little
stop,
boy.
stop. Wait, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. I'm very
putting it on
sorry.
Twitch. Let's be real.
Wait,
All right.
guys, come on. Don't make me have to kick you when you haven't even been voted out. Okay. Non-fun. I'm very sorry. Danabo just informed me that it was a 2-round kicker, and you were the second lowest.
What the fuck?
So that means you're also getting voted out of the room. I feel like I just mocked you. It's like, hey man, did you think you're gonna get this far? Joking. Out of the ring. Man, I appreciate you coming up, and maybe I wanted to sneak you through. I was trying to smuggle you through. But Danabo's yelling at me in DMs, and so I'm very sorry, man.
Rigged.
Hey, Non-Fun, nice to meet you. And maybe we
Non-fun,
can
you want to
set
shout
up
yourself out again? I'll give you an extra chance because you're coming up. Okay, shout yourself out.
Yeah, non-fun on YouTube, NONFON, non-fun420 on Twitch, trying to reach 1,000 subs on YouTube. That'd be very helpful. Please debate me on terror sometimes, or any of the conservatives here. Anyway, goodbye.
Go sub him.
So was
Go
that a
sub
yeah?
him.
Was that a yeah? Was that a yeah? Non-fun? Was that a yeah?
Great.
What?
To Trump
Oh, I don't know,
2024.
Yeah.
Start
That we were going to debate. Have a conversation. You want to do that? Yeah.
He
Okay,
wants to
fine.
debate you. Oh, and there he goes.
Yeah, debate him,
Welcome,
bro.
welcome Stardust and welcome Crenshaw. Welcome you both in here. I don't know if you guys have been watching. I hope you're excited for an energetic night because it has already been very energetic. It's been a brutal night. Cam Higby's been kicked out. We have Kevin Logan get kicked out. We had all these people get kicked out, and now we have 2 new people in the arena. So, do we want to start back off where we were, or I think I'm gonna throw.
Let's go.
I want to throw it. I don't know if you guys have been watching. Have either of you guys been watching up to this point?
I have been watching a little bit.
Oh,
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
I got
Are
a little
either
bit
of these
technical
people
difficulty. Yeah, I've
lefties?
been watching them.
Wow. I got something for Crenshaw.
Wait, you know what? I have some predetermined. Since we got 2 new guests, this is a good point to go through the list of questions. I know Danabo put some questions in the chat that we could go through. Let me start with the first one. What personal or political principles make Trump or Harris the best steward of American democracy? There's one of the pre-selected questions that I could throw to the crowd. Crenshaw or Stardust, since you're the new ones, do you guys want to pick it up?
Yeah, I'll pick something up. I'll say, one good thing about Kamala Harris is that she's not a fucking pervert. Okay, that's a good one.
Unlike Biden.
I'm sorry.
He's not running,
I'm sorry. Wait. But
Not
Biden
running
in
for
comparison to
president.
Trump, you want to
I
go
told
there?
you.
Unlike Biden,
27
who's a
women.
literal fucking everyday
27
handyman,
women.
but
27
We
women have
literally already
come
told you.
forward
Biden's not
about
running.
sexual
God.
towards Donald Trump. Where there's smoke, there's some fire, guys. I'm sorry to say it. Biden, you can do whatever you want, okay? But Kamala Harris is on the ticket, and at least she's not a fucking pervert, all right?
Well, what about democracy?
Wait, hold on.
Give me a second. Yeah, the question was about democracy. I think Stardust wanted to just call Trump a pervert, but fair enough, I guess. But Crenshaw, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah,
I mean, like Donald Trump is the only president that we know of who's completely, engaged in dereliction of duty when his supporters broke into the Capitol. This is an individual who said he would be dictator on day one. This is an individual who refuses to ever take an L in life, despite the fact that he's a billionaire, has got multiple baby mamas, is living that lifestyle. He can't take one possible fucking L, go back to the drawing board, ask what went wrong. No, instead, I'm going to shove my dick in every American's mouth and undo democracy. And then when everyone says, yo, you're a threat to democracy, and something happens, now all of a sudden, oh my God, your language is causing people to come after me. Nobody told you to steal an election, but now we're all being held nationally hostage by an entire movement of lunatics.
Hang on.
Also,
So Donald Trump is the only
on the
candidate
pervert
that
front-
actually was elected
pervert
by his
front-
party in the primaries. You guys had to
That's
pretend
true.
that your
That's
incumbent
true.
was staying in,
hold
and then
on, hold on.
pretended it was.
Are you just mad that you got duped, bro?
Wait, guys. Wait, guys. Stop.
You guys don't
It has to be
understand.
one at a time. Thank you. It was a response to
Your candidate was chosen for you by mega donors, and then you're confused why people actually are enthusiastic on this side.
Do you deny that people voted for Biden and Harris, right?
I sure
And by
did.
the way,
No,
you can
yes, I
pretend
do.
like-
I do.
you can-
I
you
do.
can
Wait,
pretend-
come on, stop, guys. Please.
You can pretend.
Wait. Let him finish. We gotta let him. You're the only one who's been muting today, Pentuple. You're the only one who's been muting. I got Crenshaw. Let's let Crenshaw finish, and then you can respond to it. Come on, it's just you gotta let people finish sentences so we don't hear anything. Pentuple, you're not listening to me. You're still talking. You're still talking. Crenshaw.
I mean, we can pretend that people didn't want Kamala Harris, but unlike, the Trump MAGA wing, which is all a cult of cum guzzlers, on the left, we can sit there and say we don't like Joe Biden. We literally sat there and shouted him out of the presidential nomination. Joe Biden is a veteran of 50 years.
Let him finish.
Biden is an OG. Joe Biden is one of the biggest G's in the game. We told him to get his ass out. We brought Kamala in. And nobody complained but MAGA. Isn't it weird how MAGA went from F Joe Biden to loving Joe Biden?
Now you can respond, Pentuple. Yes, you can respond now.
You asked me if
Wait, CTV, just wait a little bit. Let
Pentuple
Pentuple talk.
ballot in the primaries, and what I'm going to tell you is no. And the reason is because Joe Biden, after this primary election in 2024, still would have been entitled to choose a different running mate if he wanted to. That was a legal option of his. Kamala Harris was not on the ballot. He was not locked into keeping this vice presidential candidate. What they did, and Joe Biden didn't wake up one day and they're like, oh, what happened? Well, this is out of nowhere. They knew he was like this through the primary process. They knew that if he stepped down before, Kamala Harris would never survive. Yeah. This administration in the White House schemed their way into keeping the general election nomination without their candidate. It's the biggest scam in Democratic history. The idea that they could even possibly.
Do you know what I think it was?
My G.
Do you know what I think it was? Slick as fuck.
My G. It sounds to me.
Wait,
like
1 second. Let the interaction finish.
It sounds to me like you're upset that y'all got politically outplayed. You thought you were going to win when somebody took shots at It didn't go that way.
With a mega donor chosen candidate.
Now y'all are complaining. Now y'all are complaining because the Democrats made a slick little move that worked. Nobody complained about it, but the people who were saying F Joe Biden.
What are we talking about? What is this conversation about?
How about just
democracy? And you're like, oh, they pulled one faster on democracy. No big deal. They're just better at it.
By the way, I think it's really fun.
Just
Crenshaw. Look, I've been waiting for a minute, bro. You need to slow down. Just for a minute, because I need to speak on behalf of my LGBTQIA plus supporters. You hear me? As soon as you're no, listen to me. I said my supporters, right?
CTV, I'm very happy to have you come out of the closet, man. Welcome to the community.
look, my supporters, right now, look, we ain't talking about my dick and where it's been because it's been a lot of places. We ain't getting into that. Now, that said, you want to call all Trump supporters cum guzzlers,
Yes.
right?
Trump
And I got
yeah. Huge cucks for Trump. Huge cucks.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. You said that. You said all
You guys
Trump
literally have
supporters
posters
are
of them on the wall like little
cum
boy
guzzlers,
bands.
right?
It's
and
fucking
look,
freak shit.
Candidate.
It's
look,
weird.
I'm
Candidate.
The way y'all
Okay, one at a time. 1 second. It's getting a little hectic. Getting a little hectic.
Oh my God.
Getting a little hectic. One at a time, please. Let's see TTV finish, and then we'll move around. I see Aircraft is raising his hand. Other people want to talk. Hake has been very
Look,
quiet
my
as usual.
LGBTQAI
Just
plus
surfing the
supporters want you to fucking know that if anybody's cum guzzling, it's definitely on the left side,
Base?
not the right side. Okay? So
Okay.
that's where we're at. And I just want you to fucking know. Don't be speaking
Is that
out of turn
what you
again.
had to say? You just wanted to clarify whether y'all guzzle cum or not? Is that it?
Yeah.
Was that all you had to do?
Yeah.
You derailed the whole conversation. to
CTV
clarify
would like to
whether or
put
not
it-
y'all ride truck.
Just so everyone knows,
That's
everyone's clear.
That's all he wanted to say.
CTV.
Bro,
That-
we
that's
can
all I
see
needed to
y'all-
say.
Pro
we can
cum
see y'all
guzzling.
doing
That's all I
tricks.
needed to
We
say.
can see y'all doing tricks on it,
can
bro.
move it.
Y'all are so
Look,
bro,
look,
even Nick
look
Fuentes had to quit on Trump.
Look,
Nick Fuentes
again,
himself quit
Yeah.
on Trump.
Shut-
Y'all still
listen,
riding
You
it.
want to know?
How-
You want to know why?
Again, if anybody's turning tricks, they're on the left. Okay? Trick turning is on the left. not
Sex
the
work is
right.
work.
We need to make sure we understand.
Joe Biden gave
Jesus.
50 years to the United States of America and got booted by his own party. Donald Trump broke his oath to the Constitution, and y'all are still gripping on it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
clear
The same
difference
Joe
here.
Huge
Biden was
cucks.
plagiarizing
Okay.
speeches.
We're derailing a little bit. It's getting a little hectic. Look, guys, it's getting a little hectic. Getting a little wait, guys.
I could drink
We gotta go to the
cum
list.
by the
I got a few people who have been
gallon
waiting,
load and never get
and I want to make
pregnant.
sure we get to them. We're gonna start with Aircraft Sparky, and then we have Stardust, Jake, and Hake who have been waiting. I'm probably gonna do Hake next, just because he doesn't talk often.
Look. First of all, I just got to come out and say,
You too? That's two of them tonight. coming
no,
out.
Rashad, dude, you should be endorsing Trump because Trump evidently is the most gangster and black.
Oh
of
my
all
God, you're
presidential
racist.
candidates in
That's
history.
fucking weird to
He
say.
has
That's
multiple-
weird. That's
he has
fucking weird to
multiple
say.
baby mamas,
Jesus
and,
fucking Christ.
he's accused of
Wow.
dereliction of duty, because people say that, some people are kind of lazy, which I think is fucking stupid.
Oh
But,
my fucking
hey,
God, bro.
and look, when it comes to people
Look at this
who wanna
motherfucker down
talk
here
about,
smiling.
Baby, no.
I think
Pimp
it's-
loves the
oh,
racism. He's
oh,
fucking about
listen,
it, dude.
Listen, Elsa and Ronald McDonald's STD, just shut the fuck up.
What?
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, y'all
Moving
got a
on.
half black woman who went to college, did everything right, and y'all got mad and called her Cambodian and all kind of other shit.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, I called her.
I don't know.
I called her Kamala.
I don't know if it's
I don't really care, bro.
Trump. I don't know if
I
it's
don't
fair
really
if you sit there
care.
and call
Wait,
Trump.
Are we getting rid of two righties this round?
CTV, let him go back and forth.
Hold on. Conservatives
Oh,
are crying
Jesus.
about how black people were acting right for like 15 years. You spent 8 years of the Trump era. You spent 8 years of the Trump era talking about how blacks need to get it together. You finally get a black woman. You finally get a black. You finally get a black woman. You finally get a black.
So
woman
who's she
that's
fucking
saying
now to
what
get
you're
into that
talking about.
spot?
And now you're talking about how Donald Trump's really black.
She was
Look,
right.
you know what? You know what's crazy is you got a black man who wasn't gangbanging, wasn't a criminal. Y'all went crazy.
You're
You get a
right.
black
He
woman
was
who's on the top. You got a
Good
black
work.
woman. You
Let
got a
him
black
finish his
woman.
point. Wait, come on. I'm trying to listen to his point. I can't hear anything because CTV's talking about the mayor. You can
You got
finish
a black
Crenshaw, then we're
woman
gonna
who's
go
on top
around.
of her game. You got a black woman who's on top of her game. Y'all losing your
top of
mind
her
even
game,
more.
she was
Now
handed a
I'm- now
nomination.
I'm-
You never
now
had to-
I'm
this
hearing-
confuses you.
now
You never
I'm-
had to do
now
this for
I'm
her.
being told.
What are you
Hold
talking about?
on. Now I'm being told Donald Trump is a part of the black delegation because he's got multiple baby mamas, a warrant for his arrest in Iran, multiple felonies, and people shooting at him. I'm just saying we got two black folk who don't got none of that
Gangsta.
going on, and
Dude,
y'all
that's
never
fucking
like them.
Yup.
And then y'all get a white man. Y'all get a white man.
Let him finish. I can't hear it. I can't hear it. CTV, please. I can't hear him.
Now you get a white man who's damn near a blood or a crip, and now all of a sudden y'all want to say he's a part of the black delegation. I don't think that's fair. I think y'all should be open and welcoming to Kamala and Barack. They were everything y'all asked for. Y'all are still
Fuck Barack Obama.
Hey, there's
You guys are just racist.
Okay, wait. I know there's other people that want to respond to that, but
Just say it.
Hake is the next one on the list, and he's been very quiet and polite, so I got to throw it over to Hake Report if you want to respond to that or something else.
Yeah,
He is very
a few
polite.
points. A few quick points. Trump is not a pervert. and not anymore anyway. He's a
Not
solid
anymore.
guy, and all those women are classless and unforgiving. I don't
He's
care about what
reformed.
they're
He
talking
changed his
about.
life, right?
So
Yeah, he's
it's
beautiful,
pretty weird to be
classy,
so
and
forgiving to sexual assault when it's your guy.
Wait, hold
I don't
on,
even
bro.
believe
It's
in that
kind of weird how
phony
y'all are
crap.
such
You don't
devout
believe in
Christians,
sexual
yet y'all
assault?
don't-
27 women.
Next point.
You don't
Next
believe-
It
point.
was a phase.
Okay.
He didn't try to
It was just
steal
a
an election.
phase.
He tried to correct the situation.
Right, by
the
telling Mike
subversion
Pence
was
to
what
use his
happened.
ceremonial
Well, let's
position
let's
as
let him
vice
finish.
president.
Let's let him finish.
The
You gotta.
subversion was what
If you don't let him
happened.
put up the Jenga tower, if you try to knock it down, it's kind of not as effective. Hey, finish.
They changed
Yeah.
all kinds of. They
That's
did all
all.
kinds of things. They schemed against him on
kinds
every
of
level that they could for the election, and it's Crenshaw. Come on, don't be simping for Kamala. It looks ridiculous. You know she's like
Bruh.
barely black, and on top of it,
Dude,
she's not
you're
even
fucking
a classy
racist.
woman. She's not a
It's
classy
so
woman
weird.
at all.
Why do you show your
She's
ass
not
every time you
black.
fucking open your mouth? We see your ass. Why the fuck are you like this?
It's not that hard.
You-
It's barely black.
You struggle to be normal.
Wait,
You
okay,
struggle.
Wait,
She's a ridiculous
wait.
she's a
Let's get a
loser woman.
clarification. I'm sorry. I'm definitely curious.
Maybe
Hey,
you
how
should
do
stay
you?
quiet.
Wait, no. This is a clarifying question. Okay, and I know I'm not supposed to intervene, but I think it's better for the dialogue if we like approach this civilly. Hey, how do you calculate the blackness of presidential nominees?
By looking at her, take a look at her. She doesn't even look black. And then take a look at how she was raised. She was raised with the Indian mother, I would do believe. And so then
what?
she's like this.
So Barack is a
woman,
white man.
And then,
So
and
Barack
then
is
she
a white
suddenly
man.
turns straight when she's around
Black
the.
fathers are absent. That's what he's saying. Okay.
So I don't
Go ahead.
understand.
You know
So what
what?
makes Trump
They
black
only
then?
divorce.
Right?
They divorce.
So what makes
I
Trump
need
black?
you-
This is one of the. This is one of
I
the big
need you
problems.
to-
Wait, let's
Come on,
hey,
we're
hey,
gonna talk
wait,
about-
wait, let
point
Hank
is-
finish his point, and then
Crenshaw.
I'll throw it over to somebody else who wants to respond to it.
The deeper
Hey.
point is she's an obviously phony woman, and she's a woman. So
Oh.
you're pretending like she's going to be a good president. A woman doesn't belong.
So I think sexism
okay,
lives in
so-
insecurity. Hake, what do you think about that?
I just feel like it's not. This is like the problem with the topic we're talking about, democracy.
what I
Like
fucking
you
thought.
guys like alienate minorities, women, aliens,
let's kill
ants,
him.
dogs,
Let's kill
pets,
this guy.
everything.
Let's beat him to
Then you
death with
elections,
hammers.
and then you threaten the entire country with total anarchy. I don't understand why you
I
lost.
would rather
Well,
vote
thank you for your
in-
question. Thank you for your
Donald
concern.
Trump
I will happily alienate aliens.
Donald Trump
Black
has
Lives
made
Matter
enemies out
and
of
Antifa
Swifties.
insurrections around
Donald
the
Trump
country. You
has made
pretend
enemies
like
out
you
of
care about the
Swifties.
country.
Insurrections.
Donald Trump has
Like you
made
care about
enemies
the
out of
country.
Two
almost
people, you're
every-
both talking over each other. You're both talking over each
Trump has
other.
made
All right.
enemies out of almost every pop culture group in America. His entire movement alienated Puerto Rico a few days ago. This man has alienated almost every non-white male group, and yet when he loses this
That's not even
election,
true.
we're gonna have the entire nation. Yes, it is. We're gonna have the entire nation
it's
threatened with
not,
total
asshole.
anarchy. Oh yes, we are. We're gonna have the entire
you're
nation
not.
threatened with anarchy.
No,
with
you're
Trump
not.
supporters. How could he have possibly lost? Oh my God! How could this happen? Every
The
time.
good ones
Every
love him.
Every time.
The good ones love him.
The ones love him.
I think
Wait. There's a few things.
Let's
Wait, there
be
was a
real,
few
man.
things said, and we only have a few women on the. I want Hake quick 15-second response if you can, because there's a few people waiting. Stardust, Jake has been waiting, and Penn just raised his hand. So I want to go around.
As far as the so-called minorities, real recognizes real. So the real women, the real blacks, the real Puerto Ricans, the real all those people,
Fucking
they can
real
see that
ones.
Trump is a real guy. They can see that
Trump isn't a real guy. He's a
Kamala-
billionaire.
Tackling Kamala is phony and ridiculous.
Dude, it's just crazy.
Okay, Stardust.
Like,
I wanna-
like
On
Okay,
that.
okay,
Oh, Stardust.
wait,
I'm sorry, Stardust has been waiting. I'm very sorry, Penn. You're on the list.
My turn. Okay. So first off, I want to know, Hake, is Kamala not black enough for you because she has an Indian mother? Is that the issue? What's wrong with her having an Indian mother? What's wrong with that? She's high achieving. Like, if
Can
you're
I
gonna
tuck
have
in?
somebody who's high achieving, there's nobody who's gonna drill into you and make you a high achieving person like an Indian mother will. Okay,
yeah,
she's
feed
gonna
into
have
the stereotypes.
Like,
I
she
love
has
those.
high standards. Okay. Secondly, Obama was actually a family man. Kamala seems to actually be a family woman. Okay, Trump is not that. Trump has stepped out
Yes, he is.
multiple times on his family.
doesn't
Stepped
have
out
children.
multiple times
divorces.
amongst his three
Trump wants to fuck
marriages.
his
Over
daughter.
three marriages,
All
he
right.
has stepped out. Okay, and you say Kamala was riding dick when this dude has 27.
I don't say that.
27.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, that was me
misconduct
talking about her riding dick.
allegations towards him. You know what?
Just to be clear.
Okay, it was CTV,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Who's to say
I
that
don't care about that
Well,
stuff.
let's let her finish. Wait, I can't. She was
Who's-
about to wrap up. It feels like wrap up.
Okay, my bad.
Who's to say that Donald Trump didn't sleep his way to the fucking top? And finally, I will say, who was
Yes!
both Diddy
Fucking
and
yes!
Hippy?
I want you to start us!
No, you. Who is
Okay, CGV, calm down. Let's let her finish quickly so we can move on.
Before we totally move on. Nobody cares about this shit.
Wait, let her finish. Let her finish. Okay, she come in. It's a pen.
People I elect, okay? And if you guys want somebody who is actually family-centered and family values, that's not Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
That was directed towards Hake, by the way. So Hake, quick response before we go back to the list.
Okay, quick
Directed
response.
towards all of them because I hate all of them. So.
No, but let me respond to the high achieving Indian woman. I love that. I don't care. The point is, she plays black. She plays up her blackness. She's phony.
She's phony. I mean,
phony.
the conversation. Crenshaw, I want to ask you. This is the big thing that I think people are taking up. Nobody really cares about what Kamala's national heritage is. The point is that when she ran from California,
you clearly do.
Fucking whatever. Shut the fuck up. When she ran,
so emotional.
Nobody gives a fuck. Let me make a point.
See?
Okay, when she ran in California. When she ran in California, she ran on First Indian this. First Indian that. That was a big part of her campaigning. When she's running for president, where's the absence of that? Now she's doing all this first black stuff.
I think Kamala
Harris Who cares?
That's the question.
Who gives a
That was
shit?
towards Crenshaw. Wait, guys. Stop. That was directed towards Crenshaw, so I want to give Crenshaw the space to respond.
That's
Kamala
right.
Harris has never denied. Kamala Harris has never denied being half black. If you look up a Google picture, her father's black. She's never ever hid
advertising pro-black woman than pro-Indian woman.
It doesn't
Why is that?
At the end,
Why was she running on that Italian? Now she's running on black.
Shit is cringe.
It really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the only people.
Calm down, child.
Hey,
let's hear him respond. Let's let him respond.
The only people who have turned her race into a political weapon, who have caused division off of this woman's mixed race heritage, is y'all. The only people who have sought to
vote Pentuple out in CTV, in my opinion.
Invalidating this woman's identity is y'all. And then when you cross yourself in the election,
let him finish,
CTV and
you can
Pentuple.
respond.
This guy Trump literally got up
vote.
says that you're running for president, you say she became a black person, and then y'all want to sit there when you I
mean, that's what she's been doing.
Yeah,
That's
vote for
what she's
CTV
been
and
doing.
Pentuple.
Okay, wait. Okay, everybody pause for a moment. Everybody has to pause. Everybody has to pause because the kick has already started. And if you don't tell your audiences to go there and, vote strategically for who to kick, you can do that, by the way. You can mute and say, kick this person, I hate him, kick him. You can do that. This is a rumble, okay? There's no rules here. You can shank your opponents. This is crazy stuff, okay? It's crazy stuff going on here. So the kick has already started. I want to make sure, Crenshaw, you get another 15 seconds to finish your point before we throw it back around the room. You're going back and forth with Penn if you're going back with him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is that it really doesn't matter which part of our identity she highlighted in the past. At the end of the day, Kamala Harris does not spew divisive, insane rhetoric based around race. Only one candidate in his team that literally the vice president candidate, JD Vance. Unfortunately,
that's not race.
You guys earned. You literally earned it. By the way, JD Vance got on TV.
Yes, definitely.
You literally got on TV. JD Vance got on TV.
Better with blacks than any other Republican ever.
JD Vance
gaining over the last 8 years. Why is he doing better this time than he did last time?
Because you're cucks. You're cucks.
Nobody knows less.
You think it's racist
exactly.
about someone's race when they're running for office using polling-driven decision making?
No one knows less about Trump than his own supporters.
$1,000,000%.
Facts.
Yeah.
JD Vance got on TV. JD Vance got on TV and said, whether you're buying fried chicken or curry, what's the gremlin's name that was on Twitter talking about
that shit is racist.
When Laura Loomer was on Twitter violating and disrespecting the Indian community, talking about how the White House is gonna smell like curry, what did JD Vance do with an Indian wife and Indian kids? We don't really know who that is, and
dude,
we're not really.
JD Vance, such a fucking worm. Can you imagine doing that to your wife? Him and fucking Ted Cruz. Holy fucking shit. Cucks.
Kamala divided the race in like
Okay, so wait, guys, Jake was next on the list he raised his hand a while ago, and we didn't get him actually technically. So I want to make sure we can throw it over to Jake. And the kick's about to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
Get your votes in because it's about to end it in the last minute.
If you're a Trump supporter, it's because you haven't been using your critical thinking. It's because you've been using your emotions, and it's obvious because you keep freaking out, little guy. Like you keep fucking losing your mind every time people disagree with you.
I'm laughing at you guys because you guys
You're not
believe
laughing. You're like freaking
online.
out. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, he can't even handle it.
On day one, who said so?
I mean, when Kamala wins next week, when Kamala wins next week, when Kamala wins next week, you will be forced to get a new personality because this guy's not going to run again. So you're going to need to confront reality. You guys, except for CTV and Hake, Eric Aspark, also kind of a dumb guy, but he's at least quiet and not a freak. Like, you're the type of guy that comes to me 5 years later and is like, dude, you were right, man. You were right. You know, I just didn't see. I just didn't really understand. Yes. And this happens all the time.
There is never a situation, Jake, where I'm going to ever come to you 5 years.
No, because you're too old and lost in the moonshine. These young fucking Trump guys, absolutely. Like, you don't have to.
Guys, the votes are in.
Before you leave, Pentuple.
The votes are in.
Before you leave,
you're all not paying attention. Aren't you curious who got kicked? Aren't you curious who just got thrown over the top rope?
That's my guess. Fuck yeah.
Who got kicked, Danabo? Tell me who it is. CTV and Pentuple are thrown over the top rope. I'm very sorry to both of you.
Yeah.
My main advice to Pentuple would be figure out the gain issue. Okay,
yeah,
but
sorry about that, everyone.
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you both doing here and being on the other side and throwing in an audience that's largely liberal. So I appreciate it from both of you. And CTV, retired Hippy Dippy champion. I always appreciate it.
No, so we're not Hippy Dippy champion in waiting. That's good to know. So you can correct your language moving forward.
They send him a
And
sign.
with that being said, CTV's out.
And there he goes. Anything left to say, Penn, before you're out?
Make America great again. Go vote.
Cool.
Love you guys. Peace.
And there he goes.
Nice.
Two more out over the rope. And look at the people who survived. Hake, you've made it this far. What do you think about that? Can you believe it?
Who would have known?
Gibby's here.
I think it's because I'm sensible and polite.
I think it's because you're quiet.
I think it's because you're a nice guy also.
I think you've shut
You're a
the
nice
fuck
guy.
up.
Very nice guy. He's a very nice guy.
How many
He's an
guests do we
I
have
don't
on right
think
now?
Hake
1,
is a
2,
nice
3,
guy.
4, 5, 6, 7.
I disagree.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
I
I
think
think
we
Hake
gotta-
is scumbag.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
So now we have. I think we're holding off on Gibbs for a little bit. I think Gibbs is in here. We just had one extra. Sorry, there's like too many people. Welcome, both of you. Have you guys been listening to the conversation, Jeb or Gibbs?
Loosely, we were having a different conversation at the same time.
I just left another panel, so no.
Okay, then you guys are not going to be picking up the conversation. Do you guys just want to move on from discussing the race of the candidates and move on to another question?
Yes.
Real quick, I
I'd
would
love
like to
foreign
make one
policy if
point,
we
though.
could talk about
I would
that,
like to make one point
That
about
would
it.
be cool.
Okay, Hake, you can. But the people, you'll probably say stuff and we'll respond. But we have to.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say it fast. Kamala did divide the races. She was supporting bailing out Black Lives Matter Antifa
God.
people during that insurrection.
Oh, God.
And then she also called
Okay.
Jussie
Oh, my
Smollett's
God.
little lie. Jumping to conclusions. This is a lawyer, a top cop of California, calling it a public lynching or something like that. She's psycho.
Okay.
That's
you
it.
done?
Thank you.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No one gives a shit.
Wonderful.
Okay. No one wants to
I
respond.
know
to that?
nobody cares.
Literally, no one cares about that.
Lying, cackling Kamala. I don't mind that you guys don't care. You just
Why
don't
can't
like
Kamala
yourself.
laugh? Yeah, bro, y'all don't want laughter, abortion, like snacks.
Yeah.
at
Have a little
voting
fucking
hours.
whimsy in your life, you miserable fuck. Like, holy shit.
The question is how she's dividing the
I
races.
feel really
Just not for
good.
president.
I feel really good about our chances
Golly.
when the existence of a multiracial person breaks their brain.
Yeah,
I feel
it
really
fucks their brains,
I-
dude.
I-
They're like, which
I do have
one?
to say,
Both?
I mean, she's
I
also
make
caused
no
a massive
sense.
shift in Hispanic voters towards the Republicans, though. So if we're talking about shifts in races, that's a big
Yeah,
deal.
Yeah,
Right.
which
Like,
is why that Puerto Rico thing is really helpful.
Oh yeah, the Puerto Rico thing. Listen, first of all, Puerto Rico makes up a very
They
small
love that.
number of Hispanic.
do you think it
voters.
was racist?
Mexican Americans.
If they make key,
no,
they make
I
up
mean,
key voters in
You
certain
think it was
states, so
racist?
good.
Yeah, it's very not
They
key
make
voters.
up-
A very small
then-
portion of them.
Yeah.
If they, but when they call you garbage, did you get offended? Did you get offended when?
I'm not Puerto Rican, but I'll say
No,
that.
but did you get offended when you were in
Republicans
Puerto
moving towards Republicans
Just a
because
bunch of
wars like the border issue, the economy, the culture war, all these are pushing. And Kamala
What
exemplifies all of
culture
that.
war do
She's
you?
pushing-
What do you?
Bro,
What?
yeah,
All right, are you telling me there's not a culture war?
No,
against
no,
Christian
no.
Americans?
But what's
Hispanics
she
do that,
talk about?
Catholics.
What culture war
Culture
thing is she
war.
talking about?
I mean, well, how about when she said, "How dare you say Merry Christmas?" and then like 3 weeks later, it's like Merry Christmas.
Wait,
or
are you
whatever,
actually
like,
are you actually doing the fucking war on Christmas right now?
I'm just doing the war.
You
on
fucking
Christmas,
come in here and you're starting to talk about the
it's
war on
Hispanics.
fucking Christmas?
Hey, I'm
Please
just-
talk
I'm
about
just
something
telling you
real.
how it is.
Holy
Hold on, I'm
shit.
just telling you how- you're asking why people are
I'm an
shifting.
atheist. You can say Merry Christmas. No one gives
Are
a fuck.
Catholics generally, and they're all
Thank
switching
you.
over to.
I'm willing to bet
Trump
everyone's
cycle.
life in this room that no one's heard of Kamala Harris having beef with Christmas.
No one gives a fuck.
Literally,
Yeah.
no one.
well,
that-
Talk about something real, man. You're gonna be offended about that instead of racism. Why are you offended about the war on Christmas instead of the fucking Puerto Rico comments?
Because it's not. It's not.
You're such a cuck. You said you were Puerto Rican.
Okay. There's too many. Wait, no. There's too many people at the same time. There's too many people at the same time. I want to. Okay. Hake, I saw you were chiming in a second ago. Is the war on Christmas a issue that you think is significant when it comes to Harris? And we're gonna. I don't want to stay too long on the war on Christmas, but it is a month away, so you know.
I was just saying we say Merry Christmas. I don't care about what Kamala's stance specifically is. I'm sure that she falls in line just like she always does. She has no opinion of herself, of her own.
What?
Okay.
I think
everything you say is
the more,
Okay,
the more
so
poignant point.
We're probably gonna move on past war on Christmas, and we're gonna get to a
he's shifting the goalposts with the war on Christmas.
You said that.
No. I brought up the culture war.
And your first example was the war on Christmas. You fucking
example. I'm sorry that
Oh
you
my
can't get
God.
past and get to the rest of them.
400,000
It's
Puerto
not that
Ricans in
complicated.
Pennsylvania. 400,000 Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania, a shit ton of them in New York, and mad Puerto Ricans and Haitians who y'all just got done jumping last month or a month or two
What
ago.
percentage of the American population is Puerto Ricans and Haitians?
But listen to yourself.
Bro,
But listen to yourself. Why don't you care about them?
And George Lopez said Mexican steel at his rally.
Undecided voters of Haitian and Puerto Rican
That has
backgrounds.
nothing to do with whether the joke is racist or not.
Who cares?
You guys being the fucking fun. No, stop. You guys being the fucking fun police and crying on behalf of other minorities because you can't trust them to make a joke is not at all a win for the Democrat Party.
I know.
It is not a fucking racist.
Wait, 1 second. Crenshaw. Wait, guys. We'll pause for a second. Let's let Jeb finish his point, and then we'll let Crenshaw respond, and then we'll go to the other people. I think it's easier to hear it that way.
The failure of the fucking Democrat strategy there, and I know you guys aren't able to see any of the failures, is they had people sitting and watching that rally for the first thing they could cry about. You had people calling Kamala Harris the Antichrist 2 hours in, but you guys were too busy bitching about a Puerto Rico joke from a comedian because they're pussies. The fun fucking police is not a W for the Democrats. Donald Trump is having fun with it the next fucking day because crying about a joke is not going to win you an election. Puerto Ricans.
That's literally what the
funny.
Trump campaign is doing.
That's literally what we're fucking saying.
Joe Biden, after 4 years of being told "F you" by MAGA, went on TV and called y'all garbage one time. And after 4 years of y'all disrespecting the man, y'all over there putting on garbage bags, complaining,
Coping through it.
Let him finish. Wait, guys, come on. We let Jeb finish. Let Crenshaw finish.
Y'all were definitely offended by that statement. Y'all didn't like the fact that Joe Biden called y'all that, despite the fact that for the last 4 years y'all disrespected the man.
No, it's just pointing out the
Unbelievably
hypocrisy.
so.
is.
And furthermore, like, it's actually smart politics.
You don't just do offended and point out
It's
hypocrisy.
actually smart
Crenshaw.
politics because if we can highlight the fact that Puerto Rico, a place full of American citizens, was called garbage with plenty of Puerto Ricans in key states, we could actually drum up a few people to vote that might be undecided. That would be
They should have statehood, by the way.
Did you get mad when George Lopez said all
How
Mexicans
much more
steal?
powerful would it be if
Did you
you
get
put
mad
out
when
the
George Lopez
actual...
said all Mexicans
Wait. I'm sorry. There's too many people speaking. Wait, sorry. Wait, guys.
The reality is,
Guys, please. There's like 4 people talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Crenshaw just made his point. I didn't hear anything after that. So let's go back to Jeb because we're back and forth with Jeb. Maybe we'll touch back to Crenshaw. Then we'll go to the rest of the people because other people do want to talk. Jeb?
Yeah, no, so you guys lost fucking Jon Stewart. So this wasn't something that played as well universally as you guys think it did. There were genuinely insane fucking things said at that rally. I'm not a Trump supporter. There was shit to attack at that rally, but the Democrat fucking dumb fucks in their strategy department had people sitting and waiting for the first thing to run, and you guys bit on a comedian's set who said worse jokes in that rally Because you were too fucking antsy to jump on something than to wait for someone calling Kamala Harris the Antichrist.
Who gives a fuck?
It worked.
About the Antichrist?
It worked. Bad Bunny came out and literally endorsed.
It did work.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did.
Bad Bunny came out and
Bad
endorsed
Bunny
Kamala
wasn't
Harris.
endorsing Trump before.
What are you talking about? He didn't know that was another one. That was a different artist. Bad Bunny is the last one. You got.
He would not have endorsed Trump before. You didn't gain anybody from it. You just basically cried.
disagree, actually.
Do you
care.
realize, Jetan, you know that plenty of people are automatons who, when their favorite rapper or singer tells them to do something, they're gonna do it. The reality is, you have manifested the forces of Taylor Swift's fans, Beyonce's fans.
Oh no, Taylor Swift. We thought we were gonna have her. We thought we had her.
We knew we had Beyonce.
Wait, Jeb, who's we?
If you're Donald Trump, why would you come out and say?
I don't know that.
Are you a Republican?
I can't hear. Let Crenshaw finish his point. Let Crenshaw finish his point.
The reality is, it worked. Instead of sitting there getting mad about the other statements,
we don't
picked
know
the one that would offend the most amount of people, highlighted it, and it fucking worked. And now, after you guys pissed off the Haitians, well, not you because you're not a Trump supporter, but you get the point. After y'all piss off the Haitians, now y'all piss off the Puerto Ricans. You need them in Philly. You need them in Florida. Haitians and Puerto Ricans feeling some type of way. It's effective politics to highlight the biggest offensive act that pissed off the most amount of people. It worked. Bad Bunny took time out of his day to say something. It worked.
And that's only one of many, Thug. But you're pretending. Hold on. You're pretending that this.
The smallest group of
you are
the most casual thing, which is the comedian set.
You're pretending that this is the only thing that anyone is talking about, and it's not. It's just the thing that happened fucking yesterday or the day before, man. This is
the only thing normies are hearing right now.
Where's the outrage over George Lopez yelling that all Hispanics?
Why are you still on this?
There shouldn't be outrage.
There shouldn't be outrage over either. It's just the dishonest Dems sitting here picking one little thing and crying.
George Lopez doing entertainment for white guys is not interesting to me.
Hold on.
It's like Chris Rock doing that bit.
Crenshaw was sitting here going, "Oh my God, they were so offended over the garbage thing.
Are you
look
done?
how bad the Republicans are." And then they go, "Oh, it's not that we're mad. We think it's funny, and we're pointing out the hypocrisy." That's what Trump is doing. He's trolling. It's just like he did with the McDonald's thing. It was a troll. It's funny. They're clearly being dishonest and lying. Just like when she's doing
coping,
garbage truck. She's trolling. The only one coping here is you. And I wish I had something. Goddamn, it is good copium that you got.
I mean, it's not going to
Okay.
That's not going to go well.
Guys,
he's trolling.
I
mean, you just
Stardust. You've been waiting patiently.
Okay, so I think we can focus on way more than just the Puerto Rico comment, okay? We've got the Haitians eating cats and dogs. When J.D. Vance acknowledged it on TV that it wasn't true and said, well, even if it's not true, you know, the reason why I'm saying it is this. We can also talk about Laura Loomer saying that the White House is going to smell like curry if Kamala Harris gets elected, as if that's supposed to, I don't know what that was meant to be.
Curry smells delicious. I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know what's wrong with that. We can talk about how JD Vance was getting attacked for having a non-white wife, and his response was like, "Oh, well, you know, I know my wife isn't white, but I just love her. I love her so much. Like nothing else. You're gonna be that much of a fucking pussy? Really? I don't want a fucking pussy for a vice president. Are you serious?" Secondly,
wait, Tim Walz is like the biggest pussy of all vice presidents. He like lied about being in combat with a firearm.
Yeah, just down
and then when pressing tried to run a
wait. We'll throw it to somebody else, but let's start us finish.
Ted Cruz has been an absolute, but like every pussy I've seen has been on the Republican side every time somebody insults one of their wives. Okay, I do have to say, like, I just think it's mind blowing that you guys think that we've got this whole issue about her being biracial, right? And we've got all of these racial comments and comments about people eating cats and dogs, and that's not an issue to you guys. Like,
who said that's not an issue to us? Who said that's not an issue to us?
Well,
and it's not an issue to the rest of them.
Well, we know immigration is not an issue to you. Like, we know that.
Let's do a quick poll. This is easy then. Instead of raise your hand if you think the cats and dog comment is an issue.
Is an issue? What do you?
Yeah, it's like it was bad that they said it. Like it was an issue. Yes. It's a real issue. It's a real problem.
The song
but they're not actually eating cats and dogs.
Legitimate concern.
Okay, so it seems like most of the room thinks it's an issue. Wait. Let's do this like civilized people for a second. Let's do this like civilized people for a second. Most people in the room think it's an issue. 2 people don't. Let's talk to those 2 people who are the nails that are sticking out of the wood. Let's start with Hake. Why isn't it an issue?
because there may be truth to it. JD Vance, Stardust contradicted herself, saying that JD Vance admitted that it wasn't true, and then she said that he said even if it isn't true, indicating that he's not saying whether it is or isn't true. So the issue is that Haitians are transforming the communities against the people's will.
I'm sorry, you're a young Earth creationist. It's done for me.
That's
You know.
adorable.
Oh, let's wait. Let him put up the jank. Give him 10 more
They just
seconds.
want money. The phony city governments don't care about the people; they just want money, and so they're bringing in these people against the will.
Is money
the
bad?
wishes of the neighborhoods.
So you're saying that it's a conspiracy and they're bringing in people specifically to target pets and eat the pets, and that's how they're
here's
gonna
my
make all the
problem,
money?
because they're going to question whether
That's what you got from what I said, Maddie. Come on.
No, Hake, let me give you a reason why you should think it's a problem, even from the conservative side. Do you have a problem with Kamala Harris coming out and talking about Project 2025 and how Trump's going to ban IVF and he's going to ban abortion and he's going to ban all that? Do you have a problem with those mistruths that Kamala's spreading about Trump?
No, it's her job to lie. That's all the liberals do. I'm not.
Okay, so you admit the Haitian thing it was probably a lie then?
No, I don't admit that it's a lie or not. I don't know whether it's true or not.
But here's the issue: is if you're giving license, you're giving license to Kamala's campaign to lie more easily.
I would like to ask Jeb a question
by pointing at JD Vance and his own admission that it's okay to lie. It's not okay to lie.
I don't even know
we shouldn't
what
like
JD
it from
Vance
their
said.
side. We shouldn't like it from our side.
I don't know.
JD Vance said it's okay to spread possibly untrue stories in order to send a political message that matters to the people, and that is not acceptable.
That's what Black Lives Matter says. That's what everybody
said.
said.
But we didn't agree with it then, and we shouldn't agree with it now.
Listen to the way that these people suck Trump cock without any critical thinking, Jeb. You're doing the same thing. You don't have to be like this. You're breaking down the first fucking domino. It's just hold on, listen. Hold on,
I didn't do that at all.
1 second.
I'm literally sitting here doing the opposite of that.
I know. Listen. I know. Listen. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying you're a Republican.
Who just said I do that?
No. Listen. You're a Republican,
but he's not
right?
a Trump guy.
You're right wing.
Wrong.
You're not a Trump guy, but you're right wing, right? Listen to how
I'm
they
conservative. Yeah.
Listen to how they suck dick, fucking uncritically on this
making any
right
sense,
wing
buddy.
subject, okay? And then
You're not even saying
reconsider how the rest of us came to our conclusions, and that was critical thinking. You're on the right track, buddy. By being hold on, listen, one more thing, and I'll shut up. One more thing, I'll shut up. By being critical of Trump, you're doing the first fucking step that you need to take to have a better fucking take on life, because conservatism is all about billionaires and it's not about you, motherfucker. Okay, so you're on the right track. Fuck
Dylan,
Trump.
Can I jump at that since it was to me specifically?
Yeah, man.
Man for the job.
I'll do 20 seconds on that, Dylan, and then everybody can jump in. The difference between me and you, Jake, is the same as the difference between me, Hake, and Aircraft Sparky. I don't look around to the other people in the social group that is my political party and decide what I'm going to think based on that. I look at my principles. I look at the truth of the issues.
Yeah.
But you're recommending that I look at the people around me and decide that I can't believe similar things to what they believe because they believe it for the wrong reasons.
I'm saying absolutely because they believe it.
I'm not going to do this dance about social groups and picking my
It's not about
politics based
social
on the
groups. It's not about social groups. It's about the arguments in general that they make are the same ones that you're buying wholesale, except for some of the Trump shit because you're critical enough to get rid of it. So that's what I'm saying, because you're just slurping up the rest of the Republican propaganda. The rest of the Republican propaganda. Hold on. You slurp it
you're
up.
making the same argument John Stewart bashed just this week. He literally came on and goes,
You are?
Republicans, they can separate themselves from all politics. There's just like
No, they
God,
can't.
work, religion, all these other things.
I don't
School,
think you guys can
women,
do
all
that.
these things are like their friend group. They can be friends with somebody. See, y'all have politics so involved in every part of your life that y'all have weaponized it. That if you go, anybody's got.
Are you mad that people don't like
I
you?
hate you.
Like you're bitching. Hold on, wait. Let me respond. I'll respond.
Wait. Let's let him finish, and then you gotta throw it
about
somebody else.
anything that comes a different opinion than yours.
Sure, it's not what's happening. That's not what's happening.
It is what's happening. I'm sorry that you don't know what that is. You are sucking dick. You are sucking dick. You're sitting here crying. Anybody's got a different opinion than me is a bad guy.
I'm not saying that. I literally said Jeb was doing the right thing by being critical of Trump. I complimented Jeb.
But then you also implied that the rest of my political views I haven't thought critically enough about to come to you.
I absolutely think that if you're conservative, you are wrong. Yes, that's not shocking. And you haven't thought critically about them. Yeah.
Pause. We have a list of people. We have Maddie's waiting. We got Crenshaw waiting. I think Stardust is waiting. I don't know if anybody else was raising a hand. Okay.
I've been waiting.
Okay, there's a bunch of people that's waiting. I'm gonna throw it to Matt. Wait. No.
Take on the whole dogs and cats thing.
Okay, well, your take will come eventually. There's other people who have been waiting. I'm sorry, there's 8 people. You know, it's a rumble. You got to be rumbly. Maddie, I got to throw it over to you.
Thank you. Yeah. So here's the thing. When a politician falsely accuses Haitians of something as inflammatory as eating cats and dogs, they're not just spreading a lie, they're creating a dangerous stereotype that led to very real harm and threats against people in those communities. It's not just a matter of, oh, they're using this as an example. It's this sort of abstract talking point. What they did was instigate real threats and the real potential of harm and violence coming to American people. These are people that came to America legally. They live in this country legally.
No, they didn't.
Shut the fuck
They
up. Not done yet.
absolutely
Not done yet. No, shut the fuck up. I'm not done yet.
Fucking mutated STDs.
And what,
No, they didn't.
shut the fuck. You sit there and shut the fuck up. I'm not done yet.
Whatever.
So when they do something like that, it dehumanizes people based on the fact that they are from a different country originally. That is racist. That's xenophobic. And he knows exactly what he's doing. You never see them going after European groups, do you? No, it's always people who are black and brown. And it's because they know exactly who their base is. You should know exactly who you are. And if you support that bullshit, you're just as fucking racist and a piece of shit as Trump.
Being
You're
complicit
literally
sucks.
dismissing like all the immigration
European
problems that
groups are
aren't
not
the
eating cats
asylum
and
thing.
dogs.
Hold on. She's also dismissing all the other issues that we have with immigration, right? Like, the average Texas rancher that lives along the border is going to have to pay between $24,000 and $32,000 this year to get their damages fixed. Adjacent to them, it's about $2,000 to $6,000. I don't know if you know this about ranching, but it's not a high margins thing. Yeah, I know you don't care, and this is the problem. Democrats don't care about people that are having to actually deal with illegal immigration and the crime and all the things, and they're just sitting here.
Here's why I don't care. Here's why I don't care.
Higher and mightier than that.
Well, let me finish, Kirk. Let me finish, and then you can respond to it. And I think I'm gonna go to Crenshaw. I'm very sorry, Jake.
Thank you. There's a small percentage of people like they're gonna say, "Oh, it's a small percentage. They don't matter." Yada yada, etc. When it's like 21% of these people are illegal immigration. We have the fentanyl. We have sex trafficking. We have damage to like property. All these things are terrible. And we go, "Hey, we need a wall to stop this and force it in here." And they go, "No, it's terrible. It's racist. Anyway, it's ridiculous because it's just showing y'all don't give a shit about the people."
I'm going to tell you why you don't give a shit.
Okay, Jake, I'm sorry. Crenshaw's been waiting patiently, and I want to throw it to Crenshaw. He wanted to respond to this. Jake, I have your name down. Don't worry. There's a bunch of people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro, like the biggest problem here is like, MAGA, they don't care about who believes what or whether their friends believe this or family believe that. That's convenient because you guys advocate for policies in which you have the power to ruin everyone else's lives but your own. It's really easy to not give a shit about what someone else believes when they're not advocating for the destruction of democracy, for the destruction of women's right to their bodies, for the destruction of American racial and gender unity. Everything you guys advocate for serves you and puts you all the way at the top and destroys everything that's ever made America America. It's easy to not give a fuck about what someone else believes when all they really care about is like free healthcare, women's right to their own bodies, a president who's not buddy with all of our enemies, etc., not trying to overturn democracy. That's a really big thing.
Which you don't realize the government is the enemy of the people.
Saying that people don't care about, Democrats don't care about blah, blah, blah. I've watched Republican candidates literally block funding for emergency relief and then falsely accuse the president of the United States of trying to block hurricane relief. Y'all have lost, you're possessed by demons.
Complaining about it and then going back and then thanking him quietly for the funding, which is real extra fucking slimy.
Okay,
Rashad. Wait. There's multiple people waiting. I'm sorry. We got Stardust reading, Spark reading, Jake reading, but Hake wanted to respond specifically to that comment. So Hake.
So they don't care about the attacks. I don't know which comment I was going to respond to, but they don't care about the attacks on real Americans at the border.
What's a real American? Yeah, exactly.
And they don't care about. And
What's
they
a
don't
real
care
American?
about the destruction
Can you just
of the
define real
neighborhoods
American?
by way of
indigenous,
the ones who are
Hey, what's real American?
the
Actual
native white and
citizens
black
of Americans.
and the native Hispanic Americans who've been here for many generations. They've seen their neighborhoods go south, and you guys don't care about it.
How many generations? What's
self-serving?
Let me hear it.
The left is the party of self-serving. It's all about self and anger.
No, it's not. I'll tell you what my policy is on the border and why you don't give a fuck about it. And if you did, you would have a better situation at the border. The problem with the border is that there's not a lot of permeability. When people have a high demand to get into the United States, the greatest country in the world that we sell the whole fucking world on, we're like, oh, we're so great. You have opportunity here. We can make money. You can have freedom, all this bullshit. And then when they come knocking on the door saying, hey, I'd like some of that, you don't give them an opportunity to permeate across the border border and earn that right, when we know for a fact that the people coming out from other countries and into the United States would do so legally if it wasn't impossible to fucking get in unless you're a super high value person. Listen
every year.
Listen, Hank.
That's fake news. That's fake news.
It's not fake news. It's not.
You
That's
said
not fake news.
Hold on. You said Trinidad wasn't a problem, and everybody was sitting here just coming legally.
What?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Follow along. This is the thing.
Aurora,
We just
Colorado,
got 60.
Venezuelan gangs.
Yeah, and guess what? We just got.
Okay, but that guy was a slumlord. That wasn't actually a Venezuelan gang in there. That guy was just running a slumlord.
It was a Venezuelan gang. It wasn't.
No, that guy is literally a.
If you let me, we caught here in San Antonio just 2 weeks ago, 16 members of Trinidad in Dallas. 5 members of Trinidad beat up and robbed a woman and attacked.
Cool. How many members of the KKK are in the United States? More.
What does that have to do with anything? It's a terror. The problem is,
I'm just saying, it's a bigger problem.
Illegal immigration problem that's allowing.
What are you upset about? You didn't even hear what I said. You didn't even hear what I said.
Issue. We don't care. You don't have a real concern about it.
You don't care.
Real legal immigrants.
He wants more.
Okay, wait, pause. We have to pause. Because we have 2 people who are waiting.
It's Maddie and Stardust for me.
And
I like
kicking.
Crenshaw.
The polls are open, so you got to go vote kick.
My
You
ranking.
gotta vote to kick. Remember, it's to kick, not to keep. It's the kick.
Stardust
and
and
right
Maddie,
now we're on the left
personally.
wing side. because
Stardust
last
is
round
first.
Was right wing side, so 2 lefties.
I like Crenshaw,
I believe
though.
are going to be thrown over the top. We'll see who that is. Quickly, we're going to throw it to Stardust
Vote-
and Sparky.
Vote for Maddie. Vote for Maddie. Stardust is going to lose. Vote for Maddie.
So I do want to say, personally, I would have liked to see the bill go through.
Vote for Maddie. Vote for
going
Maddie.
to,
Vote for Maddie.
Give funding towards the border, but unfortunately, Donald Trump axed that. He didn't want that to happen.
Vote Maddie.
And everybody voted against it. All the Republicans voted against it. So they don't really care about giving aid to the border. Secondly, the Haitian immigrants were legal. They were there to work. They had worker visas.
We got to ban 2 though. We got to get rid of 2.
People who
Stardust and Maddie are
staffed
gone.
people
Vote
at
Maddie.
these warehouses,
No
and
one
they
wants Stardust
loved
in
having those Haitian workers there. So I don't know where you guys are getting this, that they were illegal. But I do think it's incredibly disgusting to be okay with somebody spreading such a negative stereotype, one that inflamed people to the point that neo-Nazis showed up in that town and started protesting, and a lot of Haitians started keeping their kids at home during that time. I think that it is incredibly disgusting. I think it is atrocious that you guys don't have a problem with that.
Okay, we're gonna throw it over to Sparky.
So seriously, I just didn't care about the dogs and cats thing because I've lived all over the world and I've seen people eat all kinds of crazy shit. So people in America eating dogs and cats does not surprise me in the least bit, especially with today's economy. When it comes to their status, they are here legally now after only being given temporary special statuses or special protection. So it's They came in illegally, and then they were given temporary protected status. So, yes, they are currently legal, but the means in which they came into the country was illegal. So there's a little fact check on there. And Stardust, I love you, man. I really do. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. It is what it is. Look, people making a big deal over some stupid deal, and I love the meme song, they're eating the dogs, eating the cats. I didn't take it all that seriously. I didn't really care all that much because it really didn't have any real impact
you're not a
on
Haitian
what is
person.
really going on in America.
You're not a person that was targeted by that, so of course you don't give a fuck.
Well, actually, the thing is, you don't realize. Well, no, the thing is, you don't realize you are somebody who's negatively affected by that. You're just not thinking far enough down the line. Like I said, saying bullshit like that's so obviously not fucking true gives license to the other side to lie about you.
There's actual video.
How do you know the Republican governor of Ohio, the law enforcement in the area, they all said it's not fucking true. Yeah, you think he's a rhino because he said something antithetical to what you believe, not because he was a rhino before it.
You hear that? If you abandon Trump, you're not a fucking right winger. Do you hear them, man? I'm just saying it keeps happening to you. They keep purity testing you.
I've been the one here the whole time.
The key thing, though, is that like the crazy lies are not a deal breaker.
I'll stop. I'll give him.
You don't even know that it's
crazy lies are
meant to lie without even knowing anything.
None of the stuff Trump says and his people says is ever a deal breaker. It doesn't matter what he lies about, the election, the man can lie about hurricane. This man literally sat there and accused Joe Biden of trying to take him out months ago.
Bro, the Dems have been lying this for like years.
What do you mean? Most of the time.
Bruh, who comes to the internet and says, Joe Biden authorized lethal force against me? This man, Joe Biden, had lethal force authorized against him. in his FBI raid.
Y'all
Trump
tried
knew
to
that.
come out and say
Goes
that
on the internet, tries to make it seem like Joe Biden sent the hit squad to come get him, when we all know that's not true. And then now all of a sudden we're supposed to think this is normal. Lying about hurricane aid, lying about elections, trying to accuse Joe Biden of hit squad.
Lying, they can't admit they're lying, bro. Like they literally put out a fake Biden transcript just recently this week. Like, what do you mean? The lying is just so bad that the
y'all lie about
y'all lie about so much. Y'all lied about Biden's cognitive ability. Y'all lied about the economy. It's bad. It's the highest credit card debt we've ever had.
How every time
inflation's through the roof.
We talk to Trumpers.
Housing's bad. Homelessness is up. All the metrics are up.
Inflation is low. What are you
the economy is bad. It says 20.5% cumulative increase. Then you'll say immigration doesn't exist.
Unemployment is
low. Y'all just lying
low.
to us, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's bad.
Like
Trump should write a Bible
because everything in that book would be taken as divine law by
y'all. Literally just lying.
Inflation is low. Inflation is low. Unemployment. Trump wrote a Bible in which he said jumping off a cliff would give you salvation. About 20 to 30% of y'all would do backflips, front flips. You know it's true.
And most of the problem with the economy right now is corporate greed.
We believe you just
inflation. Hold on. One, inflation is far too volatile to say it's high or low right now, and two, it is not low considering the cumulative inflation impact. We should have abnormally low inflation because of the cumulative inflationary impact that we're already experiencing. We should be seeing inflation that is about 50% where it usually is in order to long-term catch back up with where it should have been over time. Inflation is not low. Unemployment is not low. The jobs report that came out just before this last rate cut literally described the fact that inflation had jumped a little bit and it made them a little concerned about having a second meeting and a second rate cut this year. So inflation is not low compared to what it should be at this point.
They cook on the jobs numbers
Why
all
do
the
you
time.
have to add shit like that at the end,
Isn't the
bro?
long-term average 3%?
You're talking about shit on my Sunday.
Oh wait, guys.
Yes, and we have 19% cumulative over the past 3 years.
Let's stop calling Gibbs out specifically. Everybody's a Star, wrap us up because we got the votes in.
Okay, so I know you guys are talking about inflation, but one thing I want to say is that video you're talking about the woman eating the cat, that was an American citizen. That was not a Haitian migrant. That was an American citizen who was having a mental health episode. And you have to think about your rhetoric, because how does every other minority feel when they see one group of people being targeted and slandered like that? It's not good for your messaging. I don't think that all conservatives are like this, that are sucking Trump's cock so viciously, right? But I do think that the ones that are not doing that need to really usher in some change there, because you are not winning anybody over. You are scaring other immigrants. You are scaring other people of color. Like, you're scaring other minorities. That's when you see again these Nazis showing up to that town and they're protesting, and people are afraid for their children to go to school. Yeah, there's a problem.
Many people are afraid for their children to go to school. All right, go ahead.
We got to wrap up because we have 2 kicks, and chat has decided that they do not like women, and Stardust and Maddie are both getting thrown over the top rope.
A woman of color as well. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not woke. Decisive.
Yeah, Maddie
and the whitest woman you've ever seen.
Oof. It was a hard choice, for chat. Final words from either of you.
I guess, well, I'll just go quickly. Yeah, to echo Starbus, when you put out rhetoric against groups like this, what you're doing is you're not exactly winning people over to your side. And you know what? There's a reason that all the efforts that we've seen on the Republican side is voter suppression, because God knows you're not adding to your base. You're not building your coalition. You're only trying to make it so that white men like you are the only people who are able to vote. So enjoy losing on election day. I can't wait.
Star?
My last thing to say is, fuck all of you. I hate you. Suck my dick. Okay?
Okay.
Be careful, lady.
Over the top rope, both of you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Okay, now the next 2 we're bringing in actually brings us down to the final 8 of the show, meaning that you guys have survived through either just being lucky and being timed towards the end as a new guest. Welcome. Now, do we want to go towards one of the pre-screened questions instead of continuing to talk about the cats and dogs thing? Let's move on from this. Do we want a foreign policy question or a domestic question?
Policy, foreign type. Let's
Foreign's
go.
good.
I don't care.
What do you guys? I
Okay.
think foreign's good.
What are the questions?
I'm
Foreign
here to have a
policy.
good.
Okay. Well, the questions were.
Where'd the other two women go? Ugh,
They were just
Chad,
both voted out,
I
Pixie.
swear to God. Ugh, you're useless, Chad.
Oh, another foreigner. God damn it. Why can't we get actual Americans to talk about American policy?
Because we're talking to foreign.
Gee,
were you listening, Sparky?
Son of a
Or might
fucking
do
Okay,
foreign
so
policy
the
American foreign policy,
Well,
not
okay.
Australia's cuck policy.
Well, I mean,
my
you're a Trump voter.
my
so-
goodness, what an open. Okay, let's open with this foreign policy question then. Where is it? It was right here. Here it is. Why should America trust Trump or Harris to handle foreign relations with countries like China and Russia, which are traditionally defined as America's adversaries? You don't need to agree with that framing, but that's the framing.
I'm personally more concerned
Yeah,
about
Harris is the
Israel.
best
but-
option.
You can talk about that if you
jump in
want to.
Yeah, I mean, I can jump in if no one's going to go. I think the reason why I feel there's an experience gap between Kamala and Trump, obviously. Kamala admitted in a debate to have she's never met Putin. She hasn't really done a lot of debate with real world leaders. And if you look at demeanor-wise, Trump is definitely a bombastic dude that comes with risks, but it also comes with benefits. I do think his attitude and his demeanor serves as a deterrent. I think there is a reason why there wasn't a lot of aggression while he was president, because you never really knew what he would do. I also think, as far as who's around them, J.D. Vance and Tim Walz, that debate made it very clear to me that Tim Walz is remarkably buffoonish, remarkably just submissive in a conversation, and I don't trust him to negotiate on an international scale in the way that I trust J.D. Vance to. I think J.D. Vance actually improves Trump's ability to negotiate, whereas I think Walz is a cheerleader for Kamala
Tim Walz
Harris.
is a sex tourist too, so we'll just
It
go
is
ahead.
very
and, leave
interesting
that
that you refer to Tim Walz as submissive when there's literally rumors going around the Melania as Trump's dom.
Okay.
Have you
I'm not
not
talking
seen
about
this?
sexually. Hey, I don't care what anybody likes in the bedroom. I'm talking about when they're talking with world leaders.
woman.
But hold on. We all know full and fucking well, the only person who's shown clear submission and signs of weakness on an international level is Donald Jimothy Trump. This man has gotten in front of everybody. That man literally
got laughed at by the UN.
When certain NATO countries.
I want to know how he's submitted.
I want to listen. Skip. Don't interrupt him before his point's even stated. Come on. Everybody, everybody, shut up. Everybody, shut up. Everybody that is not named Crenshaw, shut up. Thank you.
Basic foreign policy. Donald Trump had an issue with NATO nations not putting 2% of their GDP toward defense. Okay, reasonable issue, reasonable concern. You know what this genius does? He gets in front of the entire world and starts making threats about how people aren't going to be protected and maybe we won't come to someone's defense, showing weakness on an international level, the likes of which we've never seen before from a president, just coming out and saying, you know what? If I don't like some people, if they're not doing exactly what I want them to do, I won't go behind the scenes and negotiate and apply pressure. I'll actually signal to our enemies that, hey, we're weak. We don't get along. We don't cooperate. And if you want to, you can drive wedges of division.
So hold on. So you're saying because Trump went too hard trying to get people to spend more money defending themselves against Russia. Hold on. Stop.
Publicly.
Since he went too hard trying to get people to increase their funding for defense against Russia, he was submitting to Russia.
Yeah.
He wanted them to spend more money fighting Russia, so he's submitting to Russia.
I know you know exactly what I'm saying.
They increased their contributions afterward.
I know you know what I'm saying. You got it. You know what I'm saying. Donald Trump goes in front of everyone and shows weakness. You don't.
That's not weakness.
No, that's not weakness.
Let's hear the end of this. Let's hear the end of the sentence.
It is weakness, and I'll tell you why. You never want to give the idea to your enemies that the strongest military alliance in human history can't even solve simple contractual negotiation issues. You go behind the scenes.
Why'd they wait for Biden?
If Donald Trump
why'd
wanted
they wait
to say,
for Biden? Why'd they wait for Biden? Why didn't they attack when Trump was still president?
If Donald Trump wanted to go behind the scenes
why
and say,
didn't they attack when Trump was still president? Why didn't they? If he's uniquely weak, why didn't they?
I don't have access to the alternate universe where Donald Trump is in office,
but he's the one who showed weakness, right?
Jeb Tan, I don't have the alternate universe where Hamas.
So you're not going to answer either question.
I don't have. I'm answering. I don't have access to the alternate universe where Hezbollah and Hamas asked Trump for a parental permission slip to kill Jews. I don't. I don't have access to the universe. I don't have access to the universe where Putin asks Trump, "Can I pretty please attack Ukraine?"
Okay.
Like, what are you
So the only outcome. So the only outcome was. Hold on. So the only outcome was increased contribution to
NATO.
So the only outcome was
Jeptan, listen to me. Jeptan, listen to me. If Donald Trump wanted to make mobster, if he wanted to make mobster tactics behind the scenes, fine.
Oh my God.
But you never, ever go public and show that there could be some kind of discord.
The only outcome was increased contribution to NATO.
Do you actually believe NATO trusts the United
right
States
now,
more as a result of Trump's behavior?
It doesn't matter.
Right now,
yes or no?
He got them to spend more
Okay.
money.
That does matter.
Right now,
the United States losing geopolitical leverage over Europe is a serious
He got
problem.
them to
Because
spend
if we
more
don't have
money.
oversight, if we don't have oversight over Ukraine, what do we?
Oversight.
We're literally
Nothing
just sitting
happened
ducks.
other than more money.
Right this second.
Nothing happened.
Donald Trump's only solution to the war is to give Putin more land, and he's the one who showcased.
And he's
strength.
currently stoking shit in the Middle East. Donald Trump is currently urging Netanyahu to do what he wants to do in Iran.
Donald Trump literally
should do what he wants to do.
Listen to yourselves. You're like, Trump is anti-war, but also he's for proliferating it?
I'm not talking about anti. Hold on.
Donald Trump said he
dumb
would end the war in
fucks.
24 hours. There
Yeah,
was
did
only,
he say he was going to give their land to
Wait,
Ukraine?
okay,
There is
okay, guys. We're gonna do Crenshaw 15 seconds. Then we're gonna go to Jeb 15 seconds response, and then we're gonna go to other people who like Hake and others who are waiting to talk. Crenshaw.
There is only one thing Donald Trump can do in 24 fucking hours that could possibly end the conflict. That would be demanding Zelensky surrenders territory to Russia in an illegal war with the threat of, if you don't surrender, we're just going to completely leave you to the wolves. We know full and fucking well what would happen. Ukraine would not surrender. NATO would lose any and all faith in the United States. We would lose oversight over the war in Ukraine. We would have no ability to affect the conflict, and Donald Trump would have the exact thing he fears most, looking like a weak bitch in front of the entire world with a conflict raging without his oversight. If there's anything Trump hates more than anything, is looking weak. He can look stupid, he can look anything, but looking weak is his no-no.
That was a long 15 seconds. Jeb Tam, respond. Excuse me for a moment. City's getting bombed. I'll be right back, okay?
Happens.
Be safe, be safe.
So anyway,
crazy.
Rashad, here's the problem. Now that we're talking about how you can guarantee exactly what Trump is saying without him saying it, you're willing to engage in hypotheticals and say that you do know the hypothetical situation. But when I asked you why didn't Russia attack when Trump was president, if he is the one who showed unique weakness, you said you couldn't engage in those hypotheticals. And finally, the only outcome of Trump's actions was increased contribution to NATO funding. There was no Russian attack during Trump's presidency. So Russia definitely didn't attack because of Trump, because Trump made NATO better funded. So if you're willing to engage in a hypothetical that Trump is definitely going to do something he never said that he's going to do, you need to also concede that Russia didn't attack during Trump's presidency on purpose. Otherwise, if you can't engage in hypotheticals, then you can't engage in either. So I reject yours.
No. See, here's a problem. Here's a problem.
There's no evidence for either of them.
Here's a problem. Donald Trump.
One second. But quickly after this, you got to move. We got to shift it to some other people because others are waiting. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for the sound.
Donald Trump literally sat there and spent months trying to make Zelensky look like a dickhead. He comes to our country, he walks away with 60 million. Every time the topic of Zelensky comes up, you would think Zelensky.
So we had a lot of chances to tell him to surrender, right?
You would have thought some kind of personal issue happened. It is unbelievably obvious when you look at the rhetoric on the right.
If he wanted him to surrender.
Carlson, when you look at the rhetoric on the right, Donald Trump basically has no choice but to cede territory. Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith, all of these pundits. We can literally look at the entire scene of what's going on on the right. When a man sits there and takes the side of Russia by sitting there and making Zelensky look like the dickhead, sits there and says, "I would have had the war fixed in 24 hours." When he sits there and says,
hold on, let's talk about what Kamala
when he sits there and basically blames the war, when he sits there and basically blames the war,
we got to wrap it up because others are getting.
His amazing relationship with Vladimir Putin. reality is everyone knows only one thing can be done in 24 hours. The only person making unrealistic claims for solving the war is, yes, you think Ukraine's going to surrender after 2 illegal wars? What are you talking about?
We gotta throw it. We're gonna wait, guys. We gotta throw it over to other people. We're gonna throw it over to
clarify.
We gotta throw it over to Hake because other people are waiting. We're gonna throw it over to Hake.
All the endless wars. What does that mean?
We gotta throw it over to Hake.
Listening to Jeb talk versus listening to Crenshaw talk is like the difference between a calm and reasonable man versus a shrill woman who's just worried and in her imagination. It's insane. And that's
such a freak. You're such a fucking freak.
He knows what he's doing, and he can deal with the situation. He has the respect. Trump has the respect. Trump has the respect of our enemies.
Listen to the guy supporting you, Jeb. This is the types of guys that are around you.
And he has NATO doing what he wants. So he's handling it like a man. And that woman has no authority. She can't even deal with Bibi. So you guys
look at what she did.
He literally is saying that he will increase
Ukraine. They went to war 3 days later. They literally 3 days after she went. That's how bad she failed. We can look at Trump as other examples. He held them accountable. I know that's a word that the Dims don't know. That's what happened with NATO. Held them accountable. They went and spent money.
Donald Trump hasn't been accountable. Okay, is he guilty of dozens of felonies?
General Salami.
Is Donald Trump guilty? Is Donald Trump a felon?
He messed him up pretty good.
Hold on the subject of accountability, is Donald Trump a felon?
Let's talk about North Korea. Hey, guess what? All this shit didn't work. Trump tried something.
Gibbs.
Let's at least give him credit.
I know you're emotional right now, but I have a question for you.
When talk to him.
On the subject,
Iran deal was terrible. Biden and them has just been bad in the Middle East. And on top of that, Trump said he would be willing to consider. Yeah, and Trump said he'd be willing to consider for all you on independence cutting funding to Israel if they went over the line. So this is something
they've gone over the line.
So really, anytime the Dems sit here and say, "Oh, Trump didn't do this, didn't do that, he looks weak," it's really them lying and projecting their own terrible foreign policy.
Gibbs, on the subject of accountability, is Donald Trump a felon?
I love felons.
You love felons. Is Donald Trump a felon?
I love Joe Biden.
Does it matter?
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm voting for him either way.
It's a good thing.
I'm voting for him either way. Do you hear yourself though?
Since when did y'all become gangsters?
But like, listen.
I mean, you want me to lie? Like, oh yeah, I'm not voting for that guy. I mean,
I want you to. No. I don't want you to lie. I want you to reconcile those thoughts. I want you to use your big brain in your walrus meat husk.
Oh, they got.
And I want you to reconcile these things.
Let's let him respond.
Back to the topic though.
Oh Lord.
Wait. Okay. The question is, I'm sorry. I don't want to have us all yelling over and never hear the answer. The question was, does it matter that Donald Trump is now a 34-time convicted felon? The question was directed at Gibbs, and I know Hake also wanted to respond, so I wanted to get this.
And if it doesn't matter, tell me why you don't care. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're like, oh, immigrants are criminals, so they're bad. If Donald Trump is a 34-time felon, then what the fuck? Make it make sense to me.
I will tell you.
Yeah.
Because it's what I would like to call ticky-tack Mickey Mouse bullshit.
Okay.
That's what the
34-time ticky-tack Mickey Mouse felonies.
Let's let him hear.
Yeah, first of all, we hear basically, oh no, the classified documents thing. Okay, wow.
Right, so you're not taking accountability. This is what I thought you would say.
Are you going to let me finish? And then we got over here, oh God, he was sitting here paid off hush money to a porn star. Oh no, it's because he didn't want his wife finding out. Who knows? These are terrible things. Just, the worst. Like, I don't give a shit. This is not like what I care about when it comes down to real issues.
Yeah, character doesn't matter to you at all. Yeah, I get it.
Because Trump is literally born for mediocre.
He has better character than me. I'm not a felon.
Jesus, fucking kill me.
It all comes from
what does white have to do with
anything? This is the same guy who tried to withhold military aid in exchange for like information on Joe Biden. Like this is it all comes full circle. It all comes full circle. So it just comes right back to the foreign policy thing.
So it's
like about the whole Israel-Palestine thing. They've already admitted that Hamas is no longer in operational capacity. This war should be wrapping up now and figuring out what the next stages are. You know what Donald Trump says? I'm going to give Netanyahu more carte blanche to go crazy.
And
on what? You already won.
But listen to that. That's war proliferation, aircraft Sparky.
Oh my God! Do you not believe in sovereignty?
Yeah, I do. What do you mean? Sovereignty?
I understand.
We're all yelling over each other.
Genocide is you are not.
But after all of the fighting, they have admitted Israel itself has said, "Look, Hamas is no longer operational. I understand that civilians die in war, but thank God Hamas is no longer operational. So now it's not time to ramp up so we can make property on Gaza, like Jared Kushner said. Now it's time to like wrap up the conflict, figure out what kind of occupations that we're gonna have going on, and move forward. But Donald Trump says, "Oh no, we're actually gonna ramp it up." The dude's a horrible person for Ukraine, horrible for Israel. Why are we even like? He's a bum. What are we talking about right now?
We're gonna do the felon question.
First of all, hold on, please.
Well-
Let me. I've been trying to jump in here for a while.
Okay,
look,
Sparky,
Crenshaw,
but
you got
Sparky,
one thing- you got one thing right, Crenshaw.
Sparky, I'll get you to it. You are on the list, but I did want to hear what Hake had to say about the felon thing. I did say we're going to go to Hake, so I don't want to lie to him.
Okay.
Yeah, the felon thing, it just makes the court system look bad. It just shows you that there's a bunch of blind, brainwashed juries and liberals in the government and the court system that are willing to go after Trump because he was for the country and he was told the truth, and they can't have that. They can't have a real man in the office.
The truth is that he's a felon.
I'm fine with that.
A real man, a man who stands like this at an angle is what y'all. That's y'all's real man.
It's a redemption story. He went from felon to president. It sounds like a good movie.
Crenshaw said,
Okay, we're throwing it. Actually, I'm going to throw it over. I want to throw it over to Jeb because I'm throwing it over to Jeb because Jeb is on the right, but he face palmed so hard after hearing what Hake said. So I wanted to give him an opportunity. Then we're going to go back to the list.
Yeah, I mean, this idea that everybody who touched that case is somehow awful because Trump is a felon, okay? Do I agree with Andrew Cuomo, Democrat, former AG of New York, that Trump probably shouldn't have been charged the same way most people aren't charged for that crime? Yes. He is a felon, though, and he will be a felon again in a more important way with the documents case and potentially with the Jack Smith indictment. And it does matter to me, but I want to give an empathetic case as to why it doesn't matter to a lot of voters. Because a lot of swing state voters, they vote for their lives. They vote for their political interests and their policy interests. And I think if Democrats did a better job understanding this, they'd know better what concessions to make to win those voters, because a lot of them are not voting because they don't care that Trump's a felon. It's that they don't get to care because that had to be sorted out in the primaries. So now they have to choose, do I pick the policies that I perceive are going to make my life worse? Or do I pick the guy who's worse? I would rather pick the guy who's worse and the policies that'll make my life better than the policies that I think will make my life worse.
That is an insane.
It's an insane way to describe Donald Trump's policies.
That is an insane.
I'm telling you how most people are thinking who are voting for Trump this election.
He's kind of right. He's kind of right in the sense that no one cares about whether Trump messed with a porn star and tried to cover it up, blah, blah, blah. People are more concerned about whether he tried to steal an election. People are more concerned about whether he tried to steal an election.
So you know that it doesn't matter.
I know you don't care.
I personally don't care about the porn star stuff. I care about the election theft thing.
Yeah, I care about that.
However, the reality is this is a dude who, as it pertains to foreign policy, has choked. He is completely controlled by the Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and media machine of Ukraine bad, Nazis everywhere, everybody suck Russia's meat. That's where he is right now. He's literally hostage. If he literally sells his entire base a fantasy, we're gonna end all the endless wars, as if he can press a button or make phone calls and say, okay guys, no more killing. He can't. He knows he can't. His base thinks he can because he's a
Because he's lying. He just lied.
with what?
No, he can, Rashad. You've already described how, because he'll just say, hey, Ukraine, we're not giving you any aid, and just let Ukraine collapse.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Already outlined the plan already.
Pretty bad plan.
And then Sparky was next on the list, so I want to throw it over to Sparky. You were responding to that?
Look, for fuck's sake, look, Crenshaw got one thing right. In order for the war in Ukraine to end in 24 hours, Ukraine is going to have to cede the eastern section that they've already lost. That is exactly what is going to be on the table. Ukraine is going to say, no, we don't want to do that, and be like, tough shit, you're not going to get any more aid, and we're not going to help you, and you will get fucking ran over if you don't do this, and they will have to concede. That is probably what's Donald Trump's plan. Okay, so you're not wrong.
Does
there,
that sound
Crenshaw.
right or
everything
ethical?
else? Actually, it doesn't matter about ethics. Wait, it doesn't matter about ethics.
Why
because
not?
It is American foreign policy. It is not Europe's foreign policy. What? It is not. Yes, because sovereignty.
Beautiful.
The deal about letting Netanyahu
I think American foreign policy still should be concerned with ethics.
Yeah, I agree.
It seems like a reasonable.
Yeah, maybe ethics should be involved.
Hold on. Let me fucking talk for fuck's sake.
Normal Trump supporter.
Ethics is one of the European things.
Yeah.
You can moral frog
Commie
all
shit.
you want, but no one gives a shit, okay? At the
That's
end of the
right.
day, it is
That's right.
America
I think
first. It is not
I think a
Europe
lot of people
first.
give a shit about ethics.
I
Personally,
can't hear Sparky. I want to hear Sparky. Wait, first, wait, before you, wait, guys.
You're kind of right.
Wait, Crenshaw. I want to hear Sparky finish his point because I think most of the people here probably don't agree with it, so I want to make sure he can at least flesh it out.
Yes, I'm glad. Look, if y'all don't agree with me, I don't care, okay? It is America first. It is not Europe first, Ukraine first, Israel first. It is very serious.
Okay.
Look, All I care
You're
about right
short-sighted.
now is I know that there are people in Flint, Michigan that doesn't have drinking water. But hey, Obama, he was supposed to take care of that. Wait, he didn't do that. Wait, Trump didn't do it. Wait,
A Republican
Biden
governor
did it.
was the reason that happened. Just saying. Dan Snyder.
No, the
or not Dan
blacks don't
Snyder.
take
Fucking
care of this stuff.
Yeah.
Look, same thing happened in Jackson, Mississippi. We've got issues in Jacksonville, Florida with infrastructure. We got infrastructure crumbling all over America.
Thank
we got
God
people
for the Biden
pouring over our
infrastructure
southern
bill.
Rick
border.
Snyder.
Yeah, it hasn't really done much. Good job.
Oh yeah, hasn't done much.
It takes time to implement.
I'm aware. So unlike most of y'all, I actually work for a living.
I'm sure when all the
and I work
infrastructure
in
comes
construction
online in
and
Trump's
things like
second
that.
term and he takes credit for all of it, I'm sure you won't be a dumbass and say that he deserves that credit. I'm
Yeah,
sure
of
you'll
course.
be the smart one that says that was Biden's bill that actually built all those new roads
job, Joe.
and all that new pipeline, all those new bridges.
When Joe Biden's infrastructure bill actually does something positive, I'll
It's
actually.
literally current. I just drove. I just drove to Texas from Michigan and back, and the whole thing is getting redone. It's a beautiful drive where it used to be kind of shitty because of the infrastructure bill.
Texas has got its own thing. Hold on, Texas.
Look, I-35 has been under
Texas is
construction
one of
for
the
3
states on the
decades.
way through the country.
I-35 has been under construction. For
okay,
at least 3
Texas has the
decades.
worst, dirtiest roads. Actually,
The
that's
point you
anecdotal.
made about Ukraine, though.
Fake
The point you made
It's
about
not fake
Ukraine
news,
was
it's
kind
so
of true,
fucking
but the only problem is
Dirty
your
on the sides.
outcome on that take. I don't think it actually lines up. The idea that America's going to pull out from Ukraine if Ukraine doesn't surrender and then they'll get fucked.
no.
I don't know if that's
They're not
true.
saying-
What's probably
they're
going to
not saying
happen?
Wait, well, can I hear his?
What's probably really
Let
going
me
to
hear
happen
him
though
say
is
it.
Europe is going to step in and occupy that position we should have been in. We would have had oversight over the biggest war since World War II.
Are you
We would have
fucking
been able
kidding?
to decide what the yes, we would have had oversight over the biggest war
Yes,
since
you
World
are
War II.
kidding.
But thanks to Donald Trump and his strength
You
and
are
all of that
kidding.
bullshit, we're gonna lose any and all oversight over that conflict. Europe is gonna fill in our spot, and we're not gonna like NATO might even we might even not even be a trusted member of NATO. We might not even be able to have access to like classified yes, we might not even be able to have
Hey,
access
hey,
to
Never
that's
NATO, boys. Even though they
Name
sell
one
them all
country
tech.
in Europe that can't defend itself.
we might lose
I challenge you.
NATO as
Hold
a
on.
we might not
Germany
even be a
is
part of
10 years
NATO.
away from being able to do it themselves.
Trump
UK
supporters are
can't
so
even defend
fucking
themselves.
short-sighted.
If you think, bro, Europe can more than likely bring up their they can more than likely be short-sighted in access to the United States.
Crenshaw, I agree with.
I'm just saying. Europe can more than likely.
Hold on. Half what you're
Let's
saying
wait.
is true.
But Jeb, before you respond, let Crenshaw finish his point, and then we'll throw it over to you, Jeb. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All I'm saying is Europe could step in and help. If we leave, we don't gain anything but looking like doofuses and morons in front of everyone. We lose oversight over the biggest war since World War II. We don't lose any American troops. All we got to do is send money, weapon, intel. No American troops have to die. Our grandparents in World War II wished there was a fucking NATO to stop conflicts from spiraling before they could. We have a privileged position. Let's use it to the full. Instead of marketing bullshit foreign policy to our people saying, I can end it all in 24 hours. They love me. They don't know this nigga. Trump bullies him. Zelensky is concerned if he's sane or not. What are we pretending like? What's going on here?
Can we jump in?
Jeb?
Okay. So I want to jump in. Some of what you
Also,
said is
before
true.
Jeb finishes, as Jeb starts, the kick poll has gone out. Remember, the vote is the kick. To kick, and this round is the righties. The next round will be the lefties. So you have a choice between Gibbs, Sparky, Hake, and the fantastic Jeb. Jeb?
I
see
support
two.
Ukraine. I agree with half of what you're saying. My issue is the extent to which
Vote
you
to
go is
kick.
too far. This is pretty typical for political commentary, though. They go too far to make it seem really scary, but it's not accurate, and it should be accurate. If Donald Trump were to do what you
Gibbs,
think
in
he's
my
going to do that
opinion.
I don't think he's going to do, and just carte blanche say surrender or we're fucking gone, that would be bad because Europe could step in and become a friendlier
Gibbs
partner. They will never replace the United
and
States in NATO. NATO will always run through the United States. There just is not enough money in Europe to catch up with
Gibbs
our
and
defense
Hake?
spending that basically bankrolls most of the countries in NATO, which is why I
you
supported
go.
Trump getting hard on the line and saying, we are not going to comply with our NATO contract.
Gibbs and
if you do
Hake.
not comply with your NATO contract.
Probably.
I think it was a good thing, and I think it was because Trump can be a hard-nosed negotiator when it comes down to it. I think he will be with Russia. I think the Ukraine has made certain territorial gains in Russia that Trump can use as leverage. In the beginning days, you're right. I don't think he's going to finish the wars in 24 hours. I also don't think Kamala is going to build 3 million houses. I treat those lies with the same credit because neither of them have concrete plans behind them, and neither of them even have the power to do those two things. But when
Which
Trump
do you
says
think
it,
is
what I
more
understand is... Definitely ending the war in Ukraine. We have more of
Is
an impact
easier
on
than
that
building
the federal-
houses? Okay, I disagree.
Than the federal government being able to usurp local zoning authority? Yes, 100%.
think
We have so many more barriers in place than the United States being the one that bankrolls all of NATO does and getting Ukraine
I think
to
it's
take
easier
a
to
deal
build
with Russia and
houses,
end the war.
personally.
So anyway, that's cool. You're wrong. It's taken a lot longer to build houses than it took for this war to begin and then to end if it ends in the next year. So you're wrong. Ukraine can cede some territory that they've gotten from Russia in exchange for territories Russia has from Ukraine. I think Donald Trump will be hard-nosed, and I think Donald Trump being hardline with Russia means more than Kamala being hardline with Russia, because there's a positive incentive for Putin to stay in Trump's good graces, whereas Kamala has never met him, and she's been pointed that she will always be adversarial to Putin. There is no incentive for him to do something Kamala wants, whereas there is a small incentive for him to do something that Trump wants, because he is willing to maintain some kind of relationship with Russia if he does comply with Trump's demands, whereas Kamala probably isn't.
Sorry, Danibo did not inform me how this round of kicking was going to go. I didn't. He just okay. Apparently, we're kicking 4 people. We're not just kicking 2 people, and it's across the entire political spectrum. So you can choose whoever you want. Never mind, I didn't see that. So who knows who's going to get kicked out? It could be your mama, it could be your grandma, it could be anybody. Okay, continue.
That's it. That's my point. So.
Yeah, no, actually, well said.
point.
Look, if it's going to happen in 24 hours, I will tell you, Trump will tell Ukraine they got to cede territory. That is not something I want to see. That's not something that I think should happen. But if he's
gotta
going,
vote for the other lefties you want to leave now,
promise, it is going to be a hard lined negotiation along those lines, because it's the only thing that makes sense from any strategic or tactical point. The whole problem is you think that NATO could take the spot of America. That's entirely wrong. The reason why most NATO countries have socialized medicine is because they've spent all their defense budget on that and depended on the United States to be their defense.
Econ and
No,
That's all you
no,
want to
no.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand that defense budget spending is like a very small part of a nation's GDP? Number one.
You know
Number
how
two,
much
Donald
of the
Trump.
nation's
Donald
GDP
Trump has never done
defense is?
anything but turn up the temperature of insanity. So for anyone to sit in this room and say there's no way Donald Trump would abandon NATO and force Europe to take up a position they never thought they'd have to take, it's ridiculous. All Donald Trump ever does is open up new boxes of Pandora's boxes.
But
That's
see,
basically what you and Jeff Tan are insinuating.
I would say that
such an insane.
Trump will not
Y'all are
leave NATO.
insinuating it's so crazy that Trump more than likely. You're saying Trump more than likely won't do it because it's not strategic enough. He more than likely will. The reality is Donald Trump.
He didn't last time when they
didn't. Do you want him to leave NATO though? Trump supporters.
This is literally the. Do you understand the difference? Do you understand that the Republican base went from being pro NATO and pro America?
I can't hear. I'm sorry, I can't hear anything. Crenshaw, please finish your point.
Yeah, the Republican base went from being pro-NATO and pro-America to now shit's looking actually kind of sus. I don't know whose side they're actually on here. The reality is, if Trump does do some insane shit, which he probably will, Europe will most definitely have to step in. The reality is, Donald Trump is not like scary to Putin. The reality is, Joe Biden probably is more scary to Putin than Donald Trump. And we know that because we've seen what has happened to Hamas and Russia thanks to Joe Biden. The idea that Donald Trump is scarier to Russia than Joe Biden is. Joe Biden could fall over 100 steps. He's still going to sit there and authorize weapons to go to Zelensky.
Trump almost fell opening a door to a truck
Donald
yesterday.
Trump could be on his. Joe Biden could literally be in ICU, and he'll lift his little finger with the last inch of breath he's got and press the button and send weapons. You know it's true. Why?
Yeah, but you
Biden does love to send weapons to people. That's true.
Yeah, you yourself said though that Trump will not take being embarrassed on the national stage. If he made clear public demands, which you know he will to Putin, if he makes clear public demands to Putin and Putin continues to roll through like nothing ever happened,
he's been embarrassed multiple
times. Trump will become the most
unabashed
Ukraine supporter of all time.
Russia does not respect paperwork. Russia breaks every single deal they ever fucking get.
Yeah,
the problem is Americans in the West have been tricked into thinking
what happened to Iran when they did that?
The Americans in the West have been tricked
Iran when they did that?
Donald Trump is telling Netanyahu to bomb Iran.
Yes.
Why is that good? That's not a good thing.
Do you understand that Russia has
successfully convinced Rashad's idea is that...
Sorry. Okay, guys. If you both talk at the same time, neither of you get to make a point, and then everybody loses, including the audience.
Because Jake is trying to jump in the middle, which he should, and I'm trying to answer both because he hasn't even given space. I don't think Jake in a minute.
I know Jake hasn't talked in a minute. I do want to make sure Jake gets a minute. How about this? Crenshaw, finish your point quickly. Jeb, you get a 10-second response. Then we'll go to the last people who want to talk on this, and then we got to kick some people.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is we're pretending that there's like any negotiations that could take place. Russia has proven time and time again that as long as Ukraine is willing to cede territory and does not join NATO, they will disrespect every piece of paperwork over and over and over again and keep invading and keep invading. Anyone who's even read a little bit about this would know. Russia successfully convinced Americans that they were told that that NATO could not expand to the east. Come to find out, they signed a contract saying they would allow NATO to do whatever the fuck it wants. Russia will never honor any paperwork. Donald Trump should know this, but instead he promotes foreign policy.
No, I 100% agree that no, that's not true because again, I asked you 7 times for a quote of him actually supporting what you're saying he supports, and you weren't able to give me one because he hasn't.
You don't want it. You don't want. You're afraid to
Rashad,
infer.
I'm speaking. Hey, I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. Shut the fuck up for a second. You could not give me a quote of Donald Trump saying, "Oh, Russia's going to follow this paperwork, and I'm going to make Ukraine surrender." What is likely going to happen is he's going to try to come to a deal with a land transfer between what Ukraine has taken from Russia and what Russia currently has from Ukraine. And if Russia does not cease fighting, he's going to do what he did to Iran, which Jake is right. He is over-aggressive with people who defy him on the international stage, and he will likely become the biggest Ukraine fucking supporter you've ever seen the moment that Russia defies him, the same way that he was willing to kill Qasem Soleimani despite every Democrat saying that he was trying to start World War III by doing so. And he's already said he is going to supply Israel with all the weapons they need. And you were just flaunting that Joe Biden was the reason Hamas isn't active in Russia anymore. Trump is more pro-Israel funding than Biden is. So to my credit, there is no foreign policy win I can identify from the Biden-Harris administration that Trump couldn't also achieve.
Trump funding Israel is bad. That's a bad thing.
Well,
negative for
What
Trump.
you're not taking into account is
you hate Jews. That's all that means.
I don't hate Jews.
That's all. You hate Jews.
We could talk about Israel, Palestine, but I don't think you're going to make it to the next round, Sparky. So I'm sorry.
I do.
I think that's a core ideological disagreement that I don't think Rashad shares. I think Rashad and I are both.
I can disagree with Rashad about Israel, and we can talk about apartheid and genocide if you want.
Yeah. I mean, but
I don't care.
My thing with Israel, there's a realistic end that Trump doesn't acknowledge. Like Hamas is non-operational. We're done here. We're done. There will be like some pots and there will be like a few.
I think we need to talk about systemics, and I think that you would come around and agree with me maybe, but like it's about Zionism being a bad thing. Nationalism is bad. Israel is encouraging apartheid and stuff. Like that's a bad thing.
And that's Jeb isn't taking into account in his analysis is the fact that Trump just likes Vladimir Putin. I mean, that's one thing that we have to keep in mind is that Trump really likes Putin. And so when Putin comes to Trump and says, well, listen, Donald, we have to do these things. Well, listen, Donald, we have to do these things because Ukraine's filled with Nazis and, technically this territory used to be ours. Sure. He's just going to believe Trump or he's just going to believe Putin and then just go along with it. After all, why is he parroting Putin?
But let's just say it.
Claim.
Let's just go ahead and say it.
We do have evidence that that's
when
the case.
Did Trump say he's going to do it?
He cannot talk. Jeb. He kind of barely talked this round. Let him.
Sure.
No, it's okay. I mean, look, Jeb, we have Trump is never going to come out and say, I just love Vladimir Putin. Now, to be fair, he did write that love letter to Kim Jong-un, and he did say that the authoritarian leader of Hungary is the best leader in Europe, and he has been very complimentary of Xi Jinping and Putin. He's never said the words, I just love Vladimir Putin. He's the greatest guy on the planet. But obviously, we have evidence that number one,
the Ukraine thing.
Number one,
when did he say that?
Okay, Jeb, we have to use some amount of evidence here. Okay, so as I was saying,
I have.
When he was in office, he opposed additional sanctions on Russia. Even after all the Russiagate stuff, he said, "Fuck that, that's terrible." Even though his party overwhelmingly supported those additional sanctions, he didn't veto it because he knew that they had a veto-proof majority to pass additional sanctions against Russia. He opposed that. He got in trouble. It was a national scandal for like one day because that's how things work with Trump. When he actually shared top secret information with the Putin regime, right? And obviously that was a pretty ridiculous thing for him.
Where is the proof that he is going to just surrender Ukraine on day one? Other than
he complimented Putin. He complimented
Jeb really quick.
It was a question, so let him. Yeah.
Jeb, where's the proof that he's going to be the most aggressive person as soon as Putin steps out of line? You're baking in the fact that he's never been pro-Iran. He's one of the most aggressive people towards Iran in general, but we're talking about Putin here. We can't compare two different countries.
We have an example of him standing tall. We have an example of him standing up to Putin. We have the battle in Syria where we have Russian mercenaries.
I can't use Iran, but he can use whatever evidence he wants from whatever unrelated situation.
But we have an example of American troops killing Russian mercenaries in Syria, 300 of them, under Trump. Like, so this idea that he's not
we
gonna
also
stand
have
tall
Trump pulling
against
out
them
of Syria
is
and then
ridiculous.
Russia going back
No.
into that
He
area
hold-
after he
he
pulled
hold-
out.
Listen, it's
Literally-
such a
literally,
ridiculousness to hold these
guys,
countries accountable. You're mad that we forced them
Donald
to pay
Trump
part of the NATO. That sounds like a
in-
negotiating problem, like that the Dems have had for years, and he finally got him to handle it. That's not weakness. That's
In
strength.
March.
It's hilarious.
In
It's
March,
hilarious.
Donald
Like,
Trump
frame this.
praised Putin as smart, said that it was a hell of a way to negotiate in Ukraine when he just fucking invaded the
Jake,
border.
where did he say that he loves Putin?
And
he say
JD Vance has gone so far to say he doesn't
I never
have.
asked you for evidence.
JD
for that.
Vance,
I
his
asked you
running
for
mate,
evidence that he
has
never
said,
supported
"Listen,
Ukraine just outright
JD
surrendering.
Vance, his running mate, has said that he does not care what happens in Ukraine." These are the people that you're going. He's
don't.
dismissed Zelensky as a great salesman, and then went on to boast about his good relationships with President Putin while talking shit about Zelensky. I mean, if you can't fucking understand when people are talking to you, like like you just can't read. You can't understand people when they're saying words to you, man.
You got to be reductionist.
Okay, wait. We got to
What
shut
we're
this
trying to
down
say
because
is-
the votes. Sorry, I'm shutting it down. Shutting it down because the votes have come in, and I know the 4 people that are getting kicked, and there's no rigging here. These are the audience votes, and I cannot control this. I can't. We don't have the electoral college here. It's all popular vote here. It's all popular vote. Pixel, Econ, Gibbs, and Hake. I'm very sorry. You are all lovely people, and I appreciate you coming on. Hake, you had a hell of a run. We were at the start, and you got to the final 8. So I got to respect that. Pixel, I appreciate you coming on here as an Australian, which is a kneecap being a foreigner talking about American politics, and you still did well, and I appreciate
Australian was
it. And I want to say to Gibbs and Econ, well, first Gibbs, you were very rowdy. You went in there and you rumbled, and I appreciate that. And Econ boy, the points you did make, they were good, and you didn't rumble, but you made good points, and that's good.
Can I give a brief public service announcement before I leave?
Sure, why not?
Look, if you're out there and you haven't voted yet, remember, if you're a Democrat, you can vote 2 or 3 times. They won't even check, okay? Be sure to go in there, vote 2 or 3 times, bring all your undocumented friends to go and vote. If you're a Republican, remember, Election Day is on November 7th. I believe that's a Wednesday. Be sure to vote before then, guys. All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hake, do you have any final words?
A lot of these guys don't seem to care about the hundreds of thousands of people killed by these wars. Trump is a man of peace. Vote for Trump, but thank you all.
Do
Love
what you want.
Take care. And can you kick me out? I'm kind of a boomer. I have to run over to my computer.
You know what, Hake? I can absolutely do that. Bye-bye, man.
Bye.
Or I cannot, and Danabo has to do it. Never mind, I cannot do it. I thought I could. Oh, thank you, Dan. And these, wait,
I'm so glad Sparky made it.
No. This is the final 4. You have all made it. Congratulations. Jake and Crenshaw, you've done it since the very beginning. Congratulations on that.
Well, Crenshaw came in later, but it's whatever.
Wait, Crenshaw, you came in.
Don't worry about it. I mean, we're not keeping score, but I'm ahead.
You couldn't claim. See, Jake's keeping score. He's like, no. Don't you give me credit for what I did.
I've been fucked a couple times on this here program, so.
So, first off, okay, I want to say thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for making it to the final round. What do we wrap up on? Do you guys want to continue on foreign policy, or do you want to take another topic from the list?
I liked Israel-Palestine.
Dealer's choice, yeah. I think, Israel-Palestine will give maybe some infighting between the lefties, too, because I've been infighting with the right the whole time. So.
What do you guys want? Israel-Palestine? It's the last one. I'm giving audience.
What's our other option? What's our other option?
What's the other option?
A few of them quick.
Look, I'm voting with the liberals this round. I'm voting with the liberals this round, but you guys are wrong about this shit.
Okay, let me go through the list here. Here we go. Why should voters trust Trump or Harris to handle the economy over the next 4 years? How do Trump and Harris differ in their approach to improving U.S. economy? How do Trump and Harris each approach federal policy on abortion rights? What unique qualities make Trump or Harris the best choice to lead America? Why should Americans believe that Trump or Harris will unify the country amid growing division? Which candidate has a stronger plan to protect personal freedom? Why should voters trust that Trump or Harris will prioritize working class concerns? Why is Trump or Harris the better candidate to make America safer domestically and internationally? Why should Americans feel confident that Trump or Harris will keep their promises post-election? What unique vision does Trump or Harris bring for America's future, and why should voters believe in it? Why should voters feel optimistic about the future with Trump or Harris as president? Why is the election especially important, and why should voters feel their choice matters more than ever?
Sounds like why are we voting?
I think the last one is really this is the most important election I think
let's go with
maybe
promises.
even ever.
Yeah.
Every election's the most important.
I think
one.
Jeb should
Let's
vote
go
for
with
Kamala.
pharmacist
Okay,
Pep.
whoa, come on. We've never had a president
I'm with
break his
whatever
oath.
you guys want. I'll debate
Let's
him.
keep it 100. Like, this is an unprecedented election. We have someone who broke their oath and insurrected running for office. Let's not lie and act
I'm
like this is a
voting
normal
Chase
election.
Oliver, sir. I will not be voting Kamala.
That light has not liked Crenshaw tonight.
So you're a third-party voter?
I'm a California voter, so
You're
really,
trying to
doesn't-
wash
I'm
your
just
hands
giving.
of it?
Oh, yeah, your rights don't even matter.
Well, no.
You're-
So
you're
my
a
vote is
conservative
like I have a lot of practically valuable votes. It's the presidency vote is not one of them, and so for me, my vote just shows support. And so Sparky was saying earlier, right? We need to start winning the popular vote. I'm like, no, the fuck we don't. As long as we're nominating guys like Trump, that's what my vote's valuable for. Is continuing to bring down the total vote count for a given candidate that I don't like. That's all my vote's good for, and potentially for getting third party above the threshold they need to be more of a participant in the.
So
debate.
can we acknowledge the Electoral College is only there because the Republicans, that's the only shot they have to win an election because they're never going to win a popular vote?
Well, no, the Electoral College is there because hold on,
because the slave
all of
states
the-
wanted
all of-
more votes.
No. Because the states that produce most of our food and vital goods need to use a lot of land to do that, so they will necessarily have lower populations, and so they deserve some level of, I guess
No.
you could say, sort of disproportionate representation, so that
No,
they're not disincentivized.
a farmer
to
doesn't.
continue
My
making food
grandparents
and
were
vital goods.
farmers in Michigan, and we are definitely higher yield than some of these fucking deserts down south. You guys have like cows and shit. Look, there is obviously
Michigan benefits greatly from the Electoral College. For that reason.
Michigan doesn't need the Electoral College, and nobody needs the Electoral College except for Republicans.
Michigan
it's an
is
archaic way
is
to look
one
at
of
your.
the most
It's an
valuable
archaic
states
way.
in the nation because of the Electoral College.
But yeah, but
Well,
do you
why
listen
are we
to
even
yourself?
acting like
Like I don't care about
Republicans-
that. That's what you're saying. Like it's
why-
only electorally important. Like,
I
but we
think-
do
I
other
don't
shit.
in chat to vote for the winner.
I-
So if you guys want to
I-
spam that to your communities or whatever,
Yeah,
that's up to you.
I
Vote
don't
for the
think
winner.
states- Yeah, I
Vote for
don't
the
think
winner.
states should be punished for producing.
Not
vital
vote to
goods
kick.
in
This is vote for
country, and
winner,
So
to
I
be clear.
support the Electoral College.
Vote for me, baby.
Okay, but why are we acting like the Electoral College is the final showdown for Republican desperation? They're over that now. They're like moving on to
I'm
different
not.
schemes, like the Supreme Court.
Look,
My left wing buddy here. I just want to make it
what?
clear, like Republicans
Supreme
have
Court
gone
for
beyond
election?
trying to use the Electoral College as their final stand. They're going beyond
yeah.
that now. Now they're playing games.
Wait,
with the
why
Supreme
are we
Court.
saying
They're
Oh,
going
yeah.
towards using
Wait.
Congress.
Yeah, they're trying to
Hold on.
subvert the election,
reality
and you know
you
it,
guys
right?
aren't really winning.
why are we
You're not
saying-
really winning.
Hold on.
You're not really winning popular votes.
Right.
And,
Just-
like,
hold on.
So you have to like
You're just
finagle
saying-
your way in there because you guys have to be snakes in order to
No.
even get votes. Like this is literally how it works.
Fraud.
Either why
Again,
not just have the most popular opinions and then we can
I
vote
don't
on the
wanna-
most
hold
popular
on.
policies. But
I
instead,
don't.
but
I
instead,
can tell you why.
you
You're
can
just
tell me why.
filibustering.
I'm not filibustering. I'm
one
actually
thing-
interested in the
Hey,
question.
If you were, you would ask it and then let me answer. But you didn't. You kept cutting every 10 seconds.
Non-fun. Thanks for
I
the
was
raid.
trying to. Okay, so the Electoral College is there so that states are not punished for doing things for the rest of the nation that require that state to have less population density.
The electoral.
If we went to straight stop interrupting the answer. If you want it, if you care about the question, care about the answer. If we have direct popular vote, you have areas, dense metro areas, that are protected by two layers of our beautiful federalist system, state policy and localities. They're able to benefit from their vote in state and local policies in a very potent way, but not in a way that fucks the people who have chosen to live in states that use a lot of their land to produce the food that those metro areas need. And two, I don't want to hear shit like Rashad said 2 rounds ago, where the Republicans are attacking everything that made America America, but then you guys are saying that the Electoral College is somehow disgusting and
The
a way for
Electoral College
Republicans
is
to snake
disgusting,
the
yeah.
election
Now,
when that is something that America was fucking built upon.
Oh, but it's
Whoa,
not a
I never said I
cultural
had an issue
fucking
with it. I'm just
cornerstone. It's a
saying-
stupid system. Like, get
I'm
over
just saying,
yourself.
like,
Quit
I
fucking
don't
clutching
have an
pearls
issue
over
with
that.
the Electoral
Yikes.
College.
Who cares?
And it's school review, and you're still all yelling over each other.
You guys have moved past the Electoral College to false slates of electors. You
Yeah.
moved toward like creating like false evidence of voter fraud.
Trying
You
to
moved
install
toward
judges.
accusing people of like like summoning
Install-
ballots
hold
from
on,
the ninth
install
circle of
judges.
hell.
Judges?
Like you guys have like
Specifically,
hold on.
specifically judges that think the election was fraudulent. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Specifically
look,
installing
are
judges
installed.
that have
It's
that
called
particular
employer
conspiracy
appointed,
theory.
You fucking retard. You goddamn
I think that's
inbred,
TOS. You should chill.
OnlyFans fucking reject. Okay. The only
think that's
the only
TOS.
thing
I think it's TOS,
the only
Sparky.
thing
So you
that
should
is
calm
ever
down.
what calling you a retard? No.
Yeah, I think
No,
it might
that's
be
a
Twitch
question in
twice.
college.
Yeah,
Then
man.
I apologize. I
Yeah.
apologize.
That's
Okay.
You're red in the face.
I-
Relax.
No, I meant it.
Me too.
I meant it, but I apologize.
Are we taking the R word detour right now?
Are you good?
But
all right.
The final rounds, the ethics of the R word.
He's just fucking.
Oh, I'm so down for that, dude.
It's not. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
But for Christ's sake, judges are not installed; they're appointed. The only thing that's been
same
installed
fucking
is Kamala Harris.
Clearly, he is saying they're.
But they were chosen specifically. So the judges, listen. So a judge is typically the idea of a judge, according to your big founding fathers that you care so much about, is supposed to be an impartial adjudicator of the law. But that is clearly not what is happening. They are obviously partisan, and they're installed on partisan basis based on who's president. And we all know that that's what's fucking happening. And if you deny that that's what's happening, then you should be for court expansion, because of course you would just want more. You would want to get away because the court used to be based upon the size of.
It approves it. It's always done on a bipartisan method.
It's not done on a bipartisan method. No, it's not. You have to jam them through when you get Congress. Like that's all. Everyone knows this is how it works. Why are you pretending, bro? Like obviously, Trump chose people sympathetic to the election is a fraud. Shit, and they installed.
Wait, are we talking Supreme Court or are we talking lower?
Well, Supreme Court, but also lower courts, like the
Supreme Court is not pro-election was a fraud, and this all happened before the election shit happened.
Supreme Court.
100% wrong about the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court refused to even listen to Texas v. Pennsylvania.
Right.
So if you want to make
because Donald Trump didn't put every.
Wait, one at a okay. Sorry, there's four. Okay, again, if you guys cannot manage to do one at a time when there's four of you, then this is truly a train wreck. Come on, one at a time. Okay, who wants to grab it? We'll do it one at. We have. Okay.
I'm just saying one state can't decide on another.
This is how we're gonna work. This is how it's gonna work. The polls are coming in. People, please vote. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Make your final point, and then say why people should vote for you. And we're gonna start with Sparky.
Okay, so you should not vote for me. I have not participated enough because I'm not as loud and obnoxious as some of my fellow cohorts here. Jebtan has much better points than me. I'll tell you that right off the bat. I am voting for Jebtan. Jebtan 2028 for Christ's sakes.
Very JD Vance.
I'm not going to call him a rhino. No, it's just I'm tired, dude. I've worked all day, and I'm not going to deal with a socialist or a dude from an area where the biggest PSA is "Don't fuck your daughter." Okay, and yes, that is the VI. Hate to break it to you, man. I've been there. Used to be a hurricane. So it's really, I'm just done. Okay.
Okay. So you give up.
You want to claim that judges are installed because of an appointment system, something that has existed in America.
No. You're not listening to the words I'm saying. Donald Trump
in the Senate. No, dude. The Supreme Court turned down Texas v. Pennsylvania. Okay, it was his own justices that he put in that denied his request to be heard.
But he didn't get to put all the justices in.
Your point is moot.
They just disagreed with him, just like Jeb. They were just like Jeb.
Moving on. Go tell your wife on fucking Twitter like you normally do.
Do you think Jeb is disabled because he disagrees with that? Okay. Alrighty, dude. You seem normal. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, Jake, you want to be next?
My final statement on why you should vote for Kamala Harris and not Donald Trump. Is that what
you can make
any fucking final statement?
To me.
Okay, sure. Vote for Kamala Harris because it's, especially from a leftist perspective, it's way easier to get the things that we need for society to be good. And those are our needs, right? Everyone needs the things they need. You need housing, you need education, you need healthcare, you need access to something that you can do in your community that is fulfilling. You need the ability to pursue your desires and not always spend every single fucking day working on behalf of a billionaire or someone else's profit. And I don't understand why if you are a blue collar guy or whatever, you think that there's virtue in voting for a guy that's anti-labor and pro-billionaire when almost every major labor group has adopted a Harris-Walz position because they know that it's pro-labor, which is all of you fucking guys. You are all temporarily embarrassed millionaires or billionaires in your heads for some fucking reason, but really the reality is that you're allowing billionaires to own your fucking lives, and you're voting for one right now instead of just like being normal. It's all ego, and I think you feel like it's not masculine to vote blue or something. It's fucking weird.
Okay, we're now going to throw it over to Crenshaw.
Are we talking about who to vote for on this or the presidency or both?
You can vote for me, by the way, if you want.
First, you do the first one and then the second one.
I care more about you voting for Kamala Harris than I do for me, but
But I mean, like, the voting's already ended, so you should probably just do the first one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Please vote for. Well, I hope you voted for me. I really hope you did. I hope you vote for Kamala Harris. I do want an America where Republicans and Democrats can work together, but Donald Trump has made this all about him, and he is willing to drive the Republican Party right off a cliff alongside the United States of America in an attempt to feed his ego and save himself from prison. So I hope we can all move past this guy, go back to normal, figure out a balance in this country that works for everybody. And yeah, that's what I hope for. Please vote for Kamala Harris.
Okay, and Jeb?
Yeah, as far as the voting that ended, I think if you didn't vote for me, you're wrong. I think I did the best. But yeah, no, I respect everybody on the panel. As far as who you should vote for with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, I have a really simple process I think you should do. Find your 10 most important policies, your position on those policies. If you need to look them up, take the time. You've got a couple days. See which candidate matches up with most of those policies and vote for that person. For me, if I was in a swing state, that would be Donald Trump. Unfortunately, I do not get to vote for president because I live in California. So I'm voting Chase Oliver to increase the representation of third parties in future debates because my vote for Donald Trump would go in the trash can. And I just don't think he deserves the credit for my vote in terms of the popular vote.
Okay.
Be
choice
critical,
voting
think
would help
critically. Potentially, yeah. I mean, I'm not against it, but it's one of the things I think everybody should push is don't just believe everything the party tells you they stand for. Like he up here said that they're pro-labor and that we're all going to benefit from that because we're blue collar. Democrats in California were the ones that for about a year and a half stripped my ability to make money doing what I do through AB5. They made it so that I could not work as a freelancer. I did not deserve the agency to do that. And so I lost basically every employment opportunity I had in the area I wanted to work for about a year and a half because of Democrats. So look at the actual policies, look at your positions on those policies and critically compare. Don't just buy what they're telling you. Look at what they've voted for. Look at their records.
Okay, and that is that. We have the results. I want to first, of course, thank everybody for coming on tonight and taking the time to come on and go through this. I know at times these conversations can be aggravating, especially when it's a rumble and there's people getting thrown all over the top rope and a lot of yelling. But we have the victor, and I have to say that the victor for tonight's show is the one and only Corn Man. Actual Jake is the victor of the Hippy Dippy Rumble. Congratulations, Corn Man. Do you have any victorious words on your pedestal of victory?
My pedestal of victory. I really appreciated some of the lefties that were on today. The one righty I appreciated was Jeb, to be honest. There's always, you had like 1 for 8 righties every single time is like a guy you can talk to. So I appreciate that. I think Crenshaw did good. I think you should come around on Israel is trash. Nationalism is bad. And Sparky, it's always an emotional roller coaster with you. You should get regulated or something, man.
Okay. We're going to throw... Oh, people are asking who was second. No, it was not Jeb. I'm very sorry. It was Crenshaw. Crenshaw was second. Yes, it was Crenshaw.
Jeb. That's the audience.
Then Jeb, then Sparky, yes.
I'm the worst one to vote for. Yes, most definitely.
Okay. Where can people find you, Jake?
Actual Jake on all the things. You can also follow me on Twitter at Actual Corn, because some guy has Actual Jake and won't let me have it. But yeah, we do lefty things, and we have a lot of fun. Sometimes we play bingo. Sometimes we watch funny Christian movies. If you're a Christian, I want to talk to you because I think it's silly. That's also something.
Okay, I'm going to throw it over to...
I'm super down.
Throw it down to Sparky to wrap him up, shout himself out.
Yeah, Americraft Sparky. You can find me at all the places there. I'm quitting politics after this season, so I'm going to be doing music. So going back to what
type of music?
So
R&B,
please, Donald Trump, come back to me. I miss you. You let Kamala win. I don't know. That doesn't really rhyme, but it sounds like something you might write.
So I did a lot of new metal and reggae stuff like that.
New metal and reggae? I need to see this shit, and I need to see you in your full new metal getup. Aircraft Sparky.
Oh no, I don't wear get-ups. I just play music, man. I don't go on stage anymore, so I don't need get-ups.
New metal and reggae. That was not what I was expecting.
I really have an eclectic taste in music. So,
Fair enough. We're gonna now throw it. I thought it was gonna be a lo-fi mixer. Okay,
No,
we're throwing it
no,
over
no.
to Jebtan.
Oh, for what?
Wrap up and shout yourself out. Okay, nobody go see Jebtan. Never mind. Crenshaw.
Oh, yeah. I mean, thanks for bringing me on. Glad to be here. You can find me at Rashad Crenshaw on YouTube, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm chill.
Thank you. And I do want it to be on the record that I think Crenshaw was my favorite today. I think Crenshaw did a really good job. Okay.
I think
that was
it
wild. That was wild.
I'm gonna throw it over to Jeb.
Yeah, I don't really have, I mean, honestly, I genuinely don't really have any platforms to shout out. I literally am the biggest autist in the room. I do this because I like to argue and I like to help out Danabo and Dylan because I respect what they do with this. So, Jeb10 RIP on Twitter, but that's pretty much all I got.
Thank you very much for everybody coming on today, spending all the time to do this wacky show. I hope you guys enjoy the last 4 days of election season, whatever chaos that will bring, and the fallout, which I sure will be very uniting for whatever
I'm sure
happens.
MAGA will be totally normal about it.
It will be. We will be very on November 6th. We're all gonna
be like November
unite
10th.
arms.
You
We're
mean
all gonna
November?
rock
Yeah,
back
I was
and
gonna
forth.
say November 12th or something. Yeah.
Yeah, right. This is gonna be like November 10th when we know, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
great.
I think Pennsylvania at least.
I think what's going
Oh,
to
when it
happen is
comes
we're
down
going
to
to know
Nevada, it might be Christmas.
We're going to know that Kamala wins, and it's going to take Trump a while to process that emotionally. So
We all know this is going to be 2 long months of January 6th.
so
Like, why are you even
fucking
pretending like this is going
stupid,
to be normal? Like, we know
I mean,
exactly
I
what's
think
about to happen.
I honestly have Trump winning, but we'll see how the Democrats feel about it.
Look,
doesn't seem, the early polling doesn't seem like it's going Trump.
If it's 2 months,
I mean, the polls
that just means I make a lot of money. That's
the
all
polls
that
are better for Trump than they were in 2016. Early voting is better for Republicans than it's ever been.
Registered
Democrats did not hit their
Republicans,
benchmarks.
Polls were much more accurate in the midterms, though.
And registered Republicans also outnumber
Actually,
registered
Democrats
Democrats
outperformed polls in the
to
midterms.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
so
I
we'll
don't know.
see.
Yeah, I don't think he's winning
we're
this
seeing
one. I think
high.
he's preparing for what to do.
I'm not.
to lose
And,
it.
yeah, I'm not saying
High
definitive. I'm not doing the thing of like Kamala has no chance. I think Trump has a chance to win. I think all the margins. I think electorally. I think electorally it won't be close, but I think actually the actual vote in those states will be pretty close. But I think he gets Pennsylvania. I think he gets North Carolina. I think he gets Georgia. I think he gets Nevada.
Yeah.
I think he gets Michigan. I think he gets Arizona. So
You got him with Nevada. I still don't. I
do,
think Arizona, but not Nevada.
I do, yeah. He's gotten some endorsements I didn't expect, which changed my view on this election. The Muslims of Michigan was a huge one.
Yeah, that was
they're like
interesting.
the second most likely swing state to be swung by Muslims. They're always on 1% to 2% margins, and Muslims are like 2% of the state. Like it's
I saw
an
a lot of
interesting election.
actual Muslim voters not liking that, so we'll see.
No, yeah, and that's my thing. I don't think Trump has it in the bag, and it's unlosable.
I'm
but
seeing
I do
early
have
Pennsylvania
Trump winning.
voting 57% Democrat right now. I don't know. Like I don't know.
Democrat, yeah, but it's usually last year.
The Senate, the
what
down
percent
ballots
of
are
the
looking
vote-
very blue too, so it does not look good for your boy.
Not Senate. Senate is 87% likely to go Republican.
Well, maybe overall, but some of the races are not looking good.
Sure, but right now Democrats hold the technical majority in the Senate, and Republicans are overwhelmingly due to get a real majority in the Senate. So
we'll see.
I don't know. I just
won't be
saying
at 60 though.
vote. What I'm
That's
saying
what they
is,
said in the
yeah,
midterms.
whatever side you're on, if you're a Kamala voter, if you're a Kamala voter or a Trump voter, vote.
I'm glad.
Neither of you have it in the bag.
I'm
Get
glad
out there and
you're
vote.
correcting
No, if you
yourself.
go over Trump, you can take a break. You don't work too hard. Don't tire yourself.
Yeah, I don't want I don't want all the old people to get tired.
I don't think
Don't
anyone
even do too much. Don't even worry about it.
I don't know if there's a lot of Trump
But
voters
vote,
in the
yeah.
chat.
Yeah, you can tweet out your vote actually if you're for Trump. You know he's been tweeting people. You can just tweet it
that
out.
counts.
Yeah. I will not be one of them, but if I was in a swing state, I probably would be. So I understand why people vote for Kamala. I understand why people vote for Trump. I am very extreme on small government conservatism, and I understand not everybody jives with that. So
Awesome. Thank you all. Oh, you're also all invited to my election day mega stream. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream. So if any of you guys want to jump in at any point, you're all invited as Hippy Dippy last rounders, of course. Thank you all for coming on. You all have a good one, good night, and a good weekend. Okay, everybody? Bye-bye.
Stay safe, bud.
I'll do my best.
All right.
It was fun, y'all.
See ya.
Yeah. What part of the VI you from, man?
St. Croix.
I used to go to St. Croix every year, man. I was a hurricane hunter. Loved it down there.
What is a hurricane? Oh, do y'all like document hurricanes or what?
We fly through the hurricanes.
What the? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's some
Yeah,
that's some
that's-
crazy shit. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Bro.
No, we used to. I used to love going down there, man.
That's
great
crazy
place.
to me.
I didn't realize
it's
that you guys
I
were
love
staying in here.
I love
but,
American cheeseburger in
appreciate it.
Paradise.
Yeah,
The-
their
the
burgers are
little-
good down there.
Yeah, dude, like legit, some of the best burgers I've
Thank
had.
you, Zealous.
And I live in beef country, so
Thanks.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, Rashad, I didn't. This isn't like a slight. I did not realize you're a little bit of a big deal on YouTube. I didn't even realize until after I think our abortion debate or whatever on Wick. You got yourself a little healthy help for the viewers.
That was
No,
like
you're
decades
actually
ago.
good, man.
It was a while,
I
yeah,
feel
but
like
I didn't realize you were kind of. I was like, oh, Rashad's kind of a big deal. Okay, I was in the presence of fucking internet
Presence
titans.
of greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I knew
like
that part.
you just get lucky, you know. Like I got lucky, man. Like 2 back-to-back 100,000, 200,000, and then it just like snowballed.
No,
But
dude.
I'm
No, that's
over
not
it
luck.
now.
You actually got skill. You actually got some skill. You got talent.
Yeah,
I
we
lack
had a-
that.
I appreciate it.
I think we had a good time. It was a good time.
That's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I'm
I
going
mean,
back to
like-
music. I'm going where I'm actually decent.
I
at.
mean, landslide victory by Jake, but the rest of us participated.
I mean,
you
he
know?
trooped through an entire hippie.
it's the corn outfit,
Yeah,
man.
that's
pretty
the
good.
That's
Yeah,
the
why is it
impressive
always the
part
corn
is
outfit?
getting through the multiple rounds.
I don't know, man.
Look, the
Corn
whole
for
thing
win.
is stamina. All right, and
Yeah.
choosing your battles, and not
I
just
was gonna-
listening to fucking Sparky.
I was
Yeah,
supposed to
dude,
come in the first
I-
round, but then Stein got pushed up early,
I
which
think-
booted me to my time, and then Stein didn't show up anyway.
Yeah, I hear that guy's
Yeah,
crazy. I don't think I've talked to him before.
He
I did not
is-
like
I was hoping he'd be
I'm
here.
not a
just
fan.
for the
I'm not a
entertainment
fan
factor.
of him.
Yeah.
He
He's,
genuinely sexually harassed a sitting congresswoman, so I go ahead and file him and people I don't want to fucking interact with.
Okay, so Donald
see-
Trump did that shit too. He sexually harasses
I
people.
just
Where the
find
fuck
him-
do you draw the
I just find him
line?
obnoxious.
I'm
He's
not voting for
supporting
Donald Trump.
dude.
Yeah, but you would if you were in a swing state and you're like, well, I don't interact with unless I'm in a swing state. Come on.
Well, yes, because fundamentally, right, if we're talking about just like practical value of my vote, the practical value of my vote in a swing state is political and policy related.
Right,
The
but you're
practical value of my
fucking
vote in this state
you're fucking
is not.
axiom. You're the very person you are breaks fucking down when it's like, okay, well, this guy who I fucking hate versus someone who I don't really agree with. I get like she's a liberal. I don't fucking agree with her that much. But
No,
like,
it's not-
but like
it's not-
she's
it's like-
obviously correct for the job, and he's obviously an unhinged fucking lunatic.
Not
who
necessarily.
is-
'Cause for me,
yes,
it's like,
necessarily.
I value my ability to continue owning firearms. My
Me
ability
too.
to-
I'm a fucking leftist. None of these guys are gonna ban your fucking weapons. That's made up.
I mean, that's not true. She
It's
and
not
Ross
entirely
both supported
impossible.
modern sporting rifles, and she supported in the very
Dude,
last
the
election.
only I think
Day one assault
we
weapons
agree
ban.
in responsible gun ownership, and we don't need fucking lunatics having access to every single armament that we can make in the modern day. That is not what the Second Amendment was about, right?
No.
What do you mean?
I don't agree with that.
How do you not agree
I mean,
with
there's
that?
A founding father,
How do you
a
not?
founding father signed a letter. A founding father signed a letter saying that a private.
Did he own
person
slaves?
Could own artillery. Could own artillery.
Did that guy own slaves? Perhaps.
I think all of the founding fathers.
So
owned
you
slaves,
hear me when
probably.
maybe they weren't all like super grounded with their ethics, and maybe they had some things that were imperfect, and maybe
Why
the
don't you
amendment
put
system
modern
can be
ethics on the
amended.
history?
You know?
Why are
I
you
don't
putting
want
modern
the
ethics
second.
on
I
history?
think I value the Second Amendment as a principle, but that's not the only reason. I also don't believe in demand-side subsidization, which is the only type of economic intervention that Kamala supports. I also don't agree with like 90% of her policies and socially. Like most of her policies,
What?
I think will set us off on a worse path than having a president who is a bad person.
I totally disagree with
like,
you.
What about his economic policies that would shoot up inflation when he's promising to bring inflation
Like
down?
every
Well, so
economist
I
is like, don't
I
do this. It would
agree.
be bad.
Well, I don't think either of them are going to get their full economic agendas through. Trump was pro blanket.
You guys always count on him not getting shit done. Like every time I hear you guys
That's
talk about
what-
his policy,
that's
it's like,
what
well,
Kamala
he's
supporters do.
ineffective, so it's not going to be so bad.
Kamala
Literally,
supporters also
Only
do.
about the insane things.
Yeah,
Everything
right?
else, like apocalyptic, he'll
supporters-
never get it done.
fucking crazy.
Kamala supporters also rely on that.
No!
Kamala supporters said there's no
Kamala
way she's
supporters
gonna
are
get
saying,
$25,000
"Fuck Trump!"
housing credit.
Kamala supporters are
Well,
not
yeah,
like,
that's-
oh yeah, Kamala.
I
Like,
think
there's
that's-
like some liberals that are like, fucking,
true.
let's go Kamala. But like,
90% of Kamala voters were Democrat voters traditionally.
I've always voted for Democrats because they're the left-leaning major party. That's not because I'm.
So you're not.
That's not because I'm a Democrat. I am.
I know. I'm not saying that. I'm not impugning you. What I'm saying is you're not just like fuck Trump. You're mostly voting for her because she has policies you align with more. That's what I'm saying.
I'm 90% F Trump.
No, I align with them more than I align with Trump's. But she's supply side subsidy is, I agree, not good enough. But supply side subsidy is better than full on anarcho capitalism.
No, I voted against Trump for the primary, by the way.
You should vote against Trump now.
I voted against Trump primary.
You should have some fucking dignity.
Apocalyptic, like the stuff that you want, Jeff. You can.
You say you're 90% fuck Trump, but if Trump was the Democrat nominee, you wouldn't be 90% fuck Trump.
Yes, I would. Dude, if you were the president,
talking about Donald Trump.
If you break your oath to the Constitution and try to overturn an election, I don't give a fuck what.
If it was Donald Trump versus Mitt Romney, I would choose Mitt Romney.
If you are a hold on, I think if you want to if you express support for packing the court and you express support for doing away with the Second Amendment, both of which Kamala
I don't
has done,
support doing away with the Second Amendment.
But Kamala does. I'm not voting.
No, she doesn't.
She said she's not.
No, she doesn't.
She has support. She supported Gavin Newsom's initiative to create a new amendment that usurps the Second Amendment.
Usurps or amends the amendment? It's an amendment.
It usurps. Yes.
So it amends the amendment. And what does the language of that say? What does the language of it say? Yes, of course, amendments usurp. A later amendment, of course, usurps a former amendment. The same way any other fucking amendment does. What do you mean? They come in later and they supersede them or change them.
The Fourth Amendment does not usurp the Second Amendment.
Okay, sure. I'm not saying that necessarily a later one does. I'm saying that necessarily a one that amends a former amendment does necessarily usurp it, man.
I think I don't support her removing the Second Amendment.
She's not removing the Second Amendment. This is just fake. You're making it up.
She supports doing that.
Show me where she supports fucking getting rid of the Second Amendment. Show me.
Supported Gavin Newsom's amendment that fundamentally
what is Gavin? Show me. Now I'll Google it. Gavin
look up Gavin
Newsom Second Amendment.
Things like this can be overturned in a Kamala Harris
look up
America.
Gavin
Like
Newsom
the idea that Donald Trump,
amendment.
if Donald Trump wins and people ideologically aligned with him win, the United States is a democracy, a cooperative one.
So here it is. Here it is.
I'm actually okay with that because we're not a democracy.
20
have we ever really been?
28th
we are a
Amendment.
democracy. Don't do that cringe shit.
We're a democracy.
We're a republic.
Yes, we're both.
Okay, but okay, you know what a republic is, right?
Yes.
What is it?
Here, wait,
a government usually run by elected
room.
representatives. They're elected democratically. So we are a democratic republic or Republican democracy.
We are a constitutional republic with democratic processes, but we're not
exactly.
a democracy. Okay.
Okay, dude, you're nitpicking because you think it makes you feel smart or something. 28th Amendment.
Gulf of difference.
28th Amendment, raising the federal minimum age to purchase a firearm from 18 to 21. I think that makes sense and it's fine. I don't mind that.
Anti-constitutional though. Okay. Anti-constitutional.
But okay, but we could talk about the 18-year-olds are like kids, right? We shouldn't do that.
17-year-olds
I know we should. I'm against that. I'm opposed.
We do, but again,
but we do. So let's stop doing. Okay, hold on. I'm for.
What's constitutional?
Listen,
he said Trump violated his oath of the Constitution.
Listen,
I think supporting this stuff also violates your oath.
I don't think it's amending the Constitution.
Amending the Constitution
is not a violation of the Constitution.
Let's terminate the Constitution.
This is like listen. So that's part one. Hold on.
To make a change.
This is just part one.
Hard disagree.
This is just part one, and this is only when if you consider an adult someone that's 18, and that's up for debate, especially when we consider actual science. Seems closer to 21, 20 to 25. But like.
No, that's that whole brain development at 26 thing. People lose all the nuance in that.
Okay, but still, I think you can. It doesn't matter. We don't have to argue about it. I'm saying it's reasonable to. This is not an unreasonable thing to say. Hey, maybe kids in high school shouldn't be able to just buy these guns because they can obviously kill people at a really high rate if they're in the wrong hands. I think we agree that it's not unreasonable.
I disagree.
I don't think it's unreasonable.
I do.
Okay.
A 45-year-old, you can make the same argument about a 45-year-old, and I still don't think that you should raise the minimum age to 46.
But do you think a 45-year-old is more or less likely to have their shit together, so to speak, mentally than a child?
In terms of gun crime, people who are between the ages of 25 and 35 are more likely to commit a crime with a gun than people who are 18.
Right, but that's That's just because they have more means when they're that age. Anyway, so mandating universal background checks to prevent truly dangerous people from purchasing a gun that could be used in a crime, which is pretty vague. I'm not a big fan of Gavin Newsom, for the record. I'm just reading this for the first time.
I'm not assuming you are.
Instituting a reasonable waiting period for all gun purchases. I think this is reasonable, especially because like some people might buy guns for emotional reasons, right? And we could screen them for this. I think it's fine.
But what about also emergency defense reasons? Like they just got a TRO for somebody who's trying to harass them and they need to get a gun, or that person might come to their house and
what is a reasonable
hold on. We could talk about male violence if you'd like. And why we should address toxic masculinity and all that shit. Okay.
I don't think it's toxic masculinity.
Okay, but when I describe all the things that make up toxic masculinity, you will agree with me, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's reasonable.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
I think it's a means
instituting,
argument, just like your last argument. Men have more means for violence,
it's
so
not
they
a
commit more violence.
meme. Barring
memes.
Not memes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
barring
more
civilian.
propensity.
The last part is barring civilian purchases of assault weapons that serve no purpose other than to kill as many people as possible in a short amount of time. Weapons of war. So here's my personally.
It has no definition.
I agree that Gavin Newsom shit is a little vague, but I think when you put this through, you'd talk about it and you'd refine it anyway through the process of like getting one of these through.
But she supported it. She supported it as is.
Okay, but listen, I don't think when my problem is that these are not narrow or not defined enough, but in general, I'm fine with not allowing the average person to have assault weapons. I'm fine if you can earn the right to own assault weapons, like being a military member or someone that takes classes or whatever.
Assault weapon is that changes
I think
my opinion.
I think anything that is like. It's frankly semi-automatic at this point. Like handguns are a huge fucking problem for the gun violence problem, including.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, at that
they
point,
really are.
At that point, you're banning any functional weapons.
No, but listen.
I don't think Kamala Harris as president is going to support that on a federal level.
I agree she won't.
I don't believe she's
I agree she won't.
She supports
so I'm
federal
saying
assault weapons ban.
Right.
She does.
I agree. So I think what they mean with assault weapons is anything that's like automatic or like got a 30-round clip or something like that. Stuff we used to have.
Those are all banned.
Stuff we used to have that had effective. The 90s assault weapon ban was very effective. AR-15s are one of them.
They mean 30.
I have an
30 round
AR-15
magazine
right there.
They mean 30 round magazine. AR-15s.
No, they don't.
Is what they're saying.
There's in no assault weapon legislation that any Democrat state has is there a magazine capacity
right, but I'm saying
the assault weapon definition.
I mean,
there is
one of the things that they use.
Okay, but if you what I'm saying is we know what kind of weapons they mean.
No,
like we know they
mean.
We don't.
You don't know.
I'm fine with.
You absolutely don't know.
I'm 100% fine with defining assault weapon and getting a reasonable protection on that.
If it was being implemented, more than likely what would happen is rifles, both the ones that are, there's two different types of semi-auto. You have the ones that look like hunting rifles, but they function the exact same as a normal AR-15.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ban both, but I would imagine if they're going federal,
having hunted, you don't need that. That's for people.
Point of order. Well, it depends on what you're
point of order. Function the exact same. Like
I want to hang out with some people in the waiting room.
Depending upon what kind of rifle it is, can function the same.
Yeah,
even
let's go there.
Are we cool with merging this into the waiting room? Because I do want to
call them
kick it with some people.
Oh my god, that's
no. I was just going to move into there. I know if you don't want to, I get it, but I do want to kick it with like Cam a little bit.
This is gonna be a clusterfuck though.
Let's
go.
Oh man.
So the warmer that we fucking. The further away from
Hippy Dippy extended.
Yes, sir. I feel bad for Jake because I told him we should
conversation with CT about the ocean currents.
You told him to come down here, Jeb?
No, it's.
I wanted to come down here, so I said,
Jeb. No, Jeb, shut the fuck up. Pixel's talking. Jeb, shut the fuck up. Pixel's talking. Jake, you two, you take your corn cob ass and fucking wait your turn. Pix.
Do you know CTV told me he's voting blue?
Yeah. She's a liar. She lies about everything and she doesn't know anything.
She's Australian, so that's a big.
That'd be brave of you, critically thinking veteran. You'd find
she's from an imaginary land.
Hake said, I can't vote for Kamala just because she's a woman, and I'm listening. I'm abiding by that rule.
Nice.
Wait, Hake said
besides
Dylan?
Hippy, Hake
Hold
was
on,
the
Hake
most
said
based
what?
person on the panel.
Dylan Burns'
Wait, what was
chat
it?
strikes a funny line of being super pro the left wingers and like the liberals, and then also hating women at the same time. The moment any woman got on the panel, they were off the moment they had the opportunity to vote them off. They had a double woman exit when one of the lefties on that round didn't say a word the whole time, and they still voted off both women.
Was that the
Middle
guy?
Maddie. It's Maddie.
It was the middle guy, I think.
They kicked off-
Wait, Maddie got voted off.
Maddie, I
Maddie-
get. Stardust made really good arguments, and she still got voted off. Maddie
Well,
was
that's
a little bit of a
Maddie.
con.
she's
We've
brown.
been doing this fucking shit a while. It doesn't matter what you say. That's why you just sit
Yeah.
and smile and then yell at CTV in the waiting room. It's delightful.
I also
I
like
just
your
win,
hat.
personally.
I'm a big Chaperone fan.
Congratulations, chat. You support the winning team.